everyone. I love you. I love.
What's up, dirty dog?
What up, everybody? What up, what up, what up? It's good to see you. It's good to see you guys. Just about to start here on this beautiful day, the 26th of April. Thank you, Ian. Let's get it going.
My money don't jiggle, jiggle. It folds. I'd like to see you wiggle, wiggle, for sure.
Guys, I think one of you was right. Stacy got arrested for what she did. She didn't say, she put a post up. She didn't quite go into it too much, but she did say she was arrested. Didn't say what the charge was, and that's what I was wondering, like what the charge could be realistically. What crime did she really commit? But she must have done something. So, yeah, I don't know. If we see her today or not. So yeah, don't know. Apparently she was in jail for, or, booked and held for, like 10 hours or something like that, and then they let her go. So yeah, they still arrest people here apparently, or at least the ones they don't like. She's a thorn in their side. It's the same with me. If I went and did that, they'd do the same to me. That's just what it is. She may vote for their side, but she definitely got in trouble, apparently. A couple of you guys had alluded to that, and I didn't think there was really any crime committed there other than having to clean some stuff up. I mean, it's more of a hindrance, but yeah, there's that. So, good to see you guys. Just want to let you guys know that any moment here they shall be starting. We will be live tonight. Before you even ask, we're going to do our Friday night fun tonight. And, yeah, man, we'll get it going. This happened, I think it was last Friday. Because Tuesday, Wednesday, when they were supposed to be on, they didn't. They took it off for holidays, so, yeah. Damon, what's up with eBay scammers? Got 3, didn't get it on eBay envelopes. I don't understand, Evo. What's the problem? Someone sent you something and they weren't. I don't understand what you're asking there. Can you just elaborate a little bit? Tomato, there you go. Let's go. So if I can help you out, I'll help you out. But I mean, I don't use eBay. I used to use these like paperboard envelopes that said eBay on them, but then I stopped doing it because some people were like, they see it's eBay and then they may steal them. And then, not to mention, a lot of them would come back because they wouldn't get processed through their little machine at the processing center, so they would come back and then I'd have to pay for double shipping. And so yeah, I just learned easier ways. People saying they don't get it and eBay stealing from me. Okay. This is how you do it. Evo, what you do is every card that they say they don't get, because sometimes they don't get them. It is true, Evo. And I know you sent them. Not questioning that. When you send them out and they say that doesn't happen, right? What you do is write the transaction number, the card, and it's unfortunate and annoying, but you can go on the site on eBay and claim that it was either lost or stolen. Not on your behalf, not on the buyer's behalf, just in between the shipping. It was either lost or stolen. And that does happen every once in a while. I'm just going to let you know, okay? And then what you do is you file a claim on eBay's website, and USPS will actually pay you back whatever the money is from $100 or less. So if it's a $1.99 card, let's just say, they'll literally send you a check for $1.99, and you got to go to your bank and cash it, or cash it on your phone. You know what I mean? Take a picture of it, and then that's what I do. Thank you, Brock. I'm wearing it again. Thank you. So that's really what I do. And I'm going to be honest, Evo. If you can find these 6x3x1, okay, those dimensions, regular paper white envelopes, okay, and they come with the little seal that you just rip off, so you can just you don't have to lick them anymore. Those work the best. And if you're using, what you hopefully are, a thermal printer, what I do is the flap side, where the flap is where I put the sticker. So that way the other side, when you flip it over, there's nothing to open, nothing to peel up. So they literally have to rip the side open. Then you tell them, hey, if they said, oh, somebody sent me an open package, someone is going to take a package, open it up, take whatever the contents are, and then throw the package away. Nobody's putting the package back in the mail so it gets shipped back to you. That doesn't happen. All right, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go. Spindler right there.
Good morning, everyone.
Spindler's right there. Flick them off, Spindler. Boy, it is a packed house. There must be 19. 19 honors.
Today is Friday, April 26th,
or acknowledgements.
2024. I'm Paul Krikorian, President of the Council.
Wait, 20
We're
days.
ready to begin.
Yeah,
Public comment will be
it is.
taken
It
today,
sucks,
both
Evo.
in person
Part
here
of the
in
game.
John Ferraro Council Chambers. And
You know,
by
realistically, let me
teleconference.
explain it to you really fast because
we
he's
will
not
be
he's not saying anything fucking important. Really quickly, think about like this. You've just started a business. It's no different than someone coming in and shoplifting. It's going to happen. It's an unfortunate thing, but it's going to happen. Just keep track of it all. They will absolutely pay you because I had a $99 Shohei Ohtani card that was stolen, and they paid me $99. They absolutely did. They sent me a check. So it does happen. It's unfortunate, but it's the ebb and flows of working with eBay. And I can tell you, sometimes I'm telling you, the envelopes you may be using may hinder you. So that's another thing too. You can message me and I will send you a picture of what I use and how I do it. And then maybe that'll help you out. I don't know what you're sending, Evo. I don't know if you're sending cards or whatever. All I do is really sell cards.
President and Quorum, Mr. President.
I don't sell
you for
tennis
starting
shoes or comic
Approval of the
books or
minutes of
anything
April
else.
19,
So
2024.
I can help you as much as I can, Evo. I'm sorry to hear that
Councilmember
happen to
Harris
you.
Dawson moves. Councilmember Hutt
And I wish you the
seconds.
best. I
Next,
wish
please.
you nothing but good
Commendatory
sales.
resolutions for approval.
Councilmember Soto Martinez
Why do we have
moves.
it like this? Hold
Councilmember
on.
Park
We shouldn't have the
seconds.
bar there.
Next. Let's run through the agenda, please.
There it is. Now the
Mr.
bar is
President,
gone.
there is a request to continue item 59 to Wednesday, May 1st, 2024.
U.S. Secret Service investigate. Well, they're going to investigate a lot of my
Without
packages,
objection,
Willie,
that'll be
because
the order.
the first couple
Next.
year or so, maybe the
Item
first
1 is
year,
an item notice for
man, I
public
must have
hearing.
lost
The Los
30,
Angeles Department of
40
Building and Safety
packages.
recommends to
Four
continue
people, again.
The lien for item 1 to
What
Friday, May
Evo's
3rd,
also saying is-
2024. Items 2.
some of these folks, again, they may say that they didn't get it, even though they did get it. And the problem was with USPS, because sometimes they mark it delivered and it hasn't even been delivered yet. Or sometimes it gets delivered and they don't even mark it delivered. So how do I prove that Evo got his card that I sent him? I can't. So then I have to fight with USPS, who's, a big company. They don't care.
All special. Councilmember Yaroslavsky.
Thank
What, you
Council
can hear the
President. I'd like to
echo
call
again?
item 23,
Oh, man, hopefully not.
Special for amendment.
Very good. And does the city attorney have the proposed amendment?
It is what it is.
Go right ahead.
What's up,
So
Tron?
the amendment reads that I move that item number 23 on today's agenda be amended as follows. Instruct the city administrative
Card with a
officer to
ding
identify
defender
funding
in a
approximately $1.5 million
top loader.
for the
So
creation
sealing
of the
envelope, thermal label. Thank you
CAAP
so much
CAP
for your
program
service.
that relies primarily
on the
on
feedback.
outside consultant expertise
same
to develop
blocked all
the
use right
CAP.
Yeah, so
And
it's
this is the
probably
new
just,
language
you
in
know what
bold.
I would do,
And
Evo?
affirm that the CAP
You can
should achieve
contact
the
on your
Green New
phone.
Deal
You can
goal of
contact
carbon
eBay and
neutrality
have
by
them
no
call
later
you,
than 2045.
and I would talk to them about it. And I know it's
Thank you.
only
Second
$1.99 if it's worth your time or
Councilmember
whatever it
Robbins
is,
seconds. Thank you.
because it's a
Councilmember Soto
scammer.
Martinez.
It's what it is. Somebody who's
Thanks,
scamming, like you
Council
said
President.
originally.
I'd like to continue item number 1 for 1 week to May
What's up,
3rd.
Sky
sorry.
Blue? Hopefully they
And I'd like to
kick his
call item
account.
17 for comments.
Okay, thank you. Without objection, item 1. Did you
Yeah,
say-
Donna, I don't understand what to
Item
do.
1
I mean,
will be continued
I'll
until
try, I
May
mean-
May 3rd?
3rd. Without objection, that'll be the order. Councilmember Rodriguez.
is it still the
Thank you, Mr.
echoes
President.
really
I'd like
bad?
to call item
Wow.
45 special for a separate
I don't know what
vote
to do.
since there is no financial disclosure on file. And item 46.
You notice it? You notice?
to
Let me
hold on
ask
the
you
desk
guys
for
something.
Special for
Do you hear the echo now? Am I echoing right now? Because if so, then that's me. But I'm pretty sure the only time we hear the fucking echo is with these fucking morons. Yeah, their audio guy is high. So that's just what it is. It's not me. See, that proves the point. It's them. It's their feed that's echoing, and fuck, man. The only other way to do it, guys, is to try to go on the other screen, which is gonna make them red. This one right here. See, look at how red he is. Let's try it though. Let's try it. Can you hear? Let me know if you guys can hear. Let me know if it's still the same. Oh, Groat's back. Barely noticeable. That's fine. Negative, yes. No audio. See, that's I think. See, I don't understand. Now it's got no audio, but before it had audio. All right, so I'm guessing, guys, we're going to have to deal with their echo. I mean, I'm sorry. Maybe mind me putting it down a little?
Attachment number 1.
How's
item
that?
K.
Maybe
So
that
if
makes it a little
anybody
better?
would like to see that new transfer table, it will be posted on the bulletin board on your right-hand side.
See, if it was me echoing, I'd be echoing the
I
whole
believe
time.
the second was
Whether
going
I
to be
block them or not.
council,
So that's how you know
member
it's on their
C15.
side, not mine.
Councilmember
And maybe this
Costa,
dickhead will
second.
fucking fix it.
Okay, very good. Thank you.
You know, that's what happens when
All
you
right.
get the
Any
DEI
other
hires
specials?
going, ladies and gentlemen. This is
Any
proof
other
in the pudding.
specials? All right.
It's a little better.
Seeing no other
Okay,
specials,
I'll
Mr.
just
Clerk,
lower
let's
it
vote
down
on
so
that
it's not
first
so
vote.
high.
Mr. President,
I
the
mean,
council
Terry, I
may
get
now
it,
vote
you
on
know.
items 3,
I get both sides
5
of what you
through
said. You know what I
16.
mean? But I'm just trying to make
18
everybody
through
happy. You know?
22, 24,
It's not. It's out of my control.
27.
'Cause anytime
Excuse
we
me,
watch
items
anything
24
else,
and 25 are held
never an
after
echo.
public comment.
no,
27
Big Rig. There's only
through-
one window open. This one does separate.
44, 46, and 47.
So hopefully this dude will, you
Right.
know how sometimes they
Those
fix it
items are now
mid-show?
before us.
Maybe he'll hear it in his headphones if he's paying attention. And we'll get it fixed. Bro, look how packed it is. It's literally standing room only. Holy shit, look Candido back there. Oh, fucking the great band.
For clarity, let's run through the list one more time.
Yes, Mr. President. The council may now vote on items 3,
What's up, Brandon?
5 through 16,
Yeah, he does watching people.
18 through 22,
That's it.
27,
Witty Adam. We know it's not
through
our, we just bought a top of the line.
44.
I won't say it's
and
the most
47.
expensive because it isn't, but a really nice mixer.
Thank you. Those items are now before us, members.
You can look up
I
Allen and
see no
Heath
members
and see
wishing to be
their
heard,
their
so let's open the
reviews.
roll.
Brand new out the box.
Close the roll and tabulate the votes.
12 ayes. Mr. President, there's a request to send items 15, 16, 24, 15 and 16 forthwith.
Without objection, that will be the order.
Hi, Calamity Girl.
And so with that, I think we're ready
What's up,
to
Street
begin our
Peeps?
first presentation for the day. So I'd like to ask Councilmember Padilla, are you prepared with your presentation?
Might be some college protesters. Oh, I'm
All
sure.
right, Councilmember Padilla, you have the floor.
The Palestinian puppets have been out pretty big lately. Shout out to all you Palestinian puppets. I love the little silent dance they did in prayer of the genocide they did at UCLA. It was fantastic. Funny enough, to me, those people were all BLM folks. So again, BLM, they've already got exposed. They've bought all their mansions. They ain't getting no more money. So now
good
it's
morning, everyone.
Palestine.
Happy Friday.
And tomorrow it'll
I am very happy
be,
to be
I don't
joined
know,
here this morning
Ukraine
by
or somebody else.
Andres Melena and members of the San Fernando Valley Partnership to bring awareness
Yeah,
of something
PLM.
that not
That's
everyone
exactly
I know
what it is.
aware
PLM.
of. But tomorrow will be National Prescription Drug Take Back Day. This
Drug
national initiative
Take Back Day?
addresses a vital public safety and public health issuance that is often overlooked.
Huh?
Many people may not know this, but old prescription
ain't time
drugs
for you,
that are
idiot.
left ignored and in home cabinets lead to higher instances of misuse and abuse, especially by young people. If thrown in the trash, or if not properly disposed of, these expired prescriptions can also be retrieved to be abused or illegally sold, contributing to the ongoing drug overdose epidemic. Improper disposal can also
You know,
lead
maybe
to the
closing the
contamination
borders
of our
would help
water
drug
supplies,
epidemic, too.
which is just as scary. As a result, it is
We don't wanna
important
do
to
that.
be aware of the proper ways to dispose of your old or prescription drugs. We have retail pharmacies throughout the city of Los Angeles where you can take them.
Ain't touching your Adderall.
It is easy to forget that the expired medicine in our homes is something that we should not take lightly and remind folks about it so that we can avoid tragic
4-year-old
consequences.
Valium still works.
That is why
What are you, like,
I am
fucking
very
Wolf of
proud to
Wall
be joined
Street?
by the San Fernando
Oh, these
Valley
things are old.
Partnership,
Oh, no, those
a
were
grassroots
Valium. What were they?
organization that works hard across the city
Those were like
to prevent
Quaaludes or
and
something.
reduce the improper disposal
I think they were
of old
Quaaludes.
prescription drugs. They also go above and beyond to reduce the use and abuse of all harmful addictive substances such as alcohol, tobacco, and drugs. Their method is to empower local youth.
Oh yeah, I see a
parents, and
Palestinian
neighbors
puppet right
to
there. You
address
see him
the
with his
root
flag
causes
and
of
his little
community
kifka or
problems
whatever the fuck they
through
call it, little
education,
rag they wear.
and then mobilizing efforts collectively to raise awareness. One example
I
is
see
the
him back
launching
there.
of the Let's Make a Difference campaign.
Bro, look at that
This is a
forehead.
community-level prevention initiative designed to raise awareness and change behaviors around safe medication practices that work to keep
Yeah, I'm talking Wolf
our
of Wall
homes
Street.
and our
It was,
communities
right?
safe.
Eclipse? Yeah.
Let's Make a Difference has established strategic partnerships
It
and
took a while to
fostered
kick
active
in.
collaborations with the goal of making these practices as widespread as recycling and wearing seatbelts, ensuring a lasting impact on public health and safety. Though they started in the Valley, their work has been recognized throughout all of the county of Los Angeles.
Let me try
Many of
lowering
you
my mic, maybe.
Might go to
That'll
a
help also
liquor
with the
license
echo a little
location
bit. I don't know.
nowadays and see a phone board of a police officer telling folks that it's not worth it to steal 40s. That was their project. Everybody liked it, and LAPD has partnered, and now
What's
it's
up,
all
Kevin?
over the city of Los Angeles. But it started in the San Fernando Valley. Therefore, before we present a resolution
people.
from the city, I would like
Thanks
to
is right
invite
here. You
Albert
just checked
Medina
over here.
of the San Fernando Valley Partnership to tell
Johnny,
us
get
more
the
about
ludes.
their initiative and their work.
Fucking
Albert?
whole thing's going down. Of course, he needed the lewd.
Thank you, Councilmember Padilla and council members. I'm really deeply honored to be here and honored today. My journey with the San Fernando Valley
Thank you,
Partnership
Russell.
began
Appreciate
over
you,
3
Russell.
decades
Thank
ago
you.
on Blythe Street in Panorama
Thank you, Russell
City.
Jr.
Our mission then, as it remains today, is grounded in the belief that when it comes to substance abuse prevention, we must address every community's unique needs. We hold firm to the principle that building the capacity of community members and organizations to support the development of forward-thinking prevention initiatives brings about true change.
He's hungry
The
again.
Let's Make a Difference campaign was
He ate at
designed
8
to
o'clock.
prevent prescription drug abuse by addressing the
We'll
key
feed him at
sources
11.
of youth access. 2017 Community Needs Assessment conducted by the LA County Department of Public Health found that the majority of young people that misuse or abuse prescription medications abused opioids. Even more alarming, home, friends, and family were the key sources
She's like
of
me,
youth
Orange
access.
Field. She's wearing some contacts.
Long before the fentanyl crisis,
What's up,
we were
Adrian?
already in the midst of an opioid epidemic. In 2017 was the first time that Americans were more likely to die of a drug overdose than a car accident. The vast majority of young people tragically lost to fentanyl poisoning bore no resemblance to
Tim,
the
he eats in a half
stereotypical
hour.
image of drug
He's
user.
always early.
These
Always.
were not individuals who fit the conventional
I'm
mold.
not feeding him
They
every
were
2
sons
hours.
and daughters,
I
friends
refuse.
and neighbors, bright futures extinguished by a crisis that knows
up,
no
Wayne?
bounds. This stark reality underscores the insidious nature of the epidemic, where the face of addiction often defies our preconceived notions. In recognizing the disparity between perception and reality, we are compelled to confront this crisis with a renewed sense of urgency and empathy. It is only through acknowledging the true depth of its impact that we can enact meaningful change and prevent further loss in our communities. Today, community-based organizations from throughout the city and the county of Los Angeles are actively promoting drug take-back events taking place tomorrow to ensure that we are properly disposing of expired or unused medication. Prescription drugs, as well as many other substances, the easier they are to get, the more
Yeah, they
likely
got
our young
gypped,
people are to
JC.
use them.
Worked
So
all
we
hard
definitely
for all
need to
that
do more
and
to
got
address
gypped.
the accessibility and availability of substances that are killing our young people and destroying our
Don't get to
communities.
walk across the
Thank you,
stage.
Councilmember, for
Thanks
this
to a bunch of
opportunity.
morons who don't even go to the school. They're not alumni. Nothing.
And now, on behalf of the city of Los Angeles, we'd like to give you this recognition so that you can continue to be
Councilmember.
inspired.
Councilmember Padilla.
To serve.
Before you do,
Okay.
if you don't mind, I would like to recognize Councilmember Rodriguez, followed by Councilmember Harris-Dawson.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you so much, Councilmember
What's up, some
Padilla,
dude?
for bringing in one of the best assets that we have in our community. Albert and everyone at the San Fernando Valley Partnership. You know, I've known Albert for probably, I think, going on 30 years, 25 years, when we were organizing in North Hills, when you were doing the work on Blythe Street. All of that history is important.
The grilled cheese, 60
because the
space, yeah.
dynamics have only shifted
sicko.
because of the concentration of the drugs and the exposure to our young people that has
Speaking of
continued
drugs,
to, you know, really be so pervasive in our neighborhoods. As we've seen, as we were talking earlier about even the impacts of cannabis use and how that has gotten substantially worse in terms of the concentrations and the exposures to our young people, it really is presenting greater threats and duress to our young people and to the families of not just the San Fernando Valley, but everywhere, through, you know, in Los Angeles and throughout the state of California. And so I'm just so grateful for you all because, again, you're a treasured asset, community partner for us. Through outreach that you do to our kids, you are a trusted resource for families. But more importantly, you, unfortunately, you know, it's simply not enough. We have to all do more. But I'm just grateful that you have all stepped up to serve in these roles. You've been a really important piece of public safety for our young people, for our families across the city. And I just want to say thank you for this, for your continued work, and congratulations on this well-deserved recognition. Thank you.
Can't hear? What?
Thank you.
Maybe refresh.
Councilmember Harris-Dawson.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Councilmember Padilla. Hey, good to see you. Thank you, Councilmember Rodriguez. I just wanted to stand up and give props to the San Fernando Valley Partnership. I think this organization introduced me years ago, almost 30 years ago, to the Northeast San Fernando Valley as they joined with us when I was at Community Coalition a long time ago.
Sounds good, okay.
Around
They just need to
challenging the notion and the normalcy of substance abuse and highlighting the impact it had on our families, up to and including losing people altogether. And so, you know, it was a great story of unity, and I've learned a great deal from you all. And it's nice to see you all standing strong here in LA City Council, next to our own champion for the Northeast San Fernando Valley, Councilmember Padilla. Thank you so much.
Fucking
Good
mogul.
to see you.
What's up, Jason? It's very
Thank
wacky
you.
here.
Councilmember Padilla.
So to conclude, I just want to remind everyone that there is homework. Go empty out those medicine cabinets and dispose of it correctly. Have a great rest of your Friday.
And leave it over here so we could take it all. Pass it out to the homeless people that you squandered $26 billion for.
Thank you all very much for the life-saving work that you're doing in the San Fernando Valley and beyond. Thank you very much. All right.
Yeah, I just flush the
Next,
shit.
for one of our most important annual presentations, I'd like to recognize Councilmember Rodriguez, if you're prepared for your presentation, in recognition of Denim Day.
Denim Day? Stop it. Everybody was told to wear their Canadian tuxedo. Shout out to my Canadian friends. Oh, shit, yeah. She was the only one that wore the denim. Everybody else didn't wear denim.
Colleagues, I am joined today by my colleagues, the women on the LA City Council.
You're welcome, Russell. We love you.
And of course,
Trust me, I got plenty of family up there in Toronto.
Patty Giggins from Peace Over Violence to celebrate and recognize the 25th
There'll never be a
anniversary
Damon Day.
of Denim
Ever.
Day.
Or a
So
stink
please
day.
give them a round of applause.
What? No. Don't do that to the chair.
Sexual violence is an issue that plagues the entire nation. In fact, globally, assaults on women are recognized, even by the United Nations, as a global health
Should it just be,
crisis.
you
Every
know,
73
a crisis
seconds, someone
against
in the United
everybody being
States
assaulted?
is sexually assaulted. Yet despite these
Male or
alarming
female?
numbers, sexual violence remains vastly underreported and often dismissed. This is why Denim Day holds such an immense importance, especially here in Los Angeles, and has been part of that recognition, which has really
Denim causes
transformed
violence.
even our public safety response here in the city of Los Angeles. And it originates from an Italian Supreme Court case in which a rape conviction was overturned because the victim wore tight jeans,
Stop it.
suggesting consent. Denim Day has become a global movement to challenge victim blaming attitudes and raise awareness about sexual violence. And by wearing denim today, we stand in solidarity
Right,
with
son.
survivors, affirming that no clothing choice, behavior, or circumstance justifies sexual violence. We reject
Hi, Sarah.
victim-blaming narratives and instead advocate for a culture of consent, respect, and accountability. But Denim Day is not just about raising awareness. It's a call to action. It's a reminder that each of us has a role to play in ending sexual violence. And in my district, I've been proud to partner with the county to open up a bridge home facility at the Sylmar Armory to help women, many of whom have been the victims of sexual assault, that are now experiencing homelessness. Whether it's supporting survivors, educating others, or advocating for policy changes, we all have the power to make a difference. I want to thank Patty for all of her incredible leadership, for being an incredible partner with us here in the city of Los Angeles, just as I know that she has been at the county level. As
See his little
Executive Director
Palestinian
of
flag
Crossover
back
Violence,
there?
She
See
has
it?
been a force
Right behind
that
the
has
lady in the red hat.
maintained the prevalence and strength of this movement here in the city and across the county of Los Angeles. And at this time, before I pass the mic over to Patty, I want to first introduce a video from our mayor, Karen Bass.
Oh, we got a video from the DEI hire herself, who can't find 26 billion they wasted.
The 4 million Angelenos
Billion.
communities across our city. Key to this critical work is standing and fighting against sexual violence and assault.
Thank you.
Every year in April, Denim Day brings us together to mark Sexual Assault Awareness Month. And every day, our community partners and city leaders
She couldn't even
make an
show up.
enormous difference
Just
in
film
our
a
lives
little
and
video
Angelenos.
for you.
And as we commemorate the 25th anniversary of Denim Day, I urge you to join this campaign and let us stand in solidarity. Sexual violence ends with all of us. Thank you, Los Angeles, for all that you do to end the violence and to support victims and survivors.
Oh, yeah. What a joke. She's such a fucking joke.
Thank you, Mayor Bass.
What a
And
fucking
actually, I'm going to change gears a little bit. I told Patty, first, I think it's important that she gets her flowers. With all the work that she has dedicated and all of
What
the
the flowers
momentum that she
cost
has
us.
helped build again across the city of Los Angeles.
What was
and
that part of
across
the 26
county,
billion?
in reforming even our response to what victims endure in a public safety response. She deserves all of the accolades and kind remarks that I know so many of my colleagues are about to bestow on her. And with that, I want to give that to her first before we give the mic over to her. And so with that, I'd like to at this time introduce my dear colleague from the 1st Councilmanic District, Councilmember Eunice Hernandez.
Hello, everybody. Thank you so much, Councilwoman Rodriguez, for your leadership in making this presentation happen. And good morning, colleagues and all our constituents who are here today. I'm proud to be standing in solidarity with my colleagues and Patty Giggins from Peace Over Violence, who has been doing this work for decades, and all survivors and allies to recognize the 25th anniversary of Denim Day.
Okay, 15.
April is Sexual Assault Awareness and Prevention Month. I am a survivor of sexual violence. It happened to me in my freshman year of college by someone that I knew since middle school. And I know that my story is one of too many who have experienced this kind of harm. What this day means to me is a day of empowerment, of remembering that we are not alone as survivors, that there are techniques and different things that we can learn to defend ourselves. And the most important thing I will say again is that we are not alone. It's going to take all of us to lead with an approach that centers care and prevents and repairs and reduces harm in our communities. And that includes in the funding and policy making decisions we're making around this horseshoe, to identify and fill the gaps we currently have to address this harm, and to provide resources to our city departments like community investment for families who are doing the work to connect people to safe spaces. We know that violence is preventable, and I am grateful to be here with all of you to rededicate ourselves to another 25 years of working together to create a world free from violence, sexual assault, and all forms of violence.
I
and
lowered
harm.
myself a
And
little bit.
I know that all the women
Is
council
that
members
better?
are here.
Am I better now?
All my colleagues,
I
my
want
male
to
counterparts.
reduce their
You
echo.
know, 99% of sexual assault and sexual violence that occurs are by our male counterparts. And we oftentimes are experiencing the worst of the patriarchy. And so I just hope that you also stand with us and would love to see you out at Denim Day next year as well. Thank you again, and I'll pass the
Of course I know
mic
slaps.
back
I don't need to
Councilwoman
look it
Rodriguez.
up.
Thank you.
Mr. Pibb, come on.
All right, she said it, gentlemen. Thank you, Councilmember Hernandez. Now I'd like to introduce Councilmember for the 4th District, Councilmember Rahman.
Thank you so much, and Councilmember Hernandez.
Denim Day. Did
your
she wear any
call
denim?
for
Oh,
all
wait,
of
her
our male
pants might be
colleagues as well
denim.
to speak
They're
up
just not
is,
blue.
I hope, heard resoundingly in
beige
this body.
denim.
So thank you. I want to thank Patty Giggins for just being an incredible leader on this issue for so long, and Councilmember Rodriguez. You have led every Denim Day since I've been on this
You're
council,
fed
so
soon
thank you
enough.
so
Trust
much
me,
for
I
your
don't
resolute
starve the
focus
cat. Look
on
how
this
big
very,
he
very
is.
important
It's
issue.
fucking huge.
I stand here today in front of you as a woman,
Just not gonna
as
feed
a
him every
mother
2
of a
hours.
daughter,
I won't do
and as a survivor
Huh.
myself, and
Big baby.
you know, really speaking today in the wake of what I know many survivors are reeling from, which
You
is
want long?
the overturning
Yeah,
of Harvey
get long.
Weinstein's guilty verdict
Don't want no long.
in the appeals court in New York. That doesn't mean he's going to be free. He's you know, convicted here in California as well, and will likely serve that sentence. But I think for so many of us,
what's up, Pete?
You know, Patty, you've been in this work for decades. I think many of us came into it through the resurgence of the Me Too movement when Weinstein survivors spoke up. And it made it an issue that the world could not turn away from. The appeals court ruling, to me, underscores what I think so many survivors feel when they face the system, which is that the system is not for them. And my hope is that through the work that you do, through the work that all of us do in this council,
Absolutely,
and
Peachy.
through the work of improving the system bit by bit,
see you.
that we can indeed change this into a system that stands with survivors
absolutely right.
As they deserve. Thank you.
Like I said, they pander to the people and pretend like they're doing things to
introduce
thwart
the
crime, but
councilmember
it's
for
their
the 5th
policies
District,
that keep the
Councilwoman
crime going.
Katie Young-Yaroslavsky.
It's their fault. It's their fault these people come in and beg for crumbs every day because they were the ones that shut people down and wouldn't allow businesses to open and wouldn't allow people to work. Who'd you think that was going to hurt? The guy who's got $1 million to open a business, or somebody who's living check to check, just barely living? Who is it going to hurt?
Do as well.
Doesn't take rocket scientists.
Domestic
Doesn't
and
take some
intimate
Mensa
partner
member to
violence
figure it out.
statistics in LA are alarming, and they underscore a
They
harsh
never
reality
talk about that,
too
either
many
do the
in
people
our
who come and
community,
beg for the
particularly
change.
women, face danger when they should feel safest in their
So
own
you
homes.
vote for these
And these
people,
numbers
you
aren't
deserve
merely
everything
abstract.
you
They
get.
represent our neighbors,
Homelessness,
our friends,
fucking
our parents, our
everything.
siblings, our
Poverty.
children who suffer in silence. As others
Just
have
get on
pointed
the
out,
welfare.
TV touches nearly every issue, especially our homelessness crisis.
In fact,
where
there's
the
more
scars of
people on
domestic violence
welfare
aren't just
in
physical,
California
also
than
deeply woven
any
into the
other
daily struggle
state
for survival.
in the country.
In LA,
There's 50 of
only
them, and we're the
10%,
leading state.
10% of DV
That should tell you
survivors are able
everything.
to access a safe shelter bed. In 2023, that meant that over 9,000 survivors were forced to choose between returning to an unsafe home or grappling with homelessness.
That's it.
And so the
Right, street
intersection of
peeps? It is
homelessness and
hysterical.
domestic violence demands more than standard solutions. It requires tailored, compassionate strategies that
They're
address
great
the unique
victims.
challenges faced by those with a history
They're always the
of
victim.
domestic violence. But the frustrating thing is that we all know this. And we hear rhetoric around it from our political leaders, and yet we don't see the resources we need to actually address it sufficiently. In fact, this year, Congress dramatically cut funding for the Victims of Crime Act.
Maybe
which
it's
will
because
have
you
very
blew
real
$26 billion
consequences
for the
in LA.
homeless, and we knew you couldn't,
The report that we
you know,
expect CIFD
you
to
couldn't take
release
care of any of
today,
their money you got from
their
any other
estimates
places
that these
anyways.
cuts will result in a 58% reduction in survivor services in LA, a reduction or elimination of services for over 5,500 survivors, and a nearly 10% reduction in the number of DV shelter beds, which are already woefully inadequate. It's completely unacceptable. So on this Denim Day, Let us not just recommit to ending domestic violence.
Mac,
but
if you're
commit to
watching,
pushing on our federal and
please,
state partners
I'll even
to
throw in
provide
a
the
little
funding
cash.
this
Can we
issue
send her a
deserves.
Mac
There's a
kit?
bill currently
Get her
in
some makeup
Sacramento
on
that
that
would require
fucking
the state to
face.
backfill these
Because
cuts.
goddamn,
AB 1956.
I'm about to turn to
This council
stone
has
looking at that.
already passed a resolution in support of this bill, but we need everyone in LA who cares about this issue to call on your state assembly members, state senators,
Fantastic
and the
Sam's, are
governor's
you
office
watching?
to support AB
I'm telling you, I'll throw in
1956.
for a
Thank you so
cut and
much.
curl, a perm, whatever. Give her something. Do something with that mop on her head.
Thank you. And now
Ain't look like it's been cut or styled or even washed in quite a while.
Imelda Padilla.
Are you watching Fantastic Sam's Supercuts? Please, I'm willing to throw money on it.
Councilwoman Rodriguez,
I'll pay for
taking
some
the
of
lead
it.
in organizing this presentation in recognition of Denim Day and the important work of peace over violence.
I mean,
I'm very proud
fuck.
to
I
be
know
standing here
haircuts are
along
two
with the woman,
$200. You guys
of
told
the
me,
City
but
Council and the
goddamn.
Executive Director of Peace Over Violence, Patty Gigan, to stand up against all forms of violence against women.
Jesus.
In fact, Patty and I go back forming the Women and Girls Initiative at the LA County level, so it's always such a breath of fresh air to see you in City Hall, because if she's in the room, you know she's talking about Denim Day and
We know
violence
she's
against
talking.
women and how we need to continue to step it up to make changes. So it's very good to see you here. When Denim Day,
Just
we
refresh,
all know, was
Fubar. You're
technically
the only
this
one
Wednesday, I
buffering, or
proudly
go
wear my jeans
refresh
today
your
with
router
purpose,
or your modem.
to encourage all of us to educate ourselves on why we even have to have Denim Day in the first
I
place.
will, Pete.
This is not an action I take lightly or an excuse to be more comfortable and casual at work. In fact, the origins of Denim Day are rooted in correcting an injustice.
I
And to
washed
be quite
my hair
honest,
this morning.
When you really look
I
at
know
the
it don't
history,
look
it's
great, but I
correcting
washed
an
it.
injustice of bromance taking more
All
of
ready
a
today. It's washed. It's ready. It's
bro-to-bro
clean. Smells
approach to
nice.
saying that it's the woman's fault when she gets assaulted. So we tell you, male counterparts, that we need you in this fight. We mean it. Because what happened was you had a judge that say it was the woman's fault for wearing her jeans. And this was a European
You know, there's
court.
men that are sexually
So,
assaulted too.
please,
But
we don't say that to you lightly either.
thank you, Terry.
Wearing your jeans today comes from this
Should be human
uncomfortable
beings
past.
that are
So
sexually
we must
assaulted.
make it clear that it is never okay to blame the victim of assault or violence, even from a bro-to-bro perspective.
Bro to bro.
This message is as true now as it was 25 years ago when
So
activists
take
and
heed,
women around
men.
the world first put on their jeans in solidarity with survivors of assault.
Fantastic
to protest
Sam's
the decision
is watching.
made by the
Fantastic
Italian
Sam's. Let's
Supreme
get her
Court.
going.
Thank you, Peace Over Violence, for sparkling a global movement
Thank you, Matt.
to stand with survivors of rape and sexual assault and to finally put an end to the wrong and destructive attitudes about
Fantastic
sexual
Sam's is
assault
here.
being something
They're watching.
we should address as nonchalantly, because we shouldn't. Thank you again, Patty.
I mean,
and thank you
what
to
a
all my
perfect
colleagues for being
YouTube
here
video to
today.
take that mop and make it into something nice. Give her a short little. I don't know about a short little bob. We can't. That's what people with like pretty faces, and we know what we got there. So we can't do the bob. We need as much
Thank you
hair,
so
just
much.
cut and styled,
Thank you, Councilwoman,
to cover that
Rodriguez.
face.
It's been an experience
goddamn.
for me. It was just last year that I participated, and in the steps
Tough
in front
skins.
of City Hall.
3 minutes.
with Patty
3
that
minutes, and we'll feed
Patty
you.
made
3
me
minutes.
feel safe enough to talk about being a survivor, to no longer have the fear that I had since I was 13 years old. And so, in giving you your flowers,
Look at him
I
out
just
there. You
wanna
see him?
say
You see him in the hallway
how
over there? Look at him. Look at him.
important it
Look at him.
is
Just
to
staring at me.
Live outside
Here he comes.
of fear and push forward. And it's you, Patty. Peace over violence.
I said
It
3
gives
minutes.
People a safe space,
3
and
minutes
I
or
think
less now. It's gonna be 2.5
it's very
minutes.
meaningful to me. It chokes me up every time. Denim Day is more than just about wearing jeans, but a powerful proclamation.
No
that
trans
we
women
stand
represented?
together
No.
in solidarity
Apparently
with other
not.
survivors
Trans women
of
aren't
sexual violence.
ever
And we say
sexually
it's not
assaulted.
okay. I want to say to men and women that have
Because
had
a
these
trans
experiences,
woman is still a
do
man,
not
I'm
be
sure, even in
fear
their
of
eyes.
sharing it in a safe space
And remember,
with
men are the enemy.
organizations like Peace Over Violence.
Their toxic masculinity needs to be stomped out.
And then I also want to
Especially
say
white
in
men.
the city, we have tools.
Especially
Our
white men.
office, along with Council District
El
8
Diablo
and
Blanco.
Council District 9, male counterparts in the Civil Rights Department, put together a resource guide for people in the city, so that if you have had any experiences with domestic violence or sexual violence, you could look to this resource guide. We have it in our offices, and it's also online. So that's just a small step in making a difference in the city, but that's what we're here for. When we work together to
Celebrate
make change,
denim diversity.
change will happen. And I just want to put everybody on notice that this
What's up,
team
CW?
of council women are making a huge difference in the city. And
Trans
they are
don't wear
making
denim?
a difference in things that
Didn't know
have
that.
been bro to bro, things that have been patriarchal.
Everything is
And
bro to
we are
bro
gonna
in the
work together
patriarchy.
to make sure that all our constituents are safe.
Bro
Thank
to
you
bro.
so much. Thank you, Patty, for all you do. Thank you, Patty.
Bro to bro.
Thank you, Councilwoman.
Are you
Hutt.
telling
And
me
no, we are
women
reclaiming
don't
our
sexually
time,
assault
so I don't
women?
care
Like
how many times
lesbian
that
women
buzzer
don't
goes
ever
off, we're
beat
gonna
their
keep going.
don't ever beat
And,
their
with
significant
that,
others?
I'd like to
Because I could tell you, you could watch Cops.
Councilmember
I've seen a
for
few of
the
them. One in
11th
Vegas I
district,
saw about a
Councilwoman
couple
Tracy
weeks
Park.
back.
you,
One lady
Councilwoman
was
Rodriguez, for your
was the
leadership
husband, the
in
other one's the wife,
leading this
and they were getting beat. She was beating her right on the street as a cop just drove by. He turned around,
the
arrested him.
dedication that you have demonstrated
Arrested her.
in standing with and for victims for decades is remarkable.
So when it's broette to broette, it's okay.
I also want to acknowledge the bravery and courage of Councilwoman
Terry, yeah.
Hernandez, Councilwoman
It's just
Hutt,
on the
and
what do you call it
Councilwoman
channel?
Rahman
It's on
for being willing to speak and share their truths.
not the
I'm really
Peacock.
grateful for
It's
moments
on,
like this when we can unite and speak to our shared values and acknowledge
They have
our
the-
joint
it's on a
commitment
channel.
to
I gotta-
raising
I gotta-
awareness
I
and
can't remember it
combating
right now.
sexual violence.
They just did a
Patty,
deal
being
with somebody.
you
It's like
and
South
my
Park.
colleagues on Wednesday,
It's like South
marking
Park.
the 25th
They
anniversary
still have
of
new
Denim
South
Day
Park, but you
was
can't see it
profoundly
anymore on
moving.
regular television.
It was
right?
inspiring to see the impact of your work reflected
Same thing.
in the
Pluto
voices
is
of
the channel?
everyone
Okay,
who
thank you.
gathered,
Pluto.
rallying towards
Fox
the day
Nation.
in which no woman
Vpol
feels
says too.
unsafe
So
navigating
there you go,
the streets of
Tara.
Los Angeles. Until
Paramount.
that day
Thank you,
arrives,
Glitch. That's what it's on.
I will
Paramount,
continue
Fox
to
Nation.
celebrate and support the work
All right, let me
of
go feed him because he's
organizations
just
like
going
Peace Over
crazy right now.
Violence,
So
who
I'll be
lead
right
by
back, guys.
example
Give me
in
1 moment.
providing comprehensive
You ready to
education
eat?
and intervention strategies. Until then, I also will personally continue fighting for resources to combat sexual violence and support groups like LAPD's Operations West Bureau Special Assault Section. Their recent arrest of the suspect who violently assaulted 2 innocent women in the Venice canals prove how invaluable they are to community safety. It was an honor to walk the canals with them yesterday and express my gratitude for their dedication. Hearing their stories and understanding the work they do only reinforces my support for the mission that brings us all here together today. I'm privileged to stand in good company with all of you, united in our shared belief that sexual violence ends with all of us. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember Park. And again, so much of this moment is really not a presentation born out of, I have the privilege of leading this presentation, but it's really built on the work that is no small feat, that this dynamic woman, make no mistake, her stature has nothing on her strength. She's been a powerful force behind what has really helped to shift the conversation, even with respect to our public safety response, to empower survivors to speak their truth and help educate more women on how to stand up strongly for themselves. You give us all the strength and all the power to continue to do what we do, and make no mistake, as we all continue to challenge the patriarchal system that continues to enable this environment. You are the honorary 8th member, female member of this city council, and we are so grateful. And I think you're also the honorary 6th supervisor. But I just want to say that you have been an incredible ally and partner for all of us. And it's not enough to just wear denim to show your solidarity, but to show up in policy with, and I put everybody on notice for that, because this is an issue that has not resolved itself on its own, and it will continue to endure unless we all stand up in solidarity with one another. And so, Patty, for that, I'm incredibly grateful. Ladies and gentlemen, Patty Giggins.
Wow, I was not expecting that. You actually taken all the words out of my mouth. You've said everything that I would want to say today. And I thought Wednesday, which was Denim Day, when we were all together, was so spectacular. But now this morning, you're just keeping it going, and I'm so grateful to all of you. When we celebrated the 25th anniversary of Denim Day, we can be proud that Denim Day started here in Los Angeles, the first city to declare Denim Day in 1999, and it has spread to cities and counties and states. There's Denim Day in New York, there's Denim Day in Chicago, there's Denim Day in Tennessee. I just got an email that there's a Denim Day in Belarus. So it's become international, and it's because it's such a vital issue, and finally we've been able to bring attention to sexual violence, domestic violence, and all those other violences that are connected. And the electricity Wednesday at our beautiful event out on the steps of City Hall was amazing. And I think that the fact that we have millions of people who wear denim on purpose, because it is not just, we like to say, make a social statement with your fashion statement. Of course, denim is a very comfortable thing, and and what does that mean? But I think with a consciousness, when you get dressed in the morning and you're wearing denim on purpose, it's actually a very intimate thing, because you're putting something on your body. Oops. And we know that the violences that happen to women and children and men is also intimate on that intimate level. So the actual putting on the jeans or putting on the jacket, it has become to be a symbolic
That's a bootleg,
act of
Dr. Ruth.
solidarity. And we've made changes over the last 25 years. We've influenced the rise of legal reform and legislative action to increase services and protection for survivors. We've exposed and cleared rape kit backlogs all over the country. Access to technology has helped survivors share their stories, seek services, and report crimes if they so choose. Denim Day has created space for more conversations about sexual violence. We have seen the rise of #MeToo,
What are you crying
the
for
upheaval
now?
in the entertainment and sports industries. The court victories of E.G. Carroll would not have been possible without these movements and efforts, including Denim Day, for survivors' truths to be told and to be believed. More youth are having conversations about what does it mean to have a healthy relationship, setting
Think they'll talk about
boundaries
P. Diddy
prioritizing
and how he pushed the
consent.
Democratic
There's
Party?
increased awareness that
Remember?
has exposed
Rock the
depth
vote?
and breadth of sexual violence
Him
in
and
our
Hillary
country
and all
around
that?
the world.
I know some of you
Rape
remember.
is now acknowledged as a weapon of war, as we have seen.
Think he'll
even
talk about
recently.
that?
Rape and
Think
intimate
they'll talk
partner
about
violence
that?
Can impact everyone.
That's
in
their
every
buddy.
Community. With better data,
He's their voter
we
base.
now know that communities of color, BIPOC, LGBTQ, and
Exactly,
migrants,
Ian, you
people with
remember.
disabilities, incarcerated persons are disproportionately impacted and vulnerable.
That's what I'd be saying on that thing. Where were you and P. Diddy? Where were you guys at Up in Arms about that?
So many harms.
Oh, I forgot. He's
like
one of your buddies.
homelessness,
My
gun
bad.
violence, mass shootings,
My bad.
mental illness,
If he was a Republican, we
substance
know he'd be
abuse,
thrown
and
under the jail.
to truly
We
end
get
sexual
it.
violence, we must connect the dots with the other violences and social issues and recognize the urgency of this intersectionality. Denim Day is just one vibrant opportunity to focus on including all survivors, their families,
Well, apparently he had a
and
talent at touching
and
people,
support the growing
allegedly,
efforts
Robert.
for
So
equity,
he might have
justice,
some
and a
talent.
safer world. Once again, I have to speak about the disappointment after having such an incredible Denim Day around the country, around the world, to wake up yesterday morning to find out that the appellate court in New York overturned the Harvey Weinstein conviction.
Oh.
I mean, that is, in a sense, it's we went from a kind of collective solidarity to outrage, and it's, if you remember, we just heard the story of Denim Day. It was inspired by a case in Italy where the judge overturned
Aquamarine, let's get it.
a rape
Thank you.
case and the conviction, and the rapist was let out of jail.
I think some toys.
So
Okay.
this is such an ongoing
figure out
issue,
something nice to
and as
eat.
much as we have to advocate and agitate we cannot lose sight of the fact that this is still an uphill battle, and it does take
Ian.
all of us. And as
You
I'm
know that
speaking
nobody has your
before
best
you
interest
here in
but
these
you.
council chambers,
We know that.
victim services programs are under threat of reducing the capacity to provide
Thank you, Aqua.
services
Appreciate you.
to survivors
Happy
through
Friday.
the pending cutbacks, which you just heard about, from the Federal Victim of Crime Act funding program, VOCA funding. At Peace Over Violence, I already had to lay off 50% of my
We're
legal
50
department.
minutes in already.
More
Well, really
cuts are
40 with
coming
them because
in
we were talking
September
for about 10
and
earlier.
in January. And
Maybe
if
5.
this
I don't know.
draconian cutback happens, there will be 400 agencies in the state of California, sexual assault, domestic violence shelters, child abuse programs.
Of course he does, Matt
who will
Trees.
be funded by up to 50%. 50%.
Be willing to bet, says he's
We
a
have
Democrat.
relied on government funding along with
Be willing to bet.
all other kinds of support, foundations. We do campaigns. We do galas. We do
Oh, it was your
lunches,
birthday
we beg.
too? Happy birthday,
Right,
Aqua.
constantly
Happy
to keep
birthday.
these services going while these services
Very New
are
Year.
about to be
Happy birthday, you
and
thing
so
from another world,
in
you.
LA, we could have as
Happy
many
birthday,
as
Aqua.
55
Belated.
agencies who will be cut.
Happy belated birthday.
Along with the 400 total in the state. So I'm using this moment, and I'm so glad that you're already
for
aware
sure he does,
and
VP.
you already care. But we need your clout, your connections, your influence to talk to the governor, talk to our Congress people, because this is we're not only advocating in California. This is happening in every state in the union. Right?
Sure.
Next Tuesday and Wednesday, 200 leaders like myself, we are going
It's
to
a
be in
joke.
Sacramento, and we're going to walk those halls, and we're going to tell the stories of survivors, and we're going to tell the stories how disappointing it is when the judicial system cannot maintain a rape conviction. So here we are, 25 years into Denim Day, 50 years of a violence against women movement in
Sure,
the
he
country.
could buy his way out.
And
Alan.
I'm so grateful for the support of this body, not just on Denim Day, but all the time. And the fact that I don't even have to
I can
come
put
to
the
next
volume
speeches
up with the
anymore
echo if
because
you
all
allow
of
her.
you really understand
There,
what's
it's-
going on, and I
it's
can't
high
tell you
as
how
you go
gratifying
now.
that is. And your support means the world to all
wait,
of our
hold on.
programs here in the city and county of Los Angeles. So thank you so much.
The higher the volume, the more the echo.
And Patty, if I can just say, there are few better examples of how one person can really bend the arc of a society. And what you started and what you've continued to be a champion of through Denim Day has really played an essential role in
And Emily,
changing the way
thank you
our
so much, Emily, for the
society,
huge dono the other night
talks
that I
about,
missed. Emily, if you're watching,
addresses,
thank you. Happy Friday.
responds to
Much love to
sexual
you. I
violence
know
and
you're always
violence in all of
supportive.
its
Thank you so much,
and
Emily.
so all of us, everyone in
Oh, we
this
got another
society,
dono. Who's this?
owes a great debt of gratitude to you for the extraordinary work and leadership and vision that you've shown over all
Charles
these years.
Daniels, let's go,
We're very
Charles
grateful to you.
Daniels. Thank you.
And
Happy
Councilmember
Friday.
Rodriguez, if I may, before you close, I'd like to recognize Councilmember Soto Martinez.
You sure it's not
Thanks so much,
Soto
Council
Mariar?
President. Well, I want to just thank our Madrina, Councilmember Rodriguez, for leading on so many
The
issues.
last chick called him.
and especially this one, which is a very important one. And of course, Patty, for all your amazing work that you've done over the
That's it,
many
Matt.
years.
But you're the
And I
you're the
think,
devil,
several
especially if
of
you're
you
white,
all
Matt.
Today, which are now 7
might be.
council members in the city, are saying that the men need to do better, right? And I think a lot of the testimony was incredibly moving. And I think the comments by Councilmember Yaroslavsky were particularly moving because it reminded me when I was in college as a volunteer in victims assistance here in the city of Los Angeles. And oftentimes we would see many women who were fleeing domestic violence, oftentimes with their kids, show up
I
to
mean,
these
being
offices.
such advocates of the
And
gay
to
community,
think of
they
the
would.
courage
You'd think they'd
that it
mention the
takes
fact that
for someone
in the
to-
gay
to do
community,
that, to
there's
take that
plenty
step.
of men
But
on
then
men
only
and
to be
women
met
on
with
women.
no-
There's men
little
that
to
are
no
beat by their
resources is an
boyfriends
absolute
and their
failure of the
husbands.
city. And,
There
our
are
budgets more
lesbian women
documents,
that beat
so
their
what better way to talk about it
significant
than
others
right
that
now,
happen to be
as we're
women.
getting into budget season, and so.
But you remember, it's bro.
So I'm ready to throw down, support and solidarity because
Ready to throw down,
we're
eh?
trying to smash the patriarchy. I'm down with that because
Trying to-
it's one of many.
Oh,
oppressive
what a
systems
knee-bending
that
sack
continue
of
to
dog shit.
Lay huge shadows over our entire society. So But again, thank you again for
Bro,
your leadership.
give
and
me your
I'll let
dude
y'all
card.
take the
Let me
lead,
cut
and I'll
that
be following along.
motherfucker in half.
Thank you, council member. And
You fucking
I
knee.
think-
You
I
might
think
as
we're
well
all
have got
done
on
with
your
this.
knees and licked their toes.
I think we're all exceptionally proud, by the way.
What a cuck.
To be
Exactly,
members
Ian.
of a city
What a
council
fucking
that for
cuck.
the first time in the history of the city of Los Angeles has achieved
That's what I'm
essential
saying,
gender
Terry.
equity. And we're
I'm
grateful
telling
to
you, we've
all of
heard it
our
on the show.
extraordinary
You
leaders
can watch
of
it on
this city
Cops.
who are standing up
You
here,
can
the
see the
7,
assault. You
women
don't have to
council members
hear
who-
about it, and then they
who
just
have
showed up and see
achieved this
somebody beating her
historic
bloody.
first,
You can see it on
and
that
we
one.
look
She
forward to
hits her
continuing to stand
right
with
as the
our
car's
allies and
driving
work
by
with
down the
council
street in
member
Las
leaders.
Vegas.
Thank you so much. Well, we look forward to continuing to build on this history because we're not done.
Okay, cop had to turn
And,
around, go in the parking
and I'm
lot.
just really
They
grateful
were
again,
fighting
Patty,
still.
for all of your continued enduring
2
leadership.
women.
For all the survivors.
No
whose
guys,
voices-
no
Who
bros.
are not celebrities. The everyday victim that has endured these traumas, that you've given space
That's it,
for them to have a
Malcolm.
voice and to be recognized and to have the strength to tell their stories. I'm just incredibly grateful for the example that you've given, even when this council didn't have a single woman representing on this city council. You were here, I know. And so you have been an extraordinary force, and for that, we are all indebted to you. Thank you for 25 years of leadership. Thank you to Peace Over Violence. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you, 25 years.
That's what I'm saying, Terry. It
Denim
happens
Day
with
in
everybody.
LA.
Straight,
Thank you for this.
gay, bisexual, trisexual, whatever else they've made up today or tomorrow before it's even made
I
up.
just want to add, and thank you so much.
Of course, you couldn't. You need to add it again.
Peace Over Violence. You know, we have a staff.
We're
of,
an hour
we have a
in.
Staff of 60. It may go down soon, but we are part of a network. Sexual assault centers, domestic violence centers. All of us use volunteers. We need our volunteers who come from the community.
They're just gaslighters.
So many people who work in
Every
our field
one of them.
are survivors. So this is a survivor-led movement, and I'm talking also about male survivors, child survivors.
Oh,
And
now.
so I accept this
Oh.
on behalf of Peace
Oh,
Over
now.
Violence,
We
but
talk about
I'm so
the
proud
kids,
that
too.
we have built a network through the city of
Mm.
LA. There's
Admin for
services in
just
every
1
one of your
second.
districts.
Admin.
And we all know
Admin.
each other, and we all work together, and we all support each other, and,
We
and
had
in the
to say
county
it.
and in the state. And I'm hoping that this is just a blip in the process of the success that we're going to keep having of honoring survivors and making, as you say, making it safe for survivors to tell their stories, but more importantly, preventing the violence from happening in the first place.
Thank you very much, Patty. Next, I'd like to call on Councilmember Harris Dawson.
Holy shit. I mean, we're literally almost an hour in just on this fucking thing right here. And you can see how many more people, all the people in the front of this row right here, all those people in the front row, all have to be recognized or honored for whatever they're doing. Holy shit. Can we get a move on? We know you motherfuckers are slow. We know you got room temperature IQs. Let's
Councilmember
get it
Harris
going.
Dawson, good morning.
Hustle
Thank
up.
you so much, Mr. President. I rise this morning to proudly and sadly celebrate one of the hardest working people in the Los Angeles city family, the one and only Mr. Frank Lara. Let's give him a round of applause. Come on up, everybody. Frank Lara is retiring from the Department of Building and Safety after almost 25 years of service. His career began with the City of Los Angeles as a housing inspector with the LA Housing Department. He was eventually hired in the Department of Building and Safety as a building mechanical inspector. Throughout his career, he served in many capacities, from senior building mechanical inspector, supervisor of the nuisance abatement and revocation unit, principal inspector, where he would oversee various code enforcement operations. He was promoted to assistant deputy superintendent of building 2 and was assigned to oversee the code enforcement bureau. Additionally, he helped develop reports and execute implementation of ordinances such as home sharing, restaurant beverage program, padlocking of unlawful cannabis establishment, and various COVID restrictions. Come on, everybody, come on up.
Various. This is the guy that helped us go poor.
Family and extended family is the next thing.
He
in
helped
my
shut
notes.
everything down and keep
have
it
made
shut
a
down.
Tremendous contribution to the city of Los Angeles and our Department of Building. Your father, right, served with the department. Your mother served with the department, and several other family members. We might have some new building and safety employees up here with us that'll be with us in a few years. In totality, Frank Lara and his family have recorded 70 years of service to the city of Los Angeles. So, on behalf of the 4 million people of this city, this council, the entire city family, we want to congratulate you.
He's getting a frame.
Thank you, and wish you Godspeed in your retirement. Ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Mr. Frank Lara.
He's going to try to give him the... one of those awkward handshakes for a moment.
Good morning, Council President,
it's got a
fellow
whole
council
speech.
members,
Fuck.
and thank you for that very nice Councilmember Harris Dawson. I'm flattered for all those kind words, and I'm actually honored to
No
be in
broing
this
out, bro.
chamber, to be recognized by so many people that I respect and appreciate. I can't believe
Bro
it's
to
been
bro.
almost 25 years I was fortunate enough to gain employment with the city of Los Angeles. But considering all the fond memories I have, I see how it went so quickly. As Councilmember said, I started my employment with the housing department. Many fond memories. I was there a brief time, but I learned so much there, and I have still many friends in that department. Robert Velarde is here. He said he wouldn't want to miss that, so many friends at housing department from the time I was there. The majority of my time was with building and safety, and I'm so appreciative to have served in various positions at that department and worked with
Look at Spindler
so
back
many
there. Look at the goat
colleagues
puppet.
that I have the highest respect for due to their
He's back to normal self, guys.
professionalism, their
He's got the goat
knowledge,
puppet going.
their work ethic, and their camaraderie. So many of these colleagues are here with me today, along with colleagues from other departments.
Sure, son plants.
and family members.
You
and
really wanted to
friends.
go in the toilet? Hire him.
So many of you here are here, and I want to thank them for being here to support me. And
Remember, he hates
my
white people,
coworkers,
so, yeah.
Thank you for
There's that.
all these pleasant years and that wonderful work relationship that we shared. So, Councilmember mentioned that I have my family here. So I have my beautiful wife Rita in red, and my daughter Frankie, and then I actually have 7 grandchildren here. So it's Zyla, Isaac,
Damn,
Dallas,
they be boning in the family.
Matthias, Jaden, Tony, and Noah. So I have 7 grandchildren here. So.
You haven't seen Pickle Dick in a while? Maybe he retired. Maybe he's on like a 1 month vacation. I don't know.
So I want to thank them all for being
Now I'm
here.
gonna be on the
and
lookout for
supporting me and
Pickle
making
Dick.
this a family
Still on the lookout
affair.
for
And I
Cat's
want to thank my wife
Cat's
Rita
boyfriend,
for supporting me through all these years.
Mr. Harlan. Miss
allowing
him,
me to
dude.
do
I miss
what I had
Mr.
to
Harlan
do
a
to
lot.
have a
I really do.
successful
No
career
joke.
At building and safety.
Dude was straight gold.
Council member
Fucking Donald Harlan, if you're watching, where are you? Just let us know you're
I wanna
okay.
Elaborate on that a little bit. My father, also named Frank, he joined the Department of Building and Safety in 1955. It was actually July of 1955. My mother, who didn't know my father yet, also joined later that year in October of 1955. So they actually met at Building and Safety.
You want
were
a Mr.
married,
Harlan drop?
and they had
I own
my
the
brother
Port of Los
Dave, and I
Angeles.
think many
That's my
council members remember my
property.
brother Dave.
You're
who
not
retired
to
7
be
years ago.
hiring
But had my brother
anybody
Dave,
into
Lara,
the
and
Port of Los
myself.
Angeles.
So
You're not to be
the
building
4 of
anything in
us
the Port of
actually,
Los Angeles. The city's
the
never
entire
owned
immediate
the Port of
family
Los
gained
Angeles.
employment with Building
Never
and
owned it.
And not only is it the end of a almost 70-year era that we contributed to the department, but I totaled up all the years of service that the 4 of us have, and we actually have 109 years of service to the Department of Building and Safety between the 4 of us.
Doesn't love you just love
I do want to mention, normally my brother Dave wished he would have been here. He has a severe illness.
Doesn't help
preventing him from
anything.
being here.
This is all
But,
to
I just wanna
self-fulfill.
say that
So
wish
that's
he
all
was
this
here,
is. This is
and,
gaslighting
I
and
miss
self-fulfillment.
him. I love him. He's a very special brother and a very special person.
It's all
So
this
he's
all this
watching,
shit
so
is
Dave,
every day.
My best to you.
It's no different. Every day, it's the same shit.
Just back to my retirement, I will definitely miss the work I did and my association with the great Department of Building and Safety. I've always believed that the essential services that the Department of Building and Safety provides are invaluable to maintaining a city with the stature and caliber. This career has provided me with a huge amount
Wrap
of
that shit
self-esteem
up,
and
B.
dignity, and I'll always be proud of the
That's
work
it,
I
Bionic.
did and what I contributed to the Department of Building Safety and to the city. During my last assignment, I've actually been the council liaison for the department, and I wanted to say I've enjoyed the many interactions that I've had with this council and with all of your excellent staff. I found the interactions to be professional and courteous.
Yeah,
and they were
professional
always
back
goal-oriented,
pattern.
Yet,
Adam,
the
you're
staff
right.
was always very practical. So I want to thank you all for that experience as well, and I want to thank you for this recognition. I will remember this for my entire retirement. Thank you.
Thank you, Frank. Councilmember Rodriguez.
Thank you, Mr.
All right, guys.
President. Thank you, Mr.
Smoke.
Harris
And
Dawson,
ladies.
for honoring the Lara legacy. Let's call it
Wait,
what it is.
where did the denim go?
The
Holy
Lara
shit.
Last name
So
is
you wear the
synonymous with
denim
getting
for the
things
little
done.
denim
If you need
shot
something
out,
in building and safety,
then the denim's
whether,
done.
You know, I had the privilege of growing up working with Dave when I started in council nearly 30 years ago.
I'm stoned, but
And so
not that
it
stoned.
was,
I see what
and
you're up
And I
to.
love the backstory. I didn't know that about your parents.
Oh, you're only going to wear it
it's
10
just
minutes.
beautiful.
Doesn't
What
matter
I'm
that
most
doesn't
grateful
button up
for,
anymore.
Frank, is that, again, you guys always just figured out a way to help make the system that so often is difficult for people to navigate. You made it easier for them to solve their problems. And as I was just sharing with Osama, you know, we try to find legislative fixes for things that are chronically sometimes occurring in the city. And
She was wearing a different
need-
jacket 10 minutes ago.
Not everything is exactly
That's
the
my
same.
point.
The circumstances are
The fact
not
that she
always
just
exactly the same.
gaslit
But you
for
also
10
can't
minutes wearing the
afford,
denim for denim day.
anybody to make decisions
And then it's off.
independently. And so, you know, from
That was
you
my point, right?
to your brother, you have all kind of looked at the circumstances and evaluated to make really thoughtful judgments, you know, to be, you know, no breaking the rules, just being thoughtful about.
They
well,
did
let's
change
consider what the
Sunclair. Oh, come
implications
on,
are
Stink.
of-
Get
of
off
these-
there.
Of these policy
Come on,
decisions
get
that we
off the
so
thing.
often make.
Come on.
And so I'm
Go
just
sit on
thankful
your-
because
go sit
when
on your
so many residents
bed.
continue to come up against some of the challenges
wrong with
associated
you?
with, you know,
You're too
that
fat to
is
be on the
discouraging
computer.
oftentimes from people perhaps even investing in development in Los Angeles.
Yeah, just
You
fake as
all
fuck,
have been part of what
gaslighting
has
to this
facilitated
nth degree.
people wanting to actually give LA a second shot. And so I want to thank you for your partnership and cooperation, for your long tenure and service to the people of Los Angeles, to this great city. You know, Dave,
Yeah,
if,
he's laying on the other
Dave's
computer.
watching, Dave, my prayers to you. You know, Dave has also been, as I said, I go back to all of the collaboration. You both served in that very important council liaison.
Look at him.
role,
Look at him right now.
and have made an indelible mark and been an incredible partner.
That's why you don't
to
see him.
this council and previous councils.
Does that look like
And
a
for
cat that doesn't
we are
eat enough?
Incredibly grateful for your decades of service. Congratulations on your well-earned
Shit.
retirement.
Councilmember Rahman.
Frank, I just I missed a lot of what's been said because I was in the back room, but I just wanted to say my staff and I really have appreciated working with you so much. We have a district where your guidance has been invaluable.
Yeah, I
in
don't know.
helping us
I'll have him look at
address
it, but I don't know.
The very complicated system of construction that we're
Why
dealing
it's
with.
got echo on
who's
one
doing
screen
right,
and not
who's
the
doing
other.
not right.
Don't know.
We needed a map, and you helped lay out that map for us.
Well, you know what it is, because
and I
I'm
just
not
wanna
playing
say
their
that my
feed either.
staff
That's why.
Has worked very hard
Their
to try
feed
and make
stops
you
when I
laugh
switch camera angles.
on meetings.
That's why.
And
Really.
it has been rare, but when it has
Big
happened,
baby.
we really
Yeah, you're just a big
we
baby.
Really, we know
Yeah,
we've done
you're a
good.
big
So thank you
baby.
so
Why don't
much,
you go
and
sit
I
in your
hope you
chair so
enjoy your
everybody
well-earned
can see you?
retirement. Thank you.
Your bed's right there. Why don't you go sleep in it?
Well,
Got
Frank,
a nice camera.
on
so you
behalf
can
of all
see.
of us, we're so
Big
grateful
baby
to
in
you
loaf mode.
for the incredible legacy of service that you've left to the city. We wish all of our best to Dave as well, who we miss. And he also has left such a mark on this city. I didn't know until
You
just
can't
now
really go
that
outside, QWERTY.
you
There's
are
too many,
actually a product of the building of the Department of Building and
coyotes.
Safety.
There's lots
So
of them
that's-
here, man.
It's an
Every
incredible
night I see them.
legacy of service that your family.
When they come up to my
has
door,
left to the
I
city.
see them on
And
the camera.
In your retirement, I hope as you.
They're
travel
everywhere.
around our
They
city,
hunted all the rabbits.
you'll
We used to
look
have wild
at
rabbits when
all
I
of
moved in
the
here.
Landmarks of
There'd
your
be
work.
2-3
the
rabbits
city,
every
and
day.
you'll
I'd come
realize how
out,
much
of my house,
legacy
and they're
left for
playing on the
future
lawn,
generations
eating the
of
lawn.
Angelos as well.
I
So
loved them.
Congratulations.
And they're
on
all
your
over the block,
retirement
not just
and
in
on
my
your
place.
extraordinary career. Thank you.
Now I don't
Councilmember
see any of them.
Ayers-Last.
Not one.
Thank you so much, Mr.
Coyotes just ate 'em all.
President, and thank you, members, for your testimony about your work. And so
completely
before I give you
decimated
this
them.
shirt,
I don't
you're about
even
to
really
get
see
the ultimate
raccoons
public
and
testimony
possum a
from
whole
your
lot.
daughter.
They
Let's
get caught
welcome
too.
up.
The only ones who survive are the skunks out here.
Good morning.
Because they spray.
My name is Frankie. So.
And I'm
as you all
talking
know,
11 o'clock in the
my
afternoon.
uncle,
There was a
Lara
woman I
couldn't be
saw
here, but
standing
he
in front of my
did
place,
send
and I
me
would
a
come
letter
outside.
that
I'm
he
like,
asked
"Can I
me
help
to
you?"
read
And she's
on
like,
his
"Oh my
behalf.
God, I'm so sorry. I don't want you to think I'm weird, but
Good morning,
there's a couple
Honorable
coyotes
City
across the
Council.
street,
I
and
thank you
that's
for
why I'm
allowing this
here,
letter to be
hiding
read,
behind the
honoring
bush."
my brother, Frank
I was
Lara,
like, "Well, let
today.
me go over there and see if
Over
I can
7
see
years
him."
ago, my
This
brother
was
was
during the
here at
day.
my
She was
side, attending
walking,
my own
jogger.
presentation in front of the City Council, and it pains me that I am not able
That's
to
why I
be
tell them
there
all to
like
get
he was
maced,
then.
but they don't listen.
Unfortunately, I am currently battling stage 4 cancer and thus unable to attend in person. But if anything,
Oh,
my
yeah.
words today will
Poor
compare
lady.
to being at my brother's side, much like he has been at my side throughout my entire life. As I talk about Frank the man, many of you have witnessed here at work, helping to assist you with your
Cats
many
love rabbits.
constituents daily. Frank
Yeah,
has
just-
always
that's it.
been
That's
very
what I worry about. I don't wanna
enthusiastic
lose
about
him.
his work. This is due to a work ethic that was instilled by our parents many years ago.
I don't see cats anywhere.
They
We do have bats
themselves were
here,
also
but the
committed
bats
to
you only
many
see
years
for
of
like
city
an hour
service
every
working
day.
for the
Right
Department
at
of
sun,
Building
right in
and
when the sun
Safety,
goes
and
down,
were always
you see them in
helpful
the
to
air
those who
eating
needed help.
all the,
Growing up
mosquitoes
as
or
kids,
whatever's
my
in the
father
air.
would come home and share
Then they go-
stories about his
go back home.
experiences performing building inspections.
So they definitely have a lot of
Frank
bats
and I
here,
grew
no
up
joke.
learning about construction and at an early age and liking it very much. Back in the 70s, when we were off for
Is that
summer
Sean
break
from
from
Canoga
school,
Park
you
back
could
there? I
bring
think
your
I saw
kids
him,
to
guys.
work, and we had many fond memories of that.
So we got at least
My
two
father
regulars,
was
Spindler,
assigned to the then
Sean from
famous
Canoga
Mount
Park.
Olympus area of Hollywood, and when my dad brought us to work, we
Right
had
there,
the
look at him. You see him back there? Look at his hair.
opportunity to meet
He's
some
looking
very
around right now.
famous
That's Sean,
and
huh?
entertainers
What do you guys
who
think?
were having permit work done on their homes. Yet both our mother and father
on a
were
7-year
strong in their
cycle? Is that what it is,
convictions,
Bill?
especially when it came down
So in
to
a few more
supporting
years,
each
I'll
other.
start to see him again. I hope
Personally,
so. I
after
love
many
man.
years
I love
of
the wild
marriage,
rabbits.
challenges with the family, the
So
eventual
awesome. So
death
cute
of
seeing
our
little tiny
parents, and then a
cottontail
painful
bunnies
divorce,
everywhere.
Frank and his wife Rita were always there for me. We both understood that when times were tough, the Lara
I saw
brothers
more
would be
rabbits
there
than
for
I've
each
ever
other.
seen squirrels
And
living
for
here,
those times,
to be
and
honest with
especially
you.
today,
Not a whole lot of
I am
squirrels
eternally
here.
grateful. As to Frank's commitment of service
Lot
to
of
this
gophers.
great city, I'm
See a lot of
very proud
gophers.
to say that in seeing him receive
Those
such
little
respect
bastards
from
are
his
chewing up
peers and
everything.
performing his
Fucking
duties on
gophers.
behalf of the department, I know that his efforts have helped you move the city in a direction for what is best to your constituents. Although these
Aw, you
efforts in
shoot
the
a little
grander
rabbit,
scheme of
Bill.
things may appear
Just so
minuscule,
awesome looking.
it is those
Love
efforts that
rabbits.
get things done, whatever they may be.
Squirrels are secret.
When I heard that he would be supporting the department's
I do see
general
possum.
manager's office in his latest capacity,
Pretty big ones,
I was
too.
extremely glad to hear this. I always knew that Frank would be the right person for this job.
And
His
I've never
very
seen a
strong work
coyote
ethic
by
and his
himself.
belief
It's
in
always
getting
3
the
or
job
4.
done are the best elements
Two
of
will
his
go in
career
the
to give
on the
him the honor
lawns
that
of,
he is
of the
receiving
places.
today. And my
And
sincere
one will
thanks
stay
to
in the
General
street in
Di-
case
to
it,
the department's
they
general
flush
manager,
the prey way
man,
out.
for giving my brother
They
this
all chase him
opportunity.
down.
I also know that Frank is
That's
immensely
how it
proud of his
works.
staff and
They
colleagues
hunt in
who have helped
packs.
him execute day-to-day
Coyotes.
tasks to
They're
fulfill
never
the
by
department's
themselves.
commitments. The quality and standards of the department's people are bar none the best the city has to offer. And so in
Rabbits
closing,
are greater
I
than
am
chickens.
honored and I thank God for allowing these words to be read today.
Has a rabbit
so Frank,
problem?
thank you for
Wanna
being there
talk
for
to him?
me and Roxy all these years.
Bring
and
him here, drop
congratulations
him off
to
here,
you and your
talk to him.
family upon a well-deserved
I'm
retirement.
down.
Respectfully, your loving brother, Dave.
Rabbit meat tastes so good. Is that why you guys like shooting? Poor little rabbit.
And from the city of Los Angeles, we have a letter to recognizing your work. and recognizing your commitment to the city of Los Angeles and making it the great city it is.
Thank you. Frank Lara, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you. Congratulations, Frank Lara.
That's crazy, steadily. I didn't know that.
And
yeah,
Mr.
I have
Horstesson, when you have a moment.
There's like
I'd like to ask you to take the chair, please.
What do you call it up here? Like a sanctuary and like a reservoir. So they live up there, but yeah, they come down into our area at night. You know, it's just a chain link fucking fence. It's easy for them to get around. And then, like I said, you know, at first I only saw them at night, especially on trash day. I'd really see them on trash day. You know, same with the raccoons. But now I see them all the time during the day too. Like, they're not shy. They don't really give a fuck about people. They really don't. That's why that lady was standing there. So, guys, we still have at least one more, possibly two. I don't know. I think maybe those two are with the other group. So it looks like we definitely have one more group at least to be recognized before we even get into public comment. And yes, before you're asking, we're an hour and 15 minutes into the broadcast, about an hour and 10 minutes into their bologna and cheese. It looks like we're going to get some sort of performance here. Hopefully it's somebody really good, maybe a violinist, I don't know.
Now we'll have a special presentation led by Council President Paul Kokorian.
Paul's going to sing for us.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. Members, as you know,
oh,
Los
look, there's
Angeles is one of the
under
great
over is
Armenian
21,
cities
ladies
of
and
the
gentlemen.
world.
21.
We
Get it in
have the
early.
largest diasporan
Over
community
or
and most
under
important
21.
Armenian diasporan community on Earth. And we are very, very pleased to be able to
Under, Brian
recognize
says.
and join the council.
Stacy's not going to be there, I don't think,
recognizing,
Laguna.
the
She was
conclusion
arrested for what
of
she did the
Armenian
other day,
Heritage Month,
last Friday.
with this presentation today.
So I don't think she's going to be
well,
able to come in.
many
I don't
of
know.
us
Hopefully she's there. I
know,
don't,
and
but I
many
don't know.
of
I don't
you
see
have
her.
become familiar with the large
Over,
Armenian
under.
community here in the city.
It's
Many
not odd or
times
even.
people
It's
think
under
that
or
this
over.
is a relatively recent phenomenon, a recent immigrant community. And it certainly is that, but it is not only that. The first Armenian set foot in North America in 1618.
They did, Brian.
At Jamestown. And in fact, by becoming
So
a
she said on
British
her,
citizen
on a
in
post.
Jamestown, Martin the Armenian was the first naturalized citizen
Martin
on the
the
continent
Armenian.
of North America.
That sounds like a
and since
wrestler.
then, the Armenian contribution to this country
I don't
has
know,
been
Tonka. She didn't say what for. Well, I mean, obviously it was for that scene.
fought for
What
this
she was
country
charged
in
for,
every war
don't know.
since the Civil War. Armenians
charged
have
with, I
made
should say.
disproportionate contributions in
yeah,
so many
don't know.
areas to this country.
Like
and
I
to
told
our
you,
city.
I don't even see how, like,
we
it's,
see throughout
what
our
crime
city,
could
in
it
all of your
be?
districts,
Destruction of
there,
property? But she didn't
are
really
Armenian churches,
ruin anything.
Armenian schools,
They just had to
Armenian
clean up,
businesses that
just
have
to
been,
wipe some shit
built
up and
and
mop.
developed for the enrichment of this
didn't really
community
damage
and our
anything.
entire the culture of this community and our entire city.
Of course they won't
Armenian
steadily.
Americans have been leaders in law, in medicine, in education, and in so many other professions. Our community has been disproportionately successful in arts and culture, including pioneers in the film,
Well, they already
television,
freed her,
and
lad.
music industries.
She's already free.
Armenian Americans have
She said she
led
spent like 8
innovation
hours or
and
something in there, 10 hours,
technological
something like that.
developments that have transformed the world.
I mean, you got to figure. There's a lot of people getting booked
Buildings
before you,
throughout
so
the
you can
city
sit there
have
hours
been
just waiting to
designed and
actually get
engineered by
fingerprinted and your
Armenian
picture
architects and
that shit.
engineers and built
Before you can
by
even post a
Armenian,
bond if she even had to. I don't know.
developers. Even this building that we're standing in, City Hall, is a symbol of Armenian contribution to the city of Los Angeles. The main doors of City Hall, the big bronze doors that you're all familiar with that show the entire history of our city, were crafted by an Armenian artisan named Henry Lyon when this building was built. And when this building was in danger of being torn down because of concerns about seismic safety, it was an
course they
Armenian
won't, Primo.
engineer who figured out the
But they'll
strategy
tell you how they are
for
doing it
replacing the
while not doing
foundation,
it.
the very foundation of the building in which we stand. A phenomenal achievement that was the product of Armenian American ingenuity. And I think that's
Well, I think lots
really
of people did
representative
Glock.
in
They
many
surely
ways
helped.
of of
The
this
Italian
continuing
folks did.
contribution.
Chinese
And
folks
it's not just
did.
this building itself.
There's lots
but
of
it's also
folks,
so
white
many
folks.
Armenian Americans who
People hate
work
those
in
white
this building
folks.
and work in the departments that this building represents as well. We
So
have
it
had
depends
so
on what we're
many
talking about,
successful
when it was
Armenian
built.
American general managers of our departments around this
Ain't
horseshoe.
nothing getting built
Many
in
of your
30 years from
staff,
now, 40 years from now.
members
When all these
are of
artisans
Armenian
are all
American
gone,
descent,
no
and
matter
we're so
what race they
grateful
are,
for the work that they do
nothing's
each and
getting
every
built.
day
It's going to be
for
like
the people of
Idiocracy.
Los
You're going to have the
Angeles.
trash avalanche.
Our own beloved Avak Koteyan, of course,
That
who
shit's
recently
really happening.
retired, who
Welcome to
kept this
Costco.
council running.
You know what I
for
mean?
Decades.
You're going to have that shit.
Welcome to Costco. Of course, is one of our prominent Armenian American contributors to city government, as is Karen Kalfayan.
That's
who
what you're
will
going to have.
shortly be helping us to craft
If it isn't a
again
robot, which it probably
the
will
city's
be.
budget, as she has for so many years. But in each and every department and in each and every one of our districts, each and every day, there are Armenian American employees of this city.
You wish you belonged
get
to a
up
race
serve
tribe?
the
Well,
people
there's
of
lots
Los
of tribes
Angeles,
out there. I think
and,
there's four
who we need
in
to honor and remember
in
and
Palestine. You can go to
celebrate.
Gaza and
Now,
check
that
out the
being
Islamic
said,
Jihad,
this community,
Hamas.
of course, faces
I forget the other
many
two.
challenges, both here in Los Angeles.
The Nebulous? No, it's not Nebulous.
And
It's
we
something
know,
like that.
about
Nebulous?
many of those challenges.
The other
One
two I
of
can't
them
remember.
is the challenge of maintaining our ancient heritage
Start
and
there.
culture and fighting the tides of assimilation. And it is the same
kidding.
challenge that every immigrant community that comes to these shores faces. And today's
That's it, watching people.
commemoration, today's celebration of Armenian American
And because
Heritage
they
Month
stole
is going to
the
be
copper wire on our
addressed a little bit at that
$550
issue.
million bridge.
And we're
Yes,
going to
half
be
a
honoring
billion
some
dollars
people
for
who
one
have
bridge
really
that runs
been,
about a mile or less. Half
vanguards,
mile, maybe.
bulwarks
Maybe.
against that
Maybe.
tide of assimilation.
Maybe.
We'll get to that in a moment. But as
And
we
somebody was
begin
hit and
today,
killed, like I
want
told
to
you.
First
Just last week,
recognize
they were
for a
killed.
musical
Stopped on the
performance,
bridge. Got
Andranik
killed.
Kazarian,
They didn't even
who
stop.
is an
Hit
artist
and run
who
driver.
has worked to preserve the legacy of Armenian music here in
They want
Los
us to pay
Angeles.
$5 million
He has
to fix the
become
lights
an
again.
Extraordinary
So that's $555
virtuoso
million.
of the oud, which is an ancient Middle Eastern instrument that so much Armenian music has been written for. He's become an ambassador of Armenian music
Start a
and
mutt
culture,
tribe. Get it.
and took this instrument up actually a little bit later in life. I knew him as a young rising lawyer, and
That's
all
how
of a
the
sudden he
Resistance
became this
started
extraordinary
from
oud player
Cybernet,
who
or well, no,
has,
what was it,
has
Cybernet?
been such a
Cyberdyne?
fixture in our community since.
Skylink and Cyberdyne.
Andranik
That's
has
what it was,
worked to really
Cyberdyne that made
guarantee
the
that Armenian
Skynet,
music
right?
and its rich legacy continues to live on.
John Connor, man. You could be John Connor.
Ask that you join me in welcoming Andranik Kazarian.
They were just fighting the robots, whoever they were. It's all about fighting the robots. This is a weird looking guitar. Sometimes. It's playing a gourd. It looks like a guitar. Eat your heart out at Steph Tone. Double. Like a 12-string guitar. 6 double strings. Eat your heart out, bag bro. Deftone, you need a gourd. Play that shit, an electric gourd on fucking tour. It's similar to a banjo. Maybe not in looks, but in sound. Hell yeah, he's got the solo going. No guitar pick either. Can play. He's picking with his fingers. Well, I don't know. It looks like he may have some sort of weird pick. Yeah, he does have a pick in his hand. My bad. mandolin, yeah. Should've got a singer with it. I'm gonna give it to him too, Allison. Thank you, Allison, for the dono. Happy Friday. Allison donated so Steph Tone could get a gourd on tour. I'm sure he could jam with it. But it is crazy how it's double chords like that. They're not single chords. So it's really like 10 chords. Yeah, it's 10 chords there. 10 string, realistically. Come on, man, we're an hour 22 into this joint. You're saying it's a 12 string? Oh, no. Hold on, it's got 6 on top, 5 on bottom, so really an 11 string. Right? Look at it. So one of them might be just a single string while all the rest are doubled up. Like that top string looks like a single string. Everything below it is doubled up. Take a look. Right, Scorpius? 11, right? Yeah. Ah, isn't so great anymore. The bass string on top. Thank you, Tamayo, for another one. Appreciate you, Tamayo. Bro, that was just the intro, just so you guys know. Like the intro to Stairway to Heaven. Now it's about to rage on for 8 minutes. Now it's a gourd, apparently, Daisy. No, I've never seen one. Armenian instrument, as they said. Bro, here he goes. See the progression. About 15 more minutes. I'm just feeling kind of gypped because we didn't get a singer with it. Doing the 15-minute solo on the gourd with no singer. Like Uncle Tom's Cabin with Warrant. He's gonna go right into fucking Uncle Tom's Cabin. Don't you remember that when they play the fucking banjo just for the beginning of it? Shout out to Warrant, Janie Lane. She's my cherry pie. Good old Warrant. I wasn't a huge fan of them. He did have their moments. Did make a couple hits. Cherry Pie. Uncle Tom's Cabin was a pretty decent hit for them. What was it? I can't remember the other one. It was like 3, I think they had. Yeah.
Antonik, if you could just explain what you just played, please.
Uncle Tom's Cabin by Warrant.
Happy to do that. Thank you, Council President, for the warm welcome and introduction. So I basically played a medley of various kinds of Armenian music to be very representative of our
So he doesn't even know what he
complex
plays,
diaspora
of
and
course.
nation. The first song is a Tercei, a lamentation about the genocide. And the second piece was Adana Vohpa, which is about the massacres of Adana, which I'm sure a lot of people here have ancestry from that area. The third piece is Erangi, which was a folk song that Gomidas preserved and arranged.
Fucking Ian.
And the final piece
They call him the
also
Armenian
is by
Santana.
Gomidas as an arrangement, unlike yours about the handkerchief. But I added a twist where I played original Western Armenian 10/8 dance meter. Gomidas had removed that. I kind of took a liberty to add it back in. So yeah, just very reflective of our diverse experience.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
I know Darren from System of a Down. He's got to have one of those.
Thank you very much.
He absolutely has to. He's a
So,
fantastic guitar
as
player.
I mentioned, members,
There's
today
just no way
is
he
a day
doesn't have
where,
one of those. No way.
I'm proud to recognize two people, two institutions that have done so much to help to preserve the ancient Armenian culture and pass the richness of it on to the next generation of not only of Armenian Americans but of all of us.
How
And
bored
so
do you think these
first, I
people
would
are?
like
They've had to sit through
recognize,
this whole thing.
The UCLA
Get up early, drive
Promise
down there,
Armenian
pay to park,
Institute. As
and then
many
have
of you
to
know,
be forced to watch all
Kirk
this instead of
Kerkorian
doing this
is,
at the end.
one of the
Why don't you
most
tell these
important
people to come in
figures
an
the
hour from
history
now?
of American
Get
cinema.
all this
And,
done, have
his
them leave so they don't
final
bother you,
production
and then
was a movie called
introduce
The
these
Promise.
folks
A number of years
and
ago,
honor
we
them.
recognized the producers of The
That would make
Promise,
more
including
sense to
Dr.
me.
Eric Israelian and others. And it was very important to Kirk Kerkorian before he passed to ensure that the legacy of that
Kirk
film and his
Kerkorian,
work
the
would be
owner of
preserved,
MGM and 30% of
academically.
Chrysler?
And so through the leadership of Dr. Israelian,
I wonder if it's that Kirk
and through the,
Kerkorian. I bet it is.
through the vision of Kirk Kerkorian, the UCLA Promise Institute was
Dude was a
created
baller.
in 2019.
Super rich.
It was designed to be a
Owned all the
pioneering center for
MGM,
Armenian studies.
then said, "Fuck it, let me get 30%
It
of
coordinates
Chrysler."
Interdisciplinary research and public impact programs, not only across UCLA, but also with the Republic of Armenia and sister institutions
I don't
throughout
think you
the
want
Armenian
30% of
diaspora.
Chrysler now.
And I'm very
Shout out to you,
pleased
Stellantis.
to recognize and invite
48 months to you guys
Dr. Ann
are out
Karagosian, who is
bankrupt?
the inaugural
What do you think?
director of the Promise Armenian Institute, as well as a distinguished professor and an endowed chair for innovation in the UCLA Department of Mechanical and Aerospace Engineering. She also serves as a University of California representative on the Board of Trustees of the American
Stellantis
University
does?
of Armenia.
Well, at least then they'll be
in a
ditching the
science and
Dodge,
engineering
Chrysler,
career
Ram,
spanning
Jeep
three
brands.
decades,
Is she eating
Dr.
a cup of
Karagosian
noodles?
has made essential contributions to the fields of fluid dynamics,
How'd she get the
combustion,
cup of noodles
and
in?
aerospace sciences, and she currently heads UCLA's Energy and Propulsion
cup of
Research
noodles
Lab,
now?
And is also the immediate past interim vice chancellor for research.
Well, look,
for
she's
the entire
legit eating a
UCLA
cup of noodles right there, not even
as
caring.
director of the Promise Armenian Institute, Dr. Karagosian
Maybe some
is
homemade
responsible
pozole?
for developing
I don't
the
know.
institute's research and teaching programs, facilitating its multidisciplinary
Looks good, whatever it
collaborations,
is.
and increasing public engagement.
I like pozole
And,
when it's
she,
cold. It's nice.
Is really creating a tremendous legacy for future generations. I'm pleased to welcome to the podium Dr. Ann Karagosian,
Holy
representing
fuck.
the UCLA Promise Armenian Institute.
How many more folks, man, till we can get to business?
Thank you,
I
everyone.
figured there was no
Thank you,
food, Aqua, but
dear Council President,
they must have
Paul
snuck it in
Kerkorian.
somehow.
It is an honor and blessing and privilege for me to address you this morning in
that Sean
representing
guys
the
back there?
UCLA Promise Armenian Institute
it moves.
and in recognition of Armenian Heritage
So we
Month.
got three
and
regulars
of
for
course
sure.
in sacred memory of the victims and survivors of the Armenian genocide in the Ottoman Empire, which commenced
What's up,
on
Cubby?
April 24, 1915. In the course
It is QWERTY because it's going to
of
go
few
on for another
years,
10 minutes at
taking
least.
1.5 million
Telling you,
lives.
that's Sean back
May
there.
God bless the memory of
gotta
our
be him.
martyred forebears. So in my bio, Council President Kerkorian mentioned that I'm a professor of mechanical and aerospace engineering at UCLA,
Right, Ivan?
which is true. But in the context in which I am here, as you know, is
Oh, really,
as the director of
Awesome.
UCLA's
Damn, you
Promise
came all the way
Armenian
down here, huh?
Institute, which is a privately endowed institute, as was mentioned, that oversees and is a focal point for world-class research as well as programming.
I got another show tonight. I can't really
associated
do
with
3
Armenian
shows.
studies,
It's gonna be rough.
as well as interdisciplinary research and public outreach associated with the Armenian field, Armenian studies, as well as outreach to the Armenian diaspora and the Republic of Armenia. Our institute thus serves as an umbrella organization within which we have an Armenian Genocide Research Program, an Armenian Studies Center, an entity called Operation Armenia, which is engaged in public health outreach to the Republic of Armenia, and in addition, a newly endowed UCLA Armenian music program, which counts outstanding musicians such as Antrani Kazirian, who performed for us just recently. Since the establishment of our UCLA Promise Armenian Institute only 4 years ago, just as COVID-19 was hitting our city, hitting our country and our world, our Promise Armenian Institute has hosted over 130 events, either hybrid or fully remote or fully in person, which has engaged our vibrant local Armenian American community quite extensively, as well as our UCLA colleagues and others in the academic fields. These programs include scholarly lectures, conferences, and webinars on a vast array of subjects, ranging
she's
from
eating now too. Look, she
female
got the same
Armenian
shit.
literary figures
They got some
to a legal
street
panel
pozole or
that
something.
explored the
They knew it was happening.
atrocities
Oh yeah, they're gonna make us
committed
sit
in
forever. Let's
Nagorno-Karabakh,
just sneak in some
Artsakh,
soup.
to applied physics research
I'd
that
be
is
slurping,
conducted
too.
at the Armenian Academy of Sciences, to challenges in Armenian healthcare,
Blowing
and
on
much
it, make
more.
sure it's
Many of
not
our
too hot.
events, in fact, at UCLA are held in collaboration
No
with
soup for
other UCLA research centers, many of them in very diverse areas, focusing on Near Eastern
I'd
studies,
shout out, too.
women's studies,
Boring as fuck.
Jewish studies,
Look,
Japanese
they both
studies,
got a bowl of
Hellenic
something good.
studies, law
I'm
through our
jealous.
separately
I
endowed
could
Promise
just fucking hit some
Institute for
pozole.
Human Rights, and as well as many others. And in just a few years, we have supported almost a dozen
See, it's the
postdoctoral
same shit, too,
scholars,
they're eating. You
as
can see
well
it's like
as
the same
numerous
colors,
PhD
same
students,
bowls.
undergraduate
Stop it.
students engaged in research, and
know what it
faculty
is.
research through
Either some
grants.
homemade,
So in a very short time, our
they
UCLA
went to
Promise
the same
Armenian
fucking
Institute
truck
has
sitting
had a
out front of
significant
City Hall.
impact on our community
pozole truck.
writ large, and will continue to do so for decades to come. As the grandchild of survivors of the Armenian genocide over 100 years ago, who came to the
See that
U.S.
chick's
with
face?
nothing,
Her hand on her face,
but
like, oh
gained
my god,
everything
how
in
much?
terms of
I need to go.
opportunities in this
I
country,
only got an
in
hour
this
left
state,
on my
and in
meter.
this
Hurry
city.
up.
It is a privilege for me to be part of this important
She's
institute.
gonna have to run out in the middle of
and
the
to
meeting,
be
go
with
across
you
the street,
today.
put money in her
Thank
meter.
You very much.
Where she gets a ticket. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Ann. So, not to be out.
I love Armenian folks. I have a lot of Armenian friends. Shout out to you, Rafi,
for
and
almost
Harry,
20 years,
and
the
Avo,
USC
and
Dornsife
Hagop,
Institute of Armenian
and Shavo.
Studies has been one of
But-
the world's leading academic institutions dedicated
Can we wrap
to
this up? We need to go.
researching and addressing the social, cultural, and political
White
issues
people never
confronting,
seem to get honored here anymore.
Armenia, Artsakh, and Armenian communities worldwide. Again, through interdisciplinary research.
It makes me
public
laugh
service
that they're just
initiatives,
straight
and
grubbing like
fostering
ain't no
global
thing
networks.
but a chicken wing.
The Institute
Enjoying
strives
it
to
too.
redefine and understand
Fucking love
the
it.
contemporary Armenian experience while also
Well, you can
putting it
see
in
in
the
his face
context
that's
of the
pink.
rich
Look at their
heritage of
faces. Their
Armenian
faces aren't
contributions,
pink. Everybody's
to
face
the
would be
world.
pink. Look at the
And
guy
I
next to
do
him.
want
His
to
face
take
ain't
a
pink.
point of privilege to recognize
he's pink.
one of the founders of the Institute who's here today. The Institute owes much of its success to the support of
Big
its Leadership Council. And the chairman of the Institute's Leadership Council is here, a great leader of our community, Charlie Gallian. And I want to recognize and thank Mr.
What do you guys
Gallian
really think it is? Put it in the chat
for
room.
his
What do you think
support
they're
of the
eating?
Institute.
Macaroni and cheese,
And I'd
pozole,
like to
soup.
introduce the
What do you think?
director of the USC Institute of Armenian Studies, Dr. Shushan Karapetyan, who is a distinguished scholar and visionary leader in the field of Armenian studies.
SpaghettiOs.
She was recently appointed as the director of
I
the
thought it was a
USC
cup of noodles.
Institute,
It's not.
and she comes
It might
with
have
a
noodles in it,
stellar
and it's in
reputation
a
for
cup, but it's not
scholarship,
cup of
a
noodles.
gift for public outreach.
Ravioli,
She has a
soup,
PhD in Near Eastern
menudo,
languages and cultures
quinoa.
from UCLA,
I can see
where
the
she
colors
taught
like
Armenian
orange.
studies courses
Beans,
for over 10 years.
some chili,
Her research and writing on language
menudo.
acquisition, identity, and the transmission of culture
Armenian
from one
soup.
generation to the next
Chili
are
with
major
cheese.
contributions to the understanding and appreciation of
Come
the
on,
Armenian
Chick.
experience. So please help me
Chili
welcome
con
the
carne,
chair of the USC Institute of
stew,
Armenian Studies,
birria
Dr.
ramen.
Shushan Karapetyan.
Sounds pretty good.
Thank you so much.
Doesn't look like noodles.
Paul
I
Kerkorian.
thought it was
Thank you
cup
so
of noodles
much,
when I first
members
saw
of
it.
the
The
council.
more I
take
stared at
this
him,
honor with,
it looks either more
great
like a soup. Look, like
responsibility,
when they're pulling up a
um,
spoonful, you
and
don't see
conviction.
noodles.
As President Kerkorian mentioned,
See
I
like
took
little
on
pieces of
leadership
meat
the
of some
Institute
sort.
just over a
I would
year
think
ago
would be soup.
under a period of
I don't know.
catastrophic developments in the Armenian story.
Gazpacho?
Post
I don't even
2020
know what that
war,
is.
post
Frozen yogurt,
2023
ceviche?
ethnic cleansing of the entire Armenian population of Artsakh. But after spending
Pickled
2
possum
decades as a
peckers?
scholar of Armenian studies and teaching courses on Armenian heritage at USC
I always
for the
said
last
if
5
an
years,
In-N-Out burger is
I
made of
have the
beaver's
privilege and
buttholes, then I
perspective
guess
to
I like
zoom
beaver
out
butthole.
and look at the Armenian story from a macro lens.
Just saying.
I'd like to share with you just some of the
I
narratives
think it's a
share with my
Yoshinoya bowl,
students
so
at
they got a little
USC.
beef bowl.
I teach them about a
Yoshinoya.
civilization that
Tastes better
spans
because
several
it's cooked
millennia,
fresh.
traverses multiple empires,
Some curry,
and intersects
stew
communities
soup.
across the globe. I introduce them to a 2,000-year-long dynastic period in which Armenia
Say it,
constantly
Terry.
had to play a balancing game to survive in the midst of powerful and warring empires. I present a people dispersed across several empires
Braden,
as
I don't go on
subjects,
Instagram
holding
too
on to
often,
their
so I'll take a look
ethno-religious
at it. I haven't
identities.
seen it though.
A people
But congratulations
who
on
experienced the
getting
most
your
unthinkable
new
crime
scanner.
of genocide, of attempted erasure,
Enjoy.
elimination, destruction, but willed itself
Soup
back
from the
from the
soup mission.
ashes, determined not just to survive, but to add value to the world.
Prawn
A
vitamin.
people existing on the edges of
Think
their
of
respective
SpaghettiOs?
societies as liminal
I used to eat
subjects,
SpaghettiOs
as
as a kid.
mediators, connectors,
And the ravioli
bridges,
ones.
functioning as brokers.
I wasn't so much for the
between East and
beefaroni,
West.
but
I remind my students
You know,
that
spaghetti and
wherever
meatballs
Armenians
isn't
have
that bad
landed,
either.
they have built
When I was a
churches,
kid, I used to eat all that
schools,
stuff.
hospitals, and supported learning and cultural activities. I tell them that
That's
the
right, Hunter,
Armenian
and I'm not
story
Googling
is a
it. I'm not trying to
multi-local
find it
one,
out.
in which so
There
many
goes
of the
Spindler with his
innovations
7-Eleven
and
cup.
developments have come from Armenians outside of the historic
love it.
homeland. The same narratives are
Look,
true for the Armenian
so
American
now he's got to put him on camera
as the
because he's
hundreds
right
of oral
behind us the whole
histories in the
time.
Institute's California History through Armenian Experiences collections reveal, which by
Oh,
the
sorry,
way,
bro. Doesn't
were
matter
made
what
possible by the pioneering,
what angle you put him
leadership
at.
of
You
then
gonna
State
see him,
Assembly
son.
member Adri Nazarian, who's here, for whom I'd like to thank and take this opportunity
Come on, man.
to express
Let's
my
go.
gratitude.
We love
as
Armenian
the
folks.
hundreds
Really,
and
we do.
Hundreds of
But
oral
man,
histories
can we
in our
just get
collection
going?
reveal Armenian Americans are fiercely committed to their Armenian heritage, homeland, and values, while also being an undeniable part and fabric of the American society. Indeed, it was a group of Los Angeles Armenians from all parts of the world who sat around a kitchen table some 20 years ago, and with the
Hey,
visionary
Rafi, if
leadership
you're
of
watching,
Charles
tell your
Galian,
people to
came
wrap
with
it
the
up,
idea
bro.
of a research institute
And I know they
dedicated to
might be from like
contemporary
Russia,
Armenian
like
studies,
Russian
and here
Armenians, and
want
I
to
know you're
highlight
from Lebanon,
contemporary.
and I get that.
Because they saw what perhaps wasn't obvious to everyone else.
can you tell 'em,
They saw a
please?
fledgling independent state that was long in civilization but new on statecraft in a very, very tough neighborhood. They noticed that LA was an Armenian epicenter in the making, with the most diverse, dynamic, and vibrant population in the Armenian world. They saw a university that was in the heart of LA and saw itself as the place where game changers and change agents are fashioned, where real
Look at him
impact
trying to
is
step
not
in front of the
just
puppet.
dreamed,
Look at him,
but
look at him,
made,
look at him stepping in
where
front of the
dreaming
puppet.
about the future is not fantasy, but accessible through education and networks. And they invested their
Totally
Armenian
stepping
dream
in front of the
USC,
puppet,
Karanjan
bro.
Institute committed to understanding the current republic.
I know
and the
you
global
seen it,
diaspora.
bro.
They
I know you
anticipated
seen
that
it.
an academic unit
Switch
with
the camera this way
resources
now.
and brain power of a university would be the right place to help make
Get it
sense
around
of
on that
contemporary
side.
developments in the Armenian story, and more importantly,
Bro.
to help shape the future of the Armenian experience. And with that, I want to end on this note. For the first time ever in the history of the University of Southern California, this year we had our inaugural Armenian History Month. It provided Trojans
Yeah, we're an
and the
hour and
larger
40 minutes
community
into
with
this.
opportunities during the entire
And not
month
one thing done
to
for the city.
engage with
Almost 2
aspects
hours
of
in.
Armenian heritage, of Armenian history, of Armenian culture. And the message we
I don't know if
wanted
they
to
banned
convey,
her,
by the
Mike.
way, this was done
I don't
entirely
know how
in
that works,
lockstep
so
with
we'd
the
have to
Armenian
wait-
Student
we'd have to hear from
Association,
her.
members of whom
I
are
think so.
here, and I would like
They
them
may
to be
suspend you for a
recognized
week
as
or
well.
whatever, I don't know. Taylor, thank you so much. Taylor, let's get
The
it.
message we wanted to convey was
Happy
that
Friday,
things
Taylor.
Armenian do not
Thank
start
you.
on or end on April 24th. Things Armenian do not start or end in the month of April. For us, things Armenian are 24/7, year-round, because we are invested in building an Armenian future that
Thank you,
is
Squeegee
enriching
guy.
to the whole world. And the entire Armenian world is looking to Armenian Angelinos
Tilly T, thank
as
you.
role models and pioneers. And for that, I thank you in your partnership,
Step away
in
from
your
the puppet.
collaboration, in not only educating down, but educating
Thank you so
across,
much, Tilly T.
educating
Happy
up,
Friday.
educating all over for a mutually enriching future. Thank you so much.
Yeah, discriminating against the puppet. Look.
Thank
there
you
it
very
is.
much to Shoshana and thank you for your
Shoshana.
continuing work
Au revoir,
in preserving
Shoshana.
this rich culture. And
Oh,
also,
pink hoodies
preserving
there.
this rich culture.
Look at him.
I wanted to recognize
Pink hoodies right there.
The Gevorkian Dance Academy, which is one of the leading
Stop it. Are we
organizations
getting
for
a-
teaching and performing
Holy
traditional Armenian dance. Founded in 1995
we getting a dance now?
By Vartan and Siranush Gevorkian with
Shout out to
choreographer
Vartan.
Sona Gevorkian. The Academy's
I know
mission is to
Vartan.
inspire future generations of dancers and promote a profound respect for Armenian culture and heritage through their artistry. They're based right here in Southern California, but they've performed to acclaim around the world, including in the opera houses of Paris,
Well, there's
St.
Armenians from all- I mean, Armenians,
Yerevan,
rather,
as well
Jared,
as here
from
in
all-
our
all
own
different
Dolby and
types of
Nokia
places, not
theaters.
just Armenia.
Please help me in welcoming the members
I'm
of the
from
Gevorkian
Russia.
Dance
Like I
Academy.
said, my friend Rafi and his family, they're from Beirut and Lebanon. So, they're from different places. But, oh my God, we are getting a whole dance. Oh my God, dude, it won't stop. It just won't stop. It just won't stop. Oh shit, hold on. Hold on, guys. Hold on. Guys, I know with this, it might be copywritten shit, and I'm going to get the fourth Armenian quartet fucking copyright striking me, so we can enjoy the beauty of it, but just not the audio side of it. I'm sorry. Thank you, Tilly T. Did I hear what she said? I didn't. I wasn't paying attention, Jared, that closely. To be honest, I'm paying attention to the chat room and other things. So yeah. And funny enough as it is, sometimes there'll be just some sort of little like number that they play with a violin or whatever, and it happens to be fucking Mozart's, from Mozart's third album, and I'm getting copyright strikes for it. So yeah. Fucking jazz hands. We're gonna see the jazz hands. We just can't hear the jazz hands. Is this fucking real? This is really real. And this is almost an hour and 40. We're actually an hour and 45 minutes in pretty much now. And they've done nothing in an hour and 45 minutes. Other than put their denim on and then take it right the fuck off. Gaslighting motherfuckers. Oh, those gaslighting sons of bitches. I'm going to pretend to care. Don't worry, I'm going to wear my jacket that I wore when I was 17 in high school. Sure, it still fits, but it won't button up. But that's okay, because I only have to wear it for 10 minutes while I'm talking with you, and then I'm going to take it right off and put my normal clothes on that I wear every day. It's okay. I get it. Like I said, guys, I wasn't blessed with a whole lot of IQ. But I was blessed with a fantastic bullshit meter. Oh, look at homie up in front. Think he's trying to bang? He's like, holy shit, look at all these ladies. I'm like, I'll bang her. Never know. Never know. Oh, man, are the men going to dance now? Holy shit. Oh, my God. Holy fuck. I guess to be fair and equal to the men's. And guys, no bro. What was it? No broing? Bro to bro. Hey, no bro to bro, guys. No bro to bro. Okay? Can't have any bro to bro. Dude, I need one of those outfits for smoking scan. I'm down. I'll wear that shit. I don't know if I can get that dance down because, you know, I'm not too coordinated, of course. But I would definitely bail that shit. I want to bail that shit just like on a Friday going to the post office. See how many, just put like a hidden camera on me and so many people just fucking stare at me. This is real, Kyle. This is really happening. You are not asleep right now. Although I had a pretty crazy dream the other night I didn't like, and then I woke up and it was gone, so it was fantastic. But yeah. You know, this is not a dream. You are absolutely awake. This is really happening. They need to pander to everybody they can, and when it comes to groups that of their own, they're going to super pander. And again, you asked me, well, Damon, why don't you go down here? Because this is why. So I'd have to drive an hour, pay $25 to park, okay, then come in here and sit for 2 fucking hours at least just through their whole little show. We haven't even got to me talking yet. Then another probably 30 minutes till I actually get to talk for 4 minutes max. That's 3 minutes on agenda items, 1 minute per item. Okay, and as you get over that minute, they're going to tell you move on to the next item. And then you get 1 minute of free speech. That usually has to pertain to what's going on in the city. But you guys know, Jason, Brock, they're calling in and they're saying whatever the fuck they want. Why? Because they're not really paying attention. They're just not. They're not paying attention. Okay, they don't give a fuck. That way they can't say they didn't let you speak. And meanwhile, there's no rule for them. All of them are going back and getting coffee in a granola bar or taking a shit. You know, that's what they're doing while you're, you know, finally now telling them, especially if you're someone in the city, a constituent of theirs that they voted for you, and you're pleading your heart out to get some help. So they don't give a fuck, and that's why. And trust me, I assure you this, ladies and gentlemen. If I went there, I would talk more to the people behind me than I would to these people on the horseshoe. Because these people on the horseshoe I know are dog shit, subhuman sacks of dog shit. Okay? I know they are. And their kids will grow up to be the same. Why? Because that ugly chick I was making fun of with the hair and the ugly fucking face, her dad Zev banned everything he could fucking see and touch here in California. Okay? Thought it was just funny. In fact, I remember when they sat there and honored him. And they were joking, oh, you banned this and you banned that. They were joking about it because he banned so many different things. Okay? So they're no different. Their offspring are no different. The apple don't fucking fall far. So I would be addressing the people behind me, telling all the people crying for crumbs and this close to homelessness, remember that when you vote next time, motherfucker. Because this is happening because you vote that way. And that's it. It's their policies that are choking you out. You're not smart enough to see it. You can keep living on their plantation all you want, but don't cry about it when the times get rough. I don't want to hear it. You deserve everything you get, and when you're going to cry, I'll lick the tear off your liberal cheek. Donna Olson. Sheesh. Impressive. Thank you, Donna Olson, for the big dodo.
Money don't jiggle, jiggle. It folds. I'd like to see you wiggle, wiggle, for sure.
Well, let's get it. And it's the same shit over there. So many vacant stores in downtown LA, but we have dancers. That's it. That's it. Again, they're purposefully ruining the property values so everybody could move out,
You know, the Armenian
lower the
story,
population
is
here.
a story of a culture
Then
that
they'll go
was
back to
enriching
cleaning
the
it and
world
caring about it.
long before Julius Caesar was born.
And then tax the shit
and
out
has
of you if you want to
continued
move in or
ever
something.
since. It's a story
You know, okay,
of
but we got it. We need
resilience
20%
in
of
the
everything
face
you
of
earn,
challenge,
but you can come move in.
resilience in the face
And you
of
got to vote with our
conquest by one empire
filled out
after
ballot.
another, in the face of genocide.
Absolutely. I could see it happening.
In the face of threats, continuing threats. To
Bro, this dude
very
won't
day,
shut the fuck
of
up.
Invasion by fascist.
We're talking about the fucking Ottoman
and
Empire
the
right now.
threat
I mean,
of
really?
cultural erasure.
I mean, I know it was a
And,
terrible thing. It
here in
really
Los
was. No
Angeles,
joke.
Thankfully,
But
we are
goddamn.
blessed with so many institutions that stand as our defense
let's go.
against that kind of erasure. And many of them are here today, and I want to thank and recognize all of the leaders of our community and our organizations who are here with us to participate today. And thank you for
Everybody but my
your
friend
work
Rafi is up
in,
there, has been
this
up there.
continuing story. of
I'm Jill. How
resilience
come you
of our
didn't get
community.
up there?
And each of you has at your desk a small
Ah.
gift, a small token, a box, which I hope you'll take with you as a memento of our community's resilience and its contribution to Los Angeles.
Next up, the
This is
Armenian
a
chess team to play
handcrafted
6 rounds of
box
chess.
by local craftspeople Rafik and Ani Isahulian and their business Ziziner.
Holy
And
fuck.
it has inscribed in it, in Armenian, each of your names as well.
I
So,
couldn't imagine sitting here this
thank you
long,
all very
just to
much
talk
for
for
sharing
3 or
this
4
day
minutes.
with us. Mr. President, I appreciate your
By their
allowing
rules.
us this time to be able to have
Holy
this
shit! What are they?
Thank you
What
all
was
very,
that?
very much.
What was
Thank
that?
you so much,
Did he
Mr.
catch?
President.
Did he catch
we
the
have
fucking?
a few members on the queue
What did he catch
who
right
want
there?
to make comments. We'll begin with Councilmember
Passing
Padilla.
around the little secret staff or
Mike
the
Short.
bribe money.
But I wanted to actually thank you for this
was
gift
it?
because it's beautiful, and I'm somebody who is a big fan of jewelry boxes and just boxes.
Oh,
when I
it's a
saw
jewelry
my name,
box,
I
huh?
was forever grateful, and I'm gonna cherish it forever. You know, my district is
What's
home
in the jewelry
to so
box,
many
Taka?
Armenian families. Just in the last 10
Pull
years
up the little
alone,
ballerina
we've had 6
dancer
new
that makes
families
noise.
move
That's
onto
probably
the
a
block
10,000
alone,
stack.
adding to the diversity and just the beauty of our entire
Who
block
knows?
and our community.
I wouldn't doubt it with
You
these
know,
disgusting
and,
folks.
I know this weekend a lot of us are going to probably be going to places like Culver City, and I believe Hollywood too, where people come together to commemorate the remembrance. And I remember on the campaign trail I said, there's so many Armenians in my community, I'm going to do something about
Shout out to
this.
Sahag.
I don't want to go far
He's got
away
a
from
great
commemoration when there's so many
sandwich
grandmas
shop on Sunset.
and
Sahag.
young people
really good.
and families in
Armenian,
District 6
like
alone. So
like
I'm
a
excited
panini.
that this weekend we're having
really
our own
good.
small, very grassroots, but starting something in the East San Fernando Valley.
And he has
Sun
those
Valley,
pickled
and Sun Valley
turnips,
Park.
man.
So everybody's
I
invited
gotta find
to
a
that,
place.
and I'll
I
talk
gotta
more
go
about
check
that in
his place
announcements.
out. Maybe buy him from
But
there.
you know, I want to share this story that, you know, my father was a gardener. And there was this one time where he specifically asked me in Spanish. It was the first time he ever had an Armenian client. And he asked me, what is this culture? I've never even heard of them. Where are they from? Where's the story? And I told him a little bit about what I knew, having so many Armenian friends, you know, at my high school. And I said, well,
So,
why do
man-
you ask me, Dad? And he said, these were the 3 adjectives he used. Gente chula, educada y humilde, which translates to good looking, educated, and very humble. And he said, and he ended it with, y pagan bien, which means, and they pay well. So it was at that moment where I was really happy that as, you know, somebody that lives in Sun Valley, I can make the joke that not all Armenians are in Glendale and Burbank. A lot of them are in the city of LA and in regions like my community. So as everyone from the Armenian community this weekend, you know, engages in the Remembrance Day, I
Say
wish
Google.
you all a sense of peace and healing and reconciliation with everything that your families have gone through throughout history. So
I
thank
do
you
it for
again for this
everybody
presentation.
to get those
and
votes.
I don't know what to call it. It's not a holiday.
Just to
but I hope you
pretend
have
to
a great
care.
Remembrance Day.
Mr. Soto Martinez.
Just thank you so much, Council President. Just very briefly, Council President, I want to thank you for being a mentor for many of us here, including myself.
Now it's his turn to get the votes in the 13th district.
Always being a leader, no matter where you go, you continue to uplift your community. Particularly, I remember being in Washington, D.C.
add his ass right there.
You made that a focus to use that platform to
That's the
continue
white
to
Panthers.
Advocate for your community. And as someone who represents Little Armenia, that is meaningful beyond beyond the words I can describe. And you know, I in my apartment complex, many folks coming from that region arrive there, and I see what they do and how they work and how they try to integrate. And so that's been incredibly helpful just in my own service. And again, thank you so much for your leadership and for everything you do in the city.
Thank you. Councilmember Lee, followed by Councilmember Rahman.
Councilman Krikorian, I just want to thank you for bringing this presentation forward today. In the Armenian community, I have such a vibrant Armenian community in Council District 12. I see so many of my friends here in the audience, but I appreciate the City of Los Angeles, through your leadership, that we always remember, not only
When's the
recognize
Ethics
the
Commission
genocide,
going to indict
but
him for what they
remember
caught him doing,
and
allegedly?
I appreciate in my community at
Taking
our
gifts,
AMCA,
free trips to Las
meeting
Vegas,
place, that
all
they
kinds
always,
of fun stuff.
I appreciate that they always not only recognize it, but allow me to be a part of it. And I really appreciated this year that I was allowed to be a part and to see the beautiful presentation. We have a replica of the Eternal Flame.
Yeah, Brandon, I know.
That you have at Yerevan at the Kabayan School in my district, elementary school, and the beautiful ceremony of laying the flowers at the Eternal Flame. And I really appreciated seeing the beauty of that and just being a part of that. And I think it's always important for us to always remember that day on April 24th. And I just want to say thank you so much and appreciate all the contributions that the Armenian community does for the entire city of Los Angeles.
Pretty much, man. Bought and
Thank you so
sold.
much, Council President. Thank you to you, Council President Krikorian. I want to echo Councilmember Soto Martinez's words.
It already has, I believe.
Many of
Laguna.
us are very
I'm
lucky
not
to have
sure.
you as a guide, to understand
You'd have to
more
Google, I
about
guess.
what matters to the Armenian community locally, and how we can best represent our Armenian constituents. I'm proud to represent a large number of Armenian constituents, both on the Hollywood, Los Feliz side of my district and in the San Fernando Valley part of my district, to be able to shepherd forward the Armenian Cultural Foundation location at the Encino Fire Station in partnership with local
One of them was,
organizations.
then she took
and
it
I know
off.
that was a product of your leadership in partnership with Councilmember
high school
Peretz,
jean
and I'm
jacket.
very happy to be able to move that forward. And also to be a witness to the incredible organizing of the community. Listening to the music today, watching the art.
They're not noodles.
As an immigrant to America
Allison,
myself,
I was watching her eat.
and
I
I said
didn't
this
see
when I
any
spoke
noodles,
at
but
the
I don't know.
Frahian,
Maybe she ate
high
all the noodles and it was
school,
just soup left.
on Sunday at their Armenian genocide memorial ceremony. I feel in awe of a community that has worked so hard to preserve its culture here. I think that we in Los Angeles could learn from that, to do more.
I'm gonna bring the wrap it up box
Make
in
sure.
there.
I mean, this is something I'm in complete awe of.
Wrap it up,
So
B.
many of the young people speak the language. That is not easy. It takes immense amount of cultural work to make that happen. It takes investment in your culture to make that happen, and really I am in awe of it. So thank you so much to you and to the entire community for welcoming me as a partner and an ally. Thank
What
you.
the hell? LAX
Councilmember
bound Delta.
Rodriguez.
Hold on. LAX bound Delta flight.
Thank you, Mr.
Hold on.
Krikorian. And
LAX bound Delta flight makes emergency return to New York City after evacuation slide falls off the plane. That's what happens when you hire diversity hires instead of aviation mechanics who are well versed in what they do, no matter what color of skin they are, or no matter what they have between their legs. Shout out to you, Delta.
I'm really privileged to represent a large diaspora in my own district, and where
I want her
we
to
were
roll her
home,
R's.
To the
She ain't
first
rolling
Armenian
shit.
Cultural Festival in the Northeast San Fernando Valley. COVID has subsequently put a damper on being able to bring that back, but we're really working on trying to resurrect it because it was a really special moment. You talk about the preservation of cultural history, and all of our communities have experienced that level of assault. It was that moment in my own district when we saw, in the commemoration of
Yeah,
the
I'm not trying to
annual
fly anytime
remembrance of
soon.
the Armenian genocide, where residents in my district were receiving hate mail in the community at their homes. And it's what galvanized me to say, not in this city, not in this moment are we going to accept that. And I subsequently introduced William Soroyan Square to be dedicated at the intersection of Valmont and Commerce, much to a lot of resistance, but an important moment to mark a history and an acknowledgement.
Tilly T, thank you for
that
another
everyone
one.
deserves a place of recognition in this
Thank you,
country,
Tilly.
in this city. And I'm proud
Bring
to
on the
be in
Muppet already?
solidarity
I
with all of
know.
you to preserve and continue to uplift that important history, whether it's in the 7th District or any part of the city of Los Angeles. I
Well,
have
not all
many,
Californians.
Staff members
LAC,
who
but
have,
yeah.
are the direct descendants of,
yes,
of those that have
I agree.
Have carried on that legacy in spite of the genocide. And it's been such an important
to cut your
hallmark
nails, things
of,
they're
I
too
think,
long.
an example of what we all need to represent in
I'll
each
give
of
you
our
treats
communities.
if you
The
let me
protection
cut
and
'em.
preservation of our cultural history
one's
is
long.
one that shouldn't be abandoned or forgotten because we are in this country. It is one that should be celebrated and uplifted. And for that, I'm proud to be in solidarity with all of you for that. So thank you so much for this presentation. I look forward to your outfit being made, post this
Yeah, he doesn't like when I
celebration
cut his
today.
nails.
And thank you all
He
very
hates
much
it.
for your
I gotta
continued
wrap him in a
partnership
blanket,
and
and then he's
and
fighting
for
me the whole
helping
time.
to maintain that
hates it.
level of diversity and acknowledgement.
So I
here in
give
the
him
city of
treats
Los
after,
Angeles.
just to kind of even it out.
Thank you so much, members, and Mr. Krikorian. On behalf of this council in the city of Los Angeles, we want to thank you and the Armenian community for choosing Los Angeles and getting engaged in Los Angeles and
Yeah.
rolling up your sleeves. Anybody who
2
spent
hours in
any
now,
time
official.
in any department in this city, in this building, knows
2
that the
hours, and
Armenian
we have done
community
nothing
is carrying
in 2
its
hours.
weight in creating the kind of community that we
Except
all
for
deserve
just
to live
pander
in.
to
So
every
with that,
group
there could be
they
no
can
better
find.
sentinel representing the Armenian
Sexual
community
assault
on this council,
victims, the Armenian
Mr.
folks.
Council President Paul Krikorian.
And who else did we? There was one other I'm
You're very
missing.
kind, and I just, as we wrap
Oh,
up,
the,
first of all, I want to
building
make
and
sure that
safety
Councilmember
guy,
Rodriguez's
Frank.
motion is referred to the Rules Committee, where it will be appropriately disposed of.
Without objection.
But I also do want to add that it wouldn't be a commemoration of Armenian heritage without Armenian food. So I do want to invite all of you. We have some reception items in the back because this is going to be a long meeting. You're going to need your sustenance. So please join us in the back for a bite to eat as well. Thank you all very much for allowing us this
So
time
they're gonna
to
go eat
present
this food.
Thank you so much.
And yeah, while they
All right,
should
thank
be
you, members.
paying
We'll now
attention to the
move
city.
on to public comment on agenda items noticed for public hearing and items for which
2
public
hours.
hearing has not been held. Please note today's meeting includes a call-in option for public comment. Public comment will be taken both in person and
If you want to
in the
call in,
council
it's your
chamber,
right.
as well as
You can
via
call in,
teleconference.
tell them what kind of sacks of
I'll ask
shit
the
they
clerk
are.
now to read the rules into the record.
Thank you, Mr. President. As indicated on the agenda, members of the public wishing to offer public comment should call
Wanna call in, there's the number.
669-254-5252 and use meeting ID number 160-535-8466.
Caller, how does my
and then
vagina
press pound.
look?
Then press pound again when prompted for a participant ID. Once admitted into the meeting, press star 9 to request to speak. When it is your turn to speak, an automated Zoom voice will ask you to press star 6 to mute. Let me repeat, call 669-254-5252 and use meeting ID number 160-535-8466 and then press pound. Then press pound again when prompted for participant ID. Once admitted into the meeting, press star 9 to request to speak. When it is your turn to speak, an automated Zoom voice will ask you to press star 6 to unmute.
To people providing public comment, when it is your turn to speak, either at the podium or on the phones, please state which of the agenda items you would like to speak to. You will have 1 minute per item, up to 3 minutes total.
Dude,
for the
Grope's
items open
looking
for
good
public
right
comment.
now. The
We will
2
tell you
weeks
when your
off,
time
got
is
his
up.
pumpkin
When
cut.
speaking on the agenda items,
That
you must
thing,
be on
bro.
topic. Our goal is to get through as many speakers
Still
as we
looked like
can.
he fell asleep on the
If you
Prius.
are not on topic,
to his
or
left
if
side.
you cannot tell whether you were on topic, you will get one brief warning from me or the president. At that point, you need to get immediately and clearly on topic. If you do not do so, or if you again
Pumpkin
stray
looking
off topic,
sharp, Alice.
you will forfeit the rest of your speaking time, and we will move on to the next speaker. The items open for public comment
trips me out,
are
though, is
items
how the-
24 and
his
25,
glasses, if you look at
and
his
items
glasses,
48 through 58.
what do you call
Item
it?
number 1 and item number 59 have been continued. So again, let me repeat. The
Can't even-
items that are open for public
Not the
comment
lenses,
are
but
items
the-
24 and 25,
not the
as well
arms.
as
What the fuck do you
48
call
through
them?
58.
Just totally
Members of the
spacing out
public
on
may
the
also
word.
speak for up to 1 minute for
Frames,
general
thank
public
you.
comment,
The frames.
which will be held at the end of
Those
this
fucking
meeting.
frames.
During general public comment,
Well, that thing is
members
so
of the
bent
public
out
may
like
speak to
that. It's
any
not
other
like
item
this.
or anything
It's like
else in the
that.
city's subject matter jurisdiction. For members of the public who are calling in, when
that
it is your
frame
turn
is
to
so
speak,
bent out.
an
Anybody
automated
can,
message from
not
Zoom
anybody can
will
wear
prompt
those
you to press
glasses.
*6 to
They're
unmute
just straight
yourself.
bent out.
If you do not do so, council staff will
couldn't
prompt
think of
you
the
once
word.
more. At that point, you need to immediately unmute yourself, or unfortunately, we will have to move on to the next caller. Finally, because of a brief time delay between the live meeting and the broadcast, 2 things are important. First, while waiting for your turn to speak on the phones, please keep an ear to the phone so you know in real time when it is your turn to press *6 to unmute. Second, if you're listening to this meeting on another device, please turn down the volume on that device immediately when it is your turn to speak. Between feedback and the time delay, it will cause a great deal of confusion if you continue to listen on other devices. Thank you.
When I pull away, you keep
Thank
pulling
you so
it
much.
back.
So before we call names, I want to call on Councilmember Hernandez
you
for a special
names.
announcement.
Thank you, Council. Thank you, Council President. I just want to give a shout out. Today is Renters Day here in the city of
I
Los
thought it was
Angeles.
Denim
Renters
Day.
Day 2024.
I thought it was Denim
we
Denim
have
Day. Can't be
a lot
Renters
of
Day, too.
renters here who have been powerhouses in making sure that as a council we can establish strong renter protections, and we're going to need them to continue to move forward. So thank you so much for being here. We would not be here without you. I just want to again lift up Renters Day here in LA 2024. Thank you, Council President.
Thank you so much, and welcome everybody to Los Angeles City Hall. All right, we will call names. You can
You know it ain't pay
line
your
up,
rent day.
in the
Ain't no
aisle
way
once
they're
your
paying
name is
their rent
called,
that
and you
early.
can come to the podium and speak.
Stop it.
In any order. So we'll
Maybe
begin
they're
by calling
paying
names
late.
now.
What? Stinky?
Pamela Jackson, Consuelo Aguilar,
Don't ruin the
Araceli
shirt.
Bolanos,
Brock
Teresa
will be pissed
Leon,
at you.
Roberto Huerta, Lantana Davis, Robin Line, Janet Martinez, Eleanor Collins, Sean Murphy.
Sean Murphy. Sean from Canoga Park. I'm telling you. Where is the trackpad?
And for
Turned
members of the
off.
public who are here, or for public comment, I've just been informed that we are going to take the items that are open for public comment as well as general public comment at the same time.
That's right, you dumb fucks. You better. You wasted all their fucking time. The least you could fucking do. You've already wasted half their fucking day just to talk to you. That's Sean from Canoga Park.
Good afternoon. Which items would you like to speak to?
What items are on there?
So for everyone, the items that are open for public comment are 24 and 25, as well as 48 through 58, and general public comment.
Item 24. Item 25. Item 24. I'm for this project for this item. Item 25. I'm for too. General public comment.
Okay, go. You have 2 minutes for the items and 1 minute for general public comment.
I just did the items. I want general public comment.
Okay, so
I had a birthday 2 days ago. 60th birthday 2 days ago.
Happy birthday.
I feel good about my 60. I had a birthday on Wednesday. I wish we could have celebrated at the chamber, but you guys were on break. And I don't see my councilman here. Oh boy, that's it. Thank
Happy
you.
birthday, Sean.
Happy birthday, you thing from another world, you.
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday, Sean. Always enjoy Sean from Canoga Park. Oh, what's a
Good
day
afternoon.
without
If you
Sean?
could please remind us of the name you signed up under and the items you would like to speak to.
Absolutely. Good afternoon. Would like to speak on items 35 and 57.
Happy birthday.
So the item number 35 is not open for public comment, but you can speak to it during general.
Okay.
So you have 1 minute for item, I think 57 is what you said, and then 1 minute for general public comment.
Thank you. Thank you. Good afternoon, Council. My name is Robin Line. I'm a member of SCOPE, and I live in District 9. And I'm here to support Hillside Villa tenants on item 57. We urge you to cancel their debt. I also want to talk about my experience as being devalued as a tenant in the city of LA. I know that landlords are incentivized to push out long-term tenants so they can make more money. They are pushing out because of their greed. I have personally experienced the harassment of my neighbors, having watched landlords willfully neglect the upkeep of our building, becoming slumlords, and even go as far as towing their tenants' cars conveniently when rent is due. As a renter, I do not want to live in fear of homelessness so that landlords can make more income. That's why I'm here to ask for better protections against predatory slumlords and to cap rent increases by 3% in RSO units. Thank you so much. Good afternoon.
Miss Shaniqua, Adam Smith, Adela Cortez, Alexis Polino, Anna Chan, Angelina Jimenez, Annabella Leeds, Bijan, Carolina Castillo, Cynthia Gonzalez.
All right, I'm heating up the next one. Renter's Day. It's everybody's day. Yeah. Ever heard of Renter's Day? It's just so comical and fucking stupid. It just sounds so fucking
there's no need
stupid.
to line up in the
Just
order
like
in which
Denim
your name
Day.
was called.
It sounds so stupid.
So once you hear your name called, please line up on your left side.
Because denim has nothing to do with sexual assault victims. You could have worn fucking cashmere and make it a cashmere day.
If you
What
could
the
please
fuck?
remind us of the name you signed up
Consumption
under and the
day.
items you would like to
Just
speak
make
to.
you a consumer. Consume.
Buenas tardes, soy Adela Cortés.
Good
Soy
afternoon.
de Hillside Villa.
Good afternoon, my name is Adela Cortez and I'm from Hillside Villa.
Quiero que nos hagan, que nos ayuden. Le están dando mucho dinero a ese señor es muy malo.
I would
Nosotros-
like you to help us. You're giving so much money to this guy, and this guy is a very bad guy.
Nosotros tuvimos un evento el sábado y contrató a un señor que es el manager, es muy malo, nos tiró las sillas.
We had an event on Saturday, and he hired this guy who is the manager, and he's really mean. He threw away all our chairs.
Y a una de las que estamos viviendo allí la amenazó, le dijo que le iba a traer a sus amigos del este, que porque él es
I
chicano.
wish, Tonka.
Y es muy malo ese señor, nos saca fotos, nos pone en su casa en cara y a mí
¿Sí,
nos dijo que
jotos?
nosotros venimos a este país, unas malas palabras me decía, y Antonio le dijo, tú me estás sacando fotos, yo también te saco, no te tengo miedo, lástima que eres un hombre. Y
Espera un segundito, señora. So, yeah, and this guy threatened one of the persons that live here in the same building with me, and he even threatened saying that he has some friends on the east side, and they are Chicanos, and this guy is really bad, and he's all the time taking pictures of us and telling us that you come from these countries, and he swore and said a lot of insults. So I told him, if you take photos to me, I will take photos to you as well. Continúe, señora.
y dice, yo puedo hacer lo que yo quiera aquí en el edificio porque a mí me están pagando.
And he said, I can do whatever I want here because they are paying me.
Y todos estamos yo vivo en el 104 y yo no quiero que esté el pie porque él vive en el 108 y yo le tengo mucho miedo a él cuando yo lo miro.
And I live in the apartment 104 and he lives in the 108, and I am like really scared of him whenever I see him.
Okay, muchas gracias.
Thank you very much.
Well, what can they do? I can't make him move. You can go after the landlord legally, I guess.
Good afternoon.
Try
If you could
that.
please remind us of the name you signed up under and the items you would like to speak to.
Ready?
Yeah,
Go
I
ahead.
think he's
¿Puede
here.
decir,
He's
por favor,
just
su
sitting
nombre
right
y
next to
el
me.
asunto en el que quiere hablar?
Hola, buenas tardes. Mi nombre es Ana Chan
y yo vengo a hablar acerca del desalojo para inquilinos.
My name is Anna Chan, and I'm here to talk about the evictions for the renters.
Okay. Este es un comentario público, o sea, general, que dice, como inquilino en esa semana como inquilino, exigimos al ayuntamiento que apoye las 7 enmiendas de tajo.
Un segundito, señora. This is a public comment, and we're here as renters to ask you to please support the 7 amendments.
Para que los inquilinos puedan usar la ley para defenderse y evitar que los malos propietarios nos acosen en un esfuerzo por desalojarnos.
So we can use this law to protect ourselves and to defend ourselves from the really bad owners of these buildings, and so that way they cannot harass us.
Sin tener una razón, sin tener que llevarnos a asistir a una corte.
Without having to go to court.
Go.
También tenemos que cambiar la fórmula del larzo.
And we also need to change larzo.
Si obtenemos un aumento de alquiler del 8 al 10%.
If we receive an increase of rent from 8 to 10%.
Que eso significa un desalojo legal para miles de angelinos.
I don't know, 16.
That this means an illegal eviction for many people in LA.
Especialmente para las personas mayores que viven con ingresos fijos y familias.
Especially for the elderly who live with families and set salaries.
Apoyamos
Su tiempo se le ha terminado, señora, lo siento.
Okay.
Doesn't matter, you sat there for 2 hours. We're going to give you 2 minutes.
Good afternoon. If
You
could
can go
please
now.
Remind us of the name that you signed up under and the items you would like to speak to.
Good afternoon. My name is Alexis Paulino, and the item I would like to talk to is 57, public comment.
Okay, we have 1 minute for the item.
Thank you. I urge the City Council to help pass the fast food fair work ordinance. I am a current McDonald's worker right now on strike due to retaliation from my managers and just kind of overall general safety issues. Our staff are not trained in knowing their rights and not trained on how to handle proper situations involving violence with customers or other staff members accordingly.
Or getting 4 items in a bag without missing one.
We ask that with this ordinance that it helps to essentially assure that our management will help train us properly and how to de-escalate certain issues involving customers or with other staff, and at the same time help us know our rights that we have, and so ensures that we avoid further issues. Thank you.
Hold on, that's too low.
Good afternoon. If you could please remind us of the name you signed up under and the items you would like to speak to.
Good afternoon.
Jesus Christ.
57 and public comment.
Okay, so you have 1 minute for the item and 1 minute for general public.
Thank you. Dear council members, do you remember when you lifted all the tenant protections? You did it without having a plan B or C to protect the tenants that were behind rent. Let's keep in mind that we were following government orders to stay home by COVID. As of right now, we have more than 80,000 evictions filed. Most of them, tenants don't have legal representation. If you multiply 80,000 by 4 times, then you clearly see that 340,000 people that are going to be at risk of becoming homeless. You haven't been able to address in a tangible way to current 77,000 homeless brothers and sisters that are currently on the streets. We need to keep people housed. We need social housing. Affordable housing is not the solution. HACLA and East LA Community Corporation
General public comment. Go ahead.
is HACLA and East LA Community Corporation is a nonprofit that keeps getting funds to build affordable housing, but they are evicting tenants. They are discriminating tenants, specifically families with children, tenants with mental illness. We demand the city council address the crisis of rent debt with solutions that will keep tenants housed. We demand an end to tenant harassment and the skyrocketing rents by implementing the Keep LA House proposed amendments to Tahoe and Larso, including a 3% cap for RSO rent increases, and we demand a release of our ULA dollars to fund tenants, protection programs, and social housing. And we need it now.
I got something to solve it right now, okay? And I'm going to give it to you. Here's the answer. Really quick, I'm going to pause it just a sec. Forgive every bit of the back rent. At the same time, you go to those landlords and you don't have them pay property taxes in the same sum as they're missing in back rent. See if that happens. Everybody's a winner.
Could please remind us of the name.
Property owner doesn't have to pay property taxes for maybe a couple years, if not a while, whatever.
Okay, so
they don't have to pay the rent.
1 minute for general public comment. Please begin.
Problem
I'm
solved.
here to support the tenants at Hillside Villa. I'm a proud student of the Eviction Defense
won't,
Network's
Jay.
Tenant Empowerment Program. I have overcome my fear with
But
knowledge
it's an
and
idea
support
that could
from
work.
EDN staff and fellow TEP students. EDN has 12 students in court today being counseled in pro per. 3 of them are starting trials. EDN is struggling to shift the calendar to get lawyers on board to handle the trials.
Hold on, Fizzy.
47,625 families faced eviction last year in LA County. We need a statutory right to counsel to prevent homelessness, displacement, gentrification, and all the anxiety, health issues, as well as mental health impacts that come with fighting evictions alone.
We were locked down in this state longer than any other state. They were forced to not work. Businesses were forced to close. So now they can't pay the rent that they
If you allow me,
accumulated.
I would like to speak on all items.
By who? By them.
So you have 3 minutes for
all
the
the
items,
Democrats
and then
that
that's
run
items
this state.
24, 25, and 48 through 58, and then 1 minute for general
And I just
public
gave
comment.
you a
Please
solution.
begin with the items.
Fix it
I
like
really
that.
wish if you can understand you correctly, but you keep speaking English. It's not something I don't understand. Thank you very much.
I love
Item
'em.
number 49. I saw they were talking about the sidewalk cleanup, bulky item trash pickup. That is something I want to talk about. It's really concerning. This item is only applies to Council District 5, because what I see, the dirty street, trash, everywhere, city of LA.
That's it, Liz.
And then it is my understanding that even if you use the 100% city budget to clean up the street, and you still do not have enough money, you still do not have enough manpower, because the dirty street problem has been ignored years after years, decade after decade. And then right now, you guys are trying to pick up the trash. It's way too late. Move on to next item. Let's talk about item number 54.
I think you have to have a judge order for that to
54.
happen.
54,
Mad
similar to item 49, 54, which is properly located right there due to presence of excessive trash and debris, storage of junk in operable vehicles. Again, to repeat, those problems are not District 15 only problem. Those problems are every single district problem.
He's right.
And then I would argue the district who need the most assistance in this kind of areas regarding the trash, the junk, the inoperable vehicle will be the Kevin De Leon district, because that's the Skid Row. We have mountains after mountains of trash. Nobody do anything. And then let's talk about item number 57, which is my favorite council member Hernandez, which is the rate increases. For many times, the first year when I arrived at the city of LA, I have to contact the council member's office, and then I'm asking for assistance. During the COVID, I am scared to become homeless. I'm scared to end up on the Skid Row. I'm scared of being no food, no water, dying on the street. But phone after phone, after communication to my council member's office, I receive absolute silent voice. Maybe I'm not Hispanic enough, maybe I'm not black enough, maybe I'm not Caucasian enough to get any special services from my council member Hernandez. And then for my general public comment, I want to make an apology to my council member Hernandez, because several weeks ago, I was so concerned, I was so frustrated, and then I believe I used the term 500-pound object. And then I want to apologize to council member. My supervisor, Mr. Candido, told me that that is not a professional. That is not something a real man will do. So today, I come here, I listen to the advice of several LAPD officers, several of my
This is
friends,
not on any
Candidos.
topic in the jurisdiction of the LA City Council.
I am giving an apology during my general public
This is
comment.
not on any topic in the jurisdiction of the City Council.
I am providing an
This is
apology
not-
during my general public comment. I am still having a general public comment. I'm doing the general public comment. So can you restore my timer?
No.
That's your time. Thank you.
Man, you see how they just did him right there?
Phasia Malik.
You see that?
Fanny
You see how they
Ortiz,
did him right now?
Gabriela Arona, George Harris,
Talked
Harriet
over his
Elliott,
time,
Guadalupe
perfectly
R.,
waited till his
Heidi
shit was
Gonzalez,
and you can
Hermana
get the fuck
Cervantes,
outta here now.
Jay-Z, Jamie, Janet Martinez,
For making
Jasmine
fun of home
Perez,
chicks,
Jesus
wait.
Brachoa, Julia Orzoco.
See how that worked?
Good afternoon. If you could please remind us of the name you signed up under
Straight
and the
commies,
items you'd
Maddie
like to
J.
speak to.
En el 57 y en el general.
57 and general.
Okay, so you have 1 minute for the item and 1 minute for general public comment. Please
Tienen
begin.
un minuto para el asunto y un minuto para su comentario público. Por favor, empiece.
Gracias. Mi nombre es Eva García. Soy organizadora de Colectivo Poder Comunitario.
My name is Eva Garcia and I'm an organizer from Colectivo Comunitario.
Y estoy aquí para, como el día de
Stop
inquilinos,
screaming into the
decirles
mic.
que es importante tomar en cuenta que no debemos sacar a ninguna familia a la calle.
Not a megaphone.
And I'm here to tell you that it is important that we do not remove any family to the street,
Aún con deuda de renta.
even if they have a rent debt.
Como ser humano tenemos que vivir en un hogar digno.
As human beings, we have and deserve to live in a good place.
Nuestros inquilinos viven en unidades inhabitables y todavía con el miedo de perder su vivienda.
Our tenants live in an inhuman place and they even fear not to have one.
Es importante mantener toda nuestra comunidad en una vivienda.
It is important that our community stays in a house.
Como concejales les pido que busquen los recursos para que puedan haber un cancelamiento de deuda y nuestra comunidad quede en sus hogares.
As council members, I ask you that we find a way to cancel all debt and our members can stay in their homes.
Ok, ¿quieren ver más las calles con más gente viviendo en la calle?
Or what, do you want to see more people living on the streets?
¿No se tocan el corazón que están muertos en vida?
You can touch your heart, say, are you dead and you're alive?
Hasta yo me siento injusta teniendo un techo.
I even feel unfair having a house.
Caminar por las calles, el centro tan bonito, antes de llegar en el centro, en la área de MacArthur Park, es una tristeza.
Walking on the streets in downtown, the downtown being so pretty, but then going to MacArthur Park, it's very sad.
Hell yeah.
Llegas a las
Crackhead
6
Park.
y por la San Pedro por ahí, otra gran tristeza.
General public comment.
I ain't going to MacArthur Park ever. Never take a kid in there. Ever.
Entonces, por eso les digo, necesitamos vivienda para todos, saludables, vivienda social.
That is what I'm saying. We need housing for everyone, healthy ones and social housing.
Y pedimos que apoyen a la ley Orso.
There it is. Socialism. Bring it in, baby.
Orso law.
Porque si permiten que se levante
yeah,
la
Shelley, the
renta a un
communist.
porcentaje más de 3%, van a haber más gente viviendo en la calle.
Because if you allow to raise the rent for over 3% higher than what it is now, then you're going to see more people living on the streets.
Esa ley la queremos no nada más para las áreas de la ciudad de Los Ángeles,
We need this not only in the city of Los Angeles,
también para las áreas no incorporadas. Pónganse en contacto con el condado para que puedan trabajar en conjunto, porque ningún lugar merece, ningún ciudadano merece vivir con miedos de perder su vivienda.
We also wanted for the incorporated places from Los Angeles, you need to work
Yeah,
collaboratively with
Carlos,
the
yes.
county, and you need to work with them so everyone in the community can have their own housing.
¿Qué es eso de pelear leyes? En este lado sí tienes protecciones, en este lado no tienes protecciones. Eso no es justo. Todos merecen tener un techo seguro y digno con protecciones.
What is that in some places you have some protection, in some other places you don't have a protection? What is that? You all have the right to have a good living place.
Las leyes deben ser parejas para todos.
Oh, here's the
Laws
Palestinian
should be equal
puppet.
to everyone.
There you go.
Y ver personas que no tienen ninguna protección a punto de perder su hogar nada más porque el dueño quiere sacarlas, no es justo.
And it is very unfair to see people that they're about to lose their homes just because they're not protected. That is not unfair. That is not fair.
Como políticos ustedes deben cuidar su comunidad porque para eso están aquí. Les
like
exijo
Castro.
que se conjunten con el condado para poder lograr leyes para
Speaker, your
todos.
time has expired.
Female
Su tiempo se ha
Castro.
acabado.
You know, you'd figure that they'd realize communism when they see it, but
Okay,
then
next
again,
speaker.
they're born into
So,
it a lot of
For
times.
members of the public, I'm going to ask that you keep your chance to a minimum.
Si se
We need to move
puede.
on with general public comment. So we have
Yeah.
we have a lot of speakers here and a limited amount of
the
time.
ones that come
especially
from
because there's a
communist
meeting
countries,
after
I
the
don't
council
understand.
meeting.
It's like
So,
you were
the
persecuted
less you guys
there,
speak, the
you'd
quicker
figure
we
you'd
can move
want to
to
get
general
away
public
from it.
comment.
But
So, sorry. Good afternoon. If you could please remind us of the name that you.
I
signed
don't know.
up
It's
under
not a
and the
good way to
items you would
go,
like
in
to
my
speak to.
opinion. Socialism.
My name is
is not a good way
Bijan.
to
I'd
go.
like to speak items 57 in general public comment.
Okay, so you have 1 minute for the item and 1 minute for general public comment.
Right now, working class communities in LA are also facing a near genocidal project that aims to displace them from their homes, that aims to bulldoze their homes because developers still have impunity for their actions. We're going to keep pressing council member to take swift and bold action to make sure that rents aren't increased so that elderly folks and folks on fixed incomes can stay in their homes. We're going to keep pressing you guys so that there are stronger consequences for landlords that do unconscionable acts against tenants, and so that rent is canceled for those who have incurred debt up until 2024, and want to encourage and demand that we convert that debt to consumer debt so that thousands of tenants who have debt will be protected and won't be kicked out into the street. We want to demand that they cancel rent for the Hillside Villa tenants, and even though thousands of dollars of rental assistance, it's a small but not sufficient step into ensuring that they stay housed. And we don't need to give more money to Tom Bots, who have already received $15 million. Furthermore, on this day that we're recognizing, everything Armenians have been struggling against, over 100 years ago for the genocide from Palestine to LA, we're fighting for the right to also remain in our communities.
From Palestine.
Taxpayers in LA send $50 million to Israel each year. We want to also demand that you pass a ceasefire resolution.
Speaker, your time has expired.
These tax
Next
dollars
speaker.
are directly funding Israel.
That's your time. That's your time. Please leave the podium.
Cry me a river to the sea. Fuck Palestine.
Good afternoon. If you could please remind us of the name you signed up under and the items you would like to speak to.
Emily, and item general comment and item 57.
Okay, so you have 1 minute for the item and 1 minute for general public comment. Please begin with the item.
I was raised in Jerusalem next to the Armenian quarter where thousands of the genocide survivors took refuge. The ceramic tiles of the Dome of the Rock is the reason my friend's grandfather, Nishan Belyan, was brought over to Jerusalem from Kotahaya, and the survival of the Belyan family from the Armenian genocide. That is the Golden Dome, the most recognizable landmark in Jerusalem. You celebrate here the Armenian culture, yet some of you took money from Democrats for Israel, the very same state that wants to tear down Al-Aqsa and rob Armenians of the preservation of the symbol of their pride, of their historical survival. In January of 2023, extremist settlers wrote racist words and phrases on the walls of the Armenian
Speaker,
monastery.
That's your 1 minute for general public comment. Please move on to
This
the
is the
item.
left eating the left.
For item 57, I support because I understand what it's like to be displaced. One of the phrases for the death of Christians and their expulsion from Jerusalem. Today, my Armenian friends fight for their own ethnic cleansing in Jerusalem against settlers trying to steal their church, their homes,
So,
their
Speaker,
school.
this is not on the agenda right now, and you've
It
already
is about displacement.
You've already
It
used
is
your 1
about
minute for general public
genocide.
comment.
It
So
is about you
please
need
stick
to
to the
call
agenda.
for ceasefire
Look at him.
to stop the genocide of
Okay, so
Armenians
this is
in
not on topic.
Jerusalem.
You've been asked multiple times to get on topic. Next
Go to
speaker.
sleep, go to sleep, crazy lady.
Good afternoon. If you could please remind
Come
us
over
of
here.
your
I'll
name
lick
and
those
sign
liberal
up on
tears
your
off your
item that you
fucking
would like to
ugly
speak to.
cheek.
Can you hear me? Can you
Yes,
just
we can
run
hear
the
you.
2 minutes straight so you don't have to cut me when I'm speaking, please?
Is this soup lady?
My name is Fanny Guzman. I'm a renter, and I live in Council City 14.
Is she eating?
And I'm here to speak on 57 and general public comment. The city needs to do more to help Hillside Villa tenants and tenants across the city with rent debt. This motion alone will not address the over $1 million of rent debt and does not ensure that the landlord will accept the money.
Soup lady?
What the Hillside Villa tenants are experiencing is a reflection of what is happening to thousands of tenants across our city. Over $400 million requested for ULA rental assistance, and most of the families who applied didn't receive support. Low-income renters in the city of Los Angeles are facing the same struggles to remain housed and in their communities as eviction filings have exceeded pre-pandemic levels in the last year. The Los Angeles Housing Department received a total of 77,000 eviction notices. This rent debt problem has also become a harassment problem. Even if tenants can pay current rent, landlords are doing everything they can to evict people, ignoring important repairs, leaving threatening notes at doors, and verbally intimidating tenants. Furthermore, the current allowable rent increase of 4 to 6% for RSO units is hurting our most vulnerable tenants. Thousands of families have already been evicted because of rent debt, and thousands more are rent burn and on the verge of homelessness. Any increases in rents will result in thousands of evictions. I, too, accumulated a huge rental debt while simultaneously trying to survive with the impacts of the pandemic. The pandemonium impacts were emotional, mental, physical, and economical,
Pandemonia?
leading to a higher risk of becoming homeless, as I am also a survivor of domestic violence. Housing insecurity and domestic violence are fundamentally linked. 57% of women say domestic violence is the direct cause of losing their homes. I am also one of the 77,000 tenants finding an unlawful detainer for lack of rental payment, and vulnerable tenants find themselves facing the courthouse without representation of any attorney. Tenants requested $460 million from the ULA Rental Assistance Program. The ULA fund only that $30 million available, $1,000, and thousands of households are left with no option and will face eviction in the coming weeks and months. We demand the City Council to address the crisis of rent debt with solutions that will keep tenants housed, and we demand an end to tenant harassment and skyrocketing rents by implementing
That's your
the
time.
EPLA House
That's your
Rules
time.
amendments
Next
to
speaker.
Tahoe and Laurel.
That's your time.
Man,
Thank
she got
you.
all energized with that fucking cup of soup. Whatever it was. Pozole, something. Cup of noodles. I don't know. Some mac and cheese in a cup. I don't know. But whatever it is, it energized her. Like the bunny.
Buenas tardes, mi nombre es Guadalupe Romero.
Good afternoon, my name is Guadalupe Romero.
Vengo
Guadalupe.
de Hillside Villa.
I'm here from Hillside Villa.
El mensaje que les traigo esta tarde es que nos ayuden a perdonar la deuda de nuestra renta, ya que nos hemos visto desde la pandemia.
My message here today is to ask you for help so you can forgive us our debt,
Things don't like
rent debt since the pandemia,
Con ingresos muy bajos,
because we have been making very little money.
Nuestros trabajos han bajado
Our jobs have decreased.
y pues nos hemos visto cortos con nuestro paquete y necesitamos que ustedes pongan esto en la mesa de que cancelen nuestras deudas porque los dueños de los edificios han alterado la renta y necesitamos el apoyo de ustedes.
It's okay.
So we are here so you can help us to cancel our debt because the
Weird, the
owners of
shape. He
these
doesn't like the
buildings
shape
have
of it or
altered
whatever.
the rents, and we are here to ask
Get
you
your
for help.
bag dick away from me,
Que
boy.
cancelen la deuda,
Please cancel the debt.
por favor. Y luego nos hemos visto por medio de esa deuda en acosos.
And as a result of this debt, we have been facing harassment.
Donde el dueño del edificio ha mandado personas que nos acosen por la deuda.
Where the owner of this building has sent people to harass us because of our debt.
Porque quieren sacarlos para afuera.
Because they want to take us
Oh, I
out.
got a quick
Por
Mario
favor,
in.
ayúdenos. Ustedes tienen el poder.
Please help us. You have the authority.
Stand in your bed, in your seat. Everybody can see it's working. Nice mask. CNR?
Good afternoon. If you could please remind us of the name you signed up under and the items you would like to speak to.
Yeah, I'm signed up as Jay-Z, item 57 in public comment.
Okay, so you have 1 minute for the item and 1 minute for general public comment.
Great. On 57, this is an item about rent debt. And I just want to point out that rich people get their debts forgiven all the time. We saw an example just last week in this chamber where a deal was inked that allows our landlord, the landlord of Hillside Villa, to write down debts that have been held since the building was built in 1986. $5 million in 1986 dollars. Not a penny of that has been paid back since the building has been in operation. In order to keep that building affordable, the city made a deal with the landlord that will forgive about $2 million of his debt and allows him to carry the rest of that $5 million debt at 0% interest. That same deal requires tenants to pay rent debt back with 3% interest and the threat of evictions hanging over their heads. So addressing rent debt as you're doing today in an emergency way is going to require addressing systematic inequalities between renters and landlords. Honestly,
General public comment?
I'll keep going. Honestly, it's a shame that rent debt is being paid rather than canceled entirely. Our landlord got rich off of ERAP. He's already spending the $20 million that the city promised him to hire new security guards to surveil us at our meetings, and a new manager whose specialty is apparently harassing the women who lead our tenants association, two of whom you've already heard from today. Since the beginning of the COVID emergency that so many people still haven't recovered from financially, we've been demanding that you cancel the rent. We're given reasons why that's impossible.
Yeah, Adam.
But when it comes time to cancel obligations of landlords, millions of dollars somehow materialize. 4 years later, we're here demanding that you cancel the debt. We know you know how to cancel the debt for rich people. Cancel the debt for tenants.
Next speaker.
Then you know what? Then you do that for him, and then it's I need a free car, I need everything free, my medical free, I need everything free.
I want to speak on general public comment.
No incentive to work, dude. If you were innovative, you would have started a business yourself, or your parents would have.
I live in CD5.
And that's fucking real, dude.
Demand Council call for a
You're the
ceasefire.
reason why you're
And
poor.
Since then, only 15,000 more
Asking for
Palestinian
crumbs.
civilians have been slaughtered. I stand here again demanding for a ceasefire. I'm a member of an interfaith coalition that has been requesting meetings with council for the past 6 weeks, and to our dismay, requests were either rejected or ignored by a majority of offices. I was born and raised in LA as a practicing Jew and as a descendant of Holocaust survivors. And to honor Armenian Genocide Month, I urge you to recognize the genocide in Palestine and call for a permanent ceasefire. My family did not survive death camps so that their granddaughter could live to see the day where the U.S. government supported a genocide and this city stayed silent. And on item 57, to continue,
sure, CW.
I don't want
He
my
knows he'd
tax
lose.
dollars to fund a genocide
him
when
look
there
like
are
an old
hundreds
fool,
of millions
which
of
he is.
dollars
Expose
that can be spent to protect tenants from eviction and build public housing. We have nearly 6 people a day dying on the street. Meanwhile, 60% of all housing units in Gaza have been destroyed. Across the world, from LA to Palestine, we need to fight for people to stay in their homes and communities. And please, I urge you, not in my name, but in the name of those who have lived and are currently living through occupation and genocide, to speak with your constituents and call for a permanent, lasting ceasefire now.
Come on, get off there.
Good afternoon. Could you
Here's
please
Fiddler.
remind us of the name you signed up under and the items you would like to speak to?
Before you start, pardon me, Mr. Spindler, you've shouted out once, you've been warned. Your next warning will result in your expulsion from this meeting.
I want to watch it like that.
Go ahead.
I'm here to speak on 57 and general comment.
Okay, so you have 1 minute for the item and 1 minute for general public comment. Please begin with the item.
I am a tenant in District 13. I support the Hillside Villa tenants, and their rent debt should be completely canceled. The city should stop subsidizing slumlords like Bots by giving him millions of dollars at near zero interest. We need to invest in the tenants and real affordable housing, not subsidizing landlords. Speaking of subsidizing landlords, landlords don't need more bailouts. Rent relief should be paid directly to the tenants because landlords often refuse to cooperate with rent relief, and the tenant gets evicted anyways. Even when they're qualified for these rental assistance programs, these landlords seek to displace their rent-stabilized tenants to circumvent LARSO and to raise protected units to unaffordable rates. Los Angeles needs vacancy control, and we need to repeal Costa-Hawkins.
Most aren't, right, Randy?
General comment, there's an active genocide happening right now, and in city chambers, we're memorializing the genocide of Armenians and not even talking about what's happening in Palestine. Free Palestine and end the siege in Gaza.
I said it once and I'll say it again. Fuck.
As people, as you're speaking, particularly if you're new, please don't shout directly into the mic. The folks who are doing translation can sometimes get injured if there's a shrill sound coming through their speakers. Thank you.
Good afternoon. Which items would you like to speak to?
I'm only going to do general public comment.
Okay, so you have 1
laser
minute.
lady.
Havana syndrome has been on the news. I have parts of Havana syndrome. I'm
Thanks,
not
man.
going to defend the whole thing. I get attacked electronically all the time. I pay my neighbor $40 a month just to hold a book for me, but really I'm paying her because I get up at night and scream all the time I'm being attacked. So how dare them say that I'm not being attacked? I'm a part of the secular community, and they don't believe me. How dare them? I've been there 20 years. You actually tell me you don't believe me I'm being attacked? Of course I am. Would anybody like to read this book? It's about this. I'll give it to a person. It's expensive if any of you want it. But you have to say you'll read it. No?
Stop it, Stinks.
Okay, anyway, please believe me. We're being attacked with directed energy.
Next speaker.
I love her.
Good afternoon.
I
If you
called
could please
dibs,
remind us
guys.
of the name that you signed
She's
up under
mine.
and the
Buenas
items.
tardes, señores concejales.
I'm
Good
smashing.
afternoon, council members.
Estoy aquí para dar comentario general del número 57.
Thank you
I'm
again,
here to
Donna,
talk
for
to
that
you
big
about,
dono.
Item number 57.
Mi nombre es Lidia.
My name is Lydia.
Estoy aquí para pedirles que paren el aumento de renta,
I'm here to ask you to stop the increase of rent,
que cancelen la deuda.
to cancel the debt.
Necesitamos vivienda donde estemos protegidos y seguros.
We need housing where we're going to be safe and protected.
Estamos cansados de acosos de los propietarios,
We are very tired to be harassed by the landlords.
que día a día viven acosándonos.
Every
That's it,
single
Mad
day
Trees.
they are accosting us.
A nosotros los inquilinos,
They're harassing us, the
I want to hold her
renters.
book for 40 bucks a month.
intimidándonos para que nos desalojen,
And they try to intimidate us so they can evict us,
para poder rentar a más alto costo,
so they can rent the place for a higher amount,
para que puedan generar más ganancias.
so they can make more money.
Porque a ellos la vivienda es un negocio,
Because for them, the housing is a business,
no un derecho humano.
not a human right.
Y para estar protegidos necesitamos vivienda social,
In order to be protected, we need social housing
ya que el costo de vida es muy alta.
because cost of life is very expensive
Y nuestras ventas están por los suelos.
and our sales are very low.
Y tenemos familia que alimentar y mantener.
And we have a family that we have to provide for and we have to feed them.
Confiamos en su buen liderazgo para tomar buenas decisiones.
We trust in your leadership so you can make the right decisions.
Gracias.
Thank
Yeah, I'm
you.
gonna attack her electronically, the laser lady. I'm gonna shoot her with my stun gun.
There's one. Set for stun.
Good afternoon. If you could please remind us of the name you signed up under.
Ah,
and
you
the
get
items you'd
attacked by
like
the
to speak
stormtroopers.
Buenas tardes, mi nombre es Julia.
Good afternoon, my name is Julia.
Número 57 general.
Number 57 and General Public Comment.
Soy miembro del colectivo Poder Comunitario.
I am a member of a collective community power.
Soy una inquilina y vivo en el distrito número 1.
I am a tenant and I live in District Number 1.
Estoy aquí para pedirle a ustedes que apoyen las demandas Larso de la colección de Keep LA Housed.
I am here to ask you that please support the demands of the Larson Coalition of Keep LA Safe in house.
Como
LA
inquilina y
House
como vendedora ambulante, no es justo que nosotros tengamos que pagar más renta.
As a tenant and as a street vendor, it is not fair that we have to pay more rent.
Todos hemos sido impactados por la pandemia y la ciudad no ha hecho lo suficiente para apoyarnos.
We've all been impacted by pandemic and the city hasn't done enough to support us.
Somos de organizaciones que escribieron y pasaron ULA que nos van a proteger y crear más viviendas sociales.
We are organizations that are like trying to protect us and create more social housing.
More socialism.
And that is all, thank you.
Just more socialism. I want free housing, free everything, so I can sit home and do nothing, and have nothing, and aspire to be nothing.
Good afternoon.
And
If you
just
could
wait
please
for the
remind
crumbs
us of
every
the name
month.
you signed up under
Sounds
and
good.
the items you would like to speak to.
I'd rather go to work every day, even though I don't like some of it.
Buenas tardes. Vengo a hablar del número 57 en general.
Good afternoon, I come to talk on number 57 and general public comment. ¿Nos puede decir su nombre, señora, con la que se registró?
Con mucho gusto. Mi nombre es Gabriela Orona.
My name is
Hi,
Gabriela
Gabriela.
Orona.
Pertenezco al Distrito 1 del este de Los Ángeles.
I belong to District number 1 in the east of Los Angeles.
Soy vendedora ambulante e inquilina.
I am a street vendor and I am a renter.
Soy discapacitada y tengo un hijo especial y también soy viuda.
I am disabled. I have a child with special needs and I'm also a widow.
Quisiera pedirles que paren el aumento de renta, por favor.
I would like to ask you to stop the increase in the rent, please.
Ya que lo que vendo no es suficiente y tomen en consideración la economía de cada uno de nosotros.
Because what I sell is not enough, it's not sufficient. So please take in consideration the economy of each of us.
Por favor, tóquense el corazón, vean las necesidades de cada uno de los inquilinos. Ustedes también son inquilinos, pero gracias a Dios pueden pagar sus rentas. Uno no lo puede pagar. Por favor, paren el aumento de rentas.
Please touch your heart and feel into the needs of the renters. You are also renters, but you can afford it, but we cannot. So please stop the increase in the rents.
Porque todo esto afecta a los más necesitados, personas de la tercera edad, gente con necesidades especiales, madres solteras y desempleados. Por favor, justicia.
They haven't even got to the phones yet.
Affecting all the ones that are in more
It'll be even
need,
longer.
like the renters,
OCD.
dependents, the people with special needs, the elderly, the single moms, the unemployed. So please stop the increase of the rent.
Nosotros somos poderosos, somos un grupo unido, somos unas personas pobres, sí, pero contra nuestra voz, arriba.
We are powerful. We are a very united group, and we are with our voice. I want to say, just raise up.
Good afternoon. If you could please remind us of the name you signed
Thank
up
you,
under
Aqua.
and the
Thank
items
you to
you'd like
everybody
speak to.
who did give me a thumbs up. I appreciate
I am a
y'all.
renter, and I live in District 10. I am here to speak on item 57 and general comment.
Okay, so you have 1 minute for the item and 1 minute for general public comment. Please begin with the item.
Thank you. When I began my journey of fighting illegal eviction, I was still very uneducated about my right as a tenant. I felt alone in my search for justice until I was referred to State House LA and said it is there that I finally found a genuine community and everything truly changed. I was saved from homelessness. The city needs to do more to help tenants across the city with rent debt. This motion alone will not address the over $1 million of rent debt and does not ensure that the landlord will accept that money. This rent debt problem has also become a harassment problem. Even if tenants can pay current rent, landlords are doing everything they can to evict people. They ignore important repairs, they leave threatening notes and on doors, they verbally intimidate tenants with eviction and sometimes physical harm. Carrying this rent debt has caused emotional and mental distress to me personally, as well as thousands of families that find themselves harassed daily by their landlord. Thank you.
Thank you again, Sarah's California Adventures. Happy Friday to you as well. Thank you for the donation.
All right, this is our last in-person speaker.
See, so all these people waited all this time and got fucked. No Spindler, nobody else, huh?
Yes,
See how
I'm
they do
Edna
that?
Monroy with Sage and Keep LA House Coalition. I'm
2
here to
hours
speak
of
on item
dancing?
57 and general public comment.
Okay, so you have 1 minute for the item and 1 minute
No
for
Andrew
general public
Graebner.
Yes, I want to speak on 4 main issues. First, I am here to support the Hillside Villa tenants. Unfortunately, the tenants have not been prioritized. It is time that we support Hillside Villa tenants. They are elders, they have rented, they're getting evicted, they're getting harassed, no repairs have been done, and there is no reason why they should not be prioritized. They've been organizing, they've been shutting it down, and the city has failed them. The second item I'm here to speak on is the tenant anti-harassment ordinance. We need all 7 amendments, and we're ready to go. And we need to ensure that council members support by voting yes. We have not met, we haven't been able to meet again with Council Member Bob Bloomingfield, and I want to follow up on that meeting because it is very important that we have your support. We tried going to talk to a staffer earlier today, and the door was locked. So we definitely want to ensure that we follow up. The third one.
Thank you. That's.
I have a minute still. The third item that I want to speak is the LARSO formula. How are tenants supposed to pay 10% of a rent increase? Can you pay for that? You might not because you're not a renter. So I need to ensure that you listen to us, to the tenants that are being affected by this issue, and we need to ensure that we have a 3% rent increase. The last item on my last 30 seconds is why is taking so long for LA City to pass a ceasefire motion? What's the holdup? What's the holdup? We need to do that. LA is so behind, and it's quite embarrassing at this point. So let's go ahead and take care of that and ensure that no more people are being criminalized for freedom of speech. Ceasefire now. Thank you.
All right, that concludes in-person public
fucked
comment.
up.
A couple of announcements. One,
all of them got jacked.
Energy and Environment
Why don't you
Committee
go
will
there,
begin
Damon?
at
Imagine
2
sitting there all
p.m.
that time doing all
Energy and
that,
Environment
driving
has
there,
been moved to
paying
2 p.m.
to not get to talk.
Fingers crossed. Now we'll go to telephone public comment for 10 minutes.
And Mr. President, before
So
we do
they'll be
because
kind
items
enough
number
to listen for
24 and
10 minutes,
25 levy
which means
assessments,
really
I
2
recommend
calls
that
if you
we
give them the
exhaust
same
public
amount of
comment on those
time.
items. So if
3
there's
calls max.
anybody in the room who has not yet been given the opportunity to speak on items 24 and 25 only, please move to the or please sign up now.
So now you're going to go back and have a separate item. Now they're
Again,
going
this
to
is
all
items
fucking sign up because
24
they
and
all want to
25
talk.
only.
Oh my God, what a fucking clown show these idiots are, dude. Just a stack of commie clowns.
Items 24 and 25 only. Going
Fucking
once.
circus, dude. And shout out to Fantastic Sans for getting his melon and
All right, we
in
have
check.
one speaker.
Oh, we got one speaker. Viewer discretion is advised.
Good afternoon. So you have 2 minutes for the
Lonnie,
items.
it's great to see you.
2 fucking minutes.
Thank you, Lonnie.
Of my life. So what do we got here? The BID. But I can't speak bad about it because it's Unisys and my personal Jesus, Kevin De Leon. Let's give them a hand. But I can't do it. Normally I'm against it. Now I'm going to ask, is this really true, Unisys? Do you really want this BID? Do you really want it?
Yes, I do, because my campaign
Mr. Spindler, you need to address the
forcing me.
council and not individual
That's
members.
what I'm doing. I'm doing it about the bid. The BID, not the EIO or the DOC. I'm talking about the BID. The Business Improvement Dick. That's what I'm talking about. They shove that big dick up those property owners every year, the big DID. Now we get to 25. Hugo Stalin Martinez getting married with KFC. Katie fucking Cunt on item 25. Look at this, a 10-year bid.
Still finger looking
Take
good.
and shove that big, huge city black cock up the asses of these property owners because the goddamn city won't do its regular maintenance job. You see how it works? I know how this shit works. You go, well, you want our trash picked up?
Yes.
You want those homeless people out of the front of your vestibule? Yes. I'll pay anything. I'll pay you anything. Okay, you'll pay us $31,166 of fraudulent charges to do our job. Let's give these dumb fucks a hand. This is great. I love it. Keep stealing the money. Keep that shovel in the back of the head. And finally, free Palestine. Thank you.
All
A
right.
whole bunch of
One more
Palestinian
speaker
puppets
for
in there
number
today.
25.
Let's get it.
Mr. Candido.
Oh, here he is, the great panderer.
Bandito, don't insult me. Did you call me Bandito?
Hold on.
You gotta stop the chanting.
Did you call me Bandito, sir? I don't disrespect you. Don't call me.
Folks have been warned.
Disrespected that man. Come here.
We're gonna clear.
You disrespected this guy when he tried to apologize.
All right, sergeants, let's clear the chamber.
Miss Hernandez was
Everyone who's shouting, you have been warned to not disrupt this meeting.
Uh-oh.
You are wrong, sir. You are Martinez in the flesh.
We'll ask everybody who's chanting to leave the chambers now.
They won't show it.
So,
They don't want to
as the
give no
council
light.
president has already said, you've been warned multiple times to not disrupt this meeting. We need to be able to move on with general public comment.
Sergeant
he has
will escort
instructed-
everybody who's chanting out.
So he has instructed the sergeants to remove
Si se
anybody
puede.
who is currently disrupting the meeting and
That's
chanting.
what they're saying. Si se puede, I think. Si se puede. Si se puede. I think that's what they're saying, if you ask me. But I could be wrong. I'm only really hearing with my right ear right now. So. Yeah, they muted it. I didn't touch shit.
All right, as those folks continue to leave, we'll go to telephones.
And I believe the speaker left the podium as well. So.
Well, what
I'm sorry,
about
speaker, are you
Andrew
here for
Grenier?
items 24
What
and
about,
25?
Yes, and general public comment.
Okay, so right now the
Oh, there he
only
is, right
comment
there.
that
Remember,
we're taking is
under
items
over
24
21.
and 25, which are bid assessments. So you have 2 minutes for those items only. We've already closed
Oh.
general public comment.
Okay, so hold on then. So that's 2 items.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I have 2 minutes.
Under or over 15?
Nati Casanova.
Under or
you
over
guys see me here a lot.
15? New line here. He
Items
only gets
24
2
and
minutes.
25, these are bids, and they're aimed at improving the city, right? A lot of it's beautification. And, you know, we should be focusing on
Bandito,
preservation,
Candido.
right? We need to not be demolishing buildings, especially ones that are housing people, to improve the community overall. We don't need to be demolishing SRO buildings. We don't need to be displacing people and creating more unhoused people in Los Angeles. We need to be preserving. We need to be respecting tenants. We need to be holding landlords accountable and treating especially low-income people in these housing units with respect as people.
Got it.
Being low-income is not a crime.
Got it. It isn't.
And people deserve to have proper living conditions.
Sure they do.
The the LA Tenants Union Downtown Local is having a press conference on Tuesday at 4:30 p.m. in Pershing Square Park. Please.
This is not on the topic of the bids.
It is on. It's on the topic of improving the community. I'll leave that at that. But to move on to the next item, another part of improving the community is.
I used to watch Pippi Longstocking.
Taking care of our community, not arresting students on colleges speaking out.
This is not tied to
support
items
of
24 and
Palestine.
25. So we've already
Another
closed general
puppet up
public
in
comment.
this joint. Still with the puppets today.
There's nothing you can do better for the community than to stand in solidarity with people asking for peace and asking for a permanent ceasefire now in Palestine.
I tell you what, send all the
Pass the
hostages
resolution,
back.
please. Thank you.
Send all the hostages back, then we'll talk, bitch.
So the
You've
gentleman
been
in the black.
dismissed.
All right, so we have 24 and 25. Those are bids.
There we go.
have the Highland Park bid and the Hollywood Media bid. I was wondering if before you approve these motions, if you could do some investigations as to whether either of these bids have any connections or business interests in Israel. You should do that investigation before, because they should be divesting from Israel and helping to work towards a ceasefire. You should pass a motion to call for that. So we have these bids. Are they doing anything to help the interests of the community? I'm just wondering. There's a lot of stuff that could be done, protecting tenants, other things that can be done to help serve the community. And I wonder if these bids. Oh, welcome back, Curran. Did you recuse yourself properly? We have 24 and 25. Once again, the bids. So I just wonder if these bids have any interests in the community, what they're doing to help the community, because we have a ton of bids in the city, and it should be investigated as to whether these bids are helping the community or if they're just going around housing on weaponizing the police against the community and harassing unhoused people and protecting the community, protecting the business interests of the bid instead of anyone in the community, as well as what kind of connections either these bids might have to Israel or the genocide in Gaza. So all of that should be investigated before you vote on these bids, because there's very little information on that. So we have so we need to do these bids. So it just seems like there's a lot of bids, and you really should investigate what's going on with them. And you should call for a permanent ceasefire. Let everyone else speak on everything.
Speaker, your time has expired.
Oh, there he is. 20 ums. See, this is a perfect example why you always go with your first
All right, now we'll
instinct.
go to
I
telephones
said
for 10
21,
minutes.
lowered it to 15. Had I said 21, it would have stumped a
Calling
lot of
user
you.
2,
He was
please
one
press star
off.
6 to unmute.
You see? Stick with your gut feeling.
Good afternoon, Brock Landers, Los Angeles Private
Good
Investigators.
afternoon. Which
Sub
items
Nurse
would
and
you-
Virgin, Smoke and Scan.
Which
All open
items would-
items and general public comment,
So you
please.
have 3 minutes for the items and 1 minute for general public comment. Please begin with the items.
Who is hired? Thank you, Group. You look good after your vacation, buddy. 48, Alpha Kappa Alpha. Let's hope that they are providing a safe place for women. No underage drinking for college boys to take advantage of them. This is very important, I feel, especially on Denim Day, to keep girls safe and away from those frat boys. I hope to see more women's rights and Denim Day celebrations in places like Palestine next year. Never forget the glowing way that Michelle and Hillary spoke about Harvey, or how many people here did Puff Daddy support. 51. When is the Ethics Committee going to indict Mr. Lee? What happens in Vegas doesn't always stay in Vegas. 56. We at Smoke and Scan are always in support of tree trimming. Makes the chases easier to view. Monica, I'm not sure that I can trust you to get behind this for the long haul. You said Denim Day was one of the most important days of the year, and you couldn't wear your jacket for the entire meeting.
So this is not on the
58.
agenda. So you can stick to the agenda, or you can move to general public
It's
comment.
on the agenda. Is 58 is not open?
Please stick to the items. That would be either.
Great. Okay, 58 is open. Yes, yes.
Yes, but 58 is not about the subject that you're
Okay,
discussing.
I'm moving on to 58.
Fucking love, bro.
So we can move past that. So 58 for the relief. I can't take credit for this idea. This came from Damon and Stinks at Smoke and Scan. You should cancel all of the renters' debt completely. Take whatever amount the landlords are missing out on and make that so they don't have to pay state taxes on that same amount. And I think that that's a fair trade that everybody should be able to get behind. General public comment.
Okay, you have 1 minute.
Mr. Candido, I looked up to you for many reasons when I started watching the city council meetings. Most importantly, you held the council members accountable. Then a few months ago, you changed and tried to please everyone.
Speaker, this is your opportunity to address the council, not Mr. Candido. So you may speak to anything under the subject matter jurisdiction of this body.
This has to do with the council. I just needed to explain the first part.
So please tie it to the council's authority then.
Love him.
Get my next line, buddy. I am trying to get there. After I called out Bob and his wife, you threatened me. Then last week, you talked about people reaching out from prison and touching me. You do what you need to do. I want everyone to know I'm not suicidal. I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed in who you turned out to be. When you send them, ask them to be careful.
So I'd ask you to tie this to
one of the kids I tutor because of your ego. Smoke and Scan family, no matter what happens, love you all.
You need to go back and listen to this call right here, Ian.
Caller
The
ending
whole
in
thing.
4208. Please press *6 to unmute.
Shout out to Brock.
A law enforcement type of guy who is hired.
Hey, it's Rob Kwan. I'd like to speak on all items in general public comment.
Shout out to Rob Kwan.
I'm sorry. Which items would you like to speak to?
All of them, Gross.
Okay, so you have 3 minutes for the items and 1 minute for general public comment. Please begin with the items.
I only need 10 seconds on the items, and I just want to say it looks like there's only 4 of them on the floor right now, Gross. So please send Duarte or Graciano back there and check and make sure that our members are just hanging out back there and not off grabbing a bite. To move on to general public comment, it's absurd that we had 2 hours
1 minute for general public
and
comment.
less than an hour of public comment. I want to talk about the budget hearings coming up next week. I don't think Ugo's there right now, but you might remember that he said, hey, this budget's not perfect, but you all just really need to organize better next year. Well, Bob Blumenfield heard that and said, you're only going to get 1 day of public comment for budget hearings. I'm old enough to remember when Paul Krikorian proudly said, we don't do that here. We hear from the public every day to maximize participation. And you have it on May Day of all days. How many labor unions, immigrant rights groups are all organizing protests on that day, that afternoon? Many of you are going to be off speaking there and talking about how much you care about them. And you can't even make the time to have a budget hearing where we can hear from them. Bob's been drunk on power since becoming chair, and I just hope you all keep mind of that. Y'all can't show up to city council on time. Just amazing. Karen Bass is talking about how we need to talk face-to-face instead of through tweets, but you can't have sufficient public comment. This is all just really, really absurd.
And Mr. Kwan, your time has expired. Next caller.
Yeah, see?
Caller ending in 7255. Please press
Shout out to
*6
Rob
to
Kwan.
unmute.
Yes, this is Richard Serrano.
Richard Serrano.
And to echo that,
Good afternoon. Which
You
items would you like to
had-
speak to?
all items and general public comment.
So you have 3 minutes for the items and 1 minute for general public comment. Please begin.
Shout out to Smoke and Scan. Again, I'm not against marijuana. I'm just against putting all these marijuana shops out in the public in the neighborhoods. So again, we'll go to 57, Hillside Villa. Like was said,
Taking over.
forgiveness on that rent would be better suited than giving him a blank check like the United States did to the auto industry, and all the CEOs walked away with a fat paycheck. Now, saying that you did not know about this budget and it's too short, I told you 2022 in November this was coming because I've seen the numbers. Even though I didn't win, I still care about this community and the city. There is situating that you guys have for 57. You can forgive that rent back before you cut that guy a check. Ms. Hernandez, you just heard all those people say the gentleman in apartment 8 is threatening them and hired by the owner. Please look into that as a serious threat. I hate when a person calls in and sounds like a sexual predator about all the women in this industry and talks about Denim Day. Every time he speaks, it's something nasty like that. But again, I'm not addressing him, I'm addressing the council. Public comment.
Okay, you have 1 minute for general public comment.
Vaccination, okay, vaccination from the United States. How do we expect them to go into Gaza or anywhere else and tell the people that we are allies with, like Israel, and say, hey, stop the war? We're not. We took Mexico, we took Texas, and we became the United States. We're not going to tell anybody to do what they are doing because we did it too. Sorry for being a historian, but yeah, in 1845, this happened. So we need just to stop the war. It's not one side or the other. I don't want to see anyone die. And I'm tired of hearing people using the kids as a propaganda of why we have to get involved. We need to get involved because it's a human right to live. And we're supposed to take care of each other. God bless you all.
Bandit,
have a blessed day.
Thank you, Richard Serrano. Shout out to you. Bandit, I don't think they know.
So
they don't give a
no
fuck.
more
They're just
This will
listening
be our last caller.
for a second here or there. They're busy not paying attention at all. They're busy talking.
Caller ending in
Look at them all.
0463. Please
They're not-
press star
none of
6
them are
to
paying
unmute.
attention. They're
Good
not even there.
afternoon, you pieces of
Good
shit.
afternoon. Which
elite
items would you like to speak
communist
to?
war pigs.
Shelley.
I'm calling for public comment. It's Shelley
Okay,
Biggs.
so you have 1 minute. Please begin.
Damon, it stinks. I have a dream team at Smoke and Scan. And I would like to give you a quote, which you probably will not listen to because you're all busy being communist war pigs. The best way to take control over people and control them utterly is to take a little of their freedoms at a time, to erode rights by 1,000 tiny and almost imperceivable reductions. In this way, the people will not see the rights and freedoms being removed until it is past the point at which these changes cannot be reversed. That's a quote from Pat Miller. Willfully ignorant. People wake up. They don't give a shit. They live in their mansions with their armed security, and they don't give a shit about any of your problems. As long as we're fighting amongst each other, they're very happy. That's what war pig, scumbag, communists do.
Okay, so I believe that will close public comment on the phones, except that with regards to items 24 and 25, we do need to exhaust public comment. So I'm going to ask that the staff please at this time lower everybody's hands. And if you would like to speak on item 24 or 25 on the phones, and you have not been given the opportunity to do so, please raise your hand now.
Yeah. Shout out to Shelley, man. She was 100, right?
Caller ending in 9809. Please press star 6 to unmute.
You just lost 100K of points?
Yeah, this is
Daniel Gus.
for both items. And, you know, it's a perfect example of how you do everything you can for this item, that, and all the others for that matter, and you simply suppress public input. You suppress input on 24 by 3 hours of presentations. You suppress input on item number 25 by 3 hours of presentations, vague rules, and move it around. And the only reason you're calling for exhausting 24 and 25 is because there are consequences from it. So to the public that's listening, this is how it's done.
This is not about a business improvement district.
It actually is. It actually is. I'm talking about how only when you have consequences, like you do on 24, so pay attention, Harris Dawson, and like you do for 25 business improvement districts, it's only when there are consequences for not exhausting public comment that you actually take public comment. You will do everything else to limit and silence your constituents, whether or not you're DSA endorsed, whether or not you're Armenian, whether or not you're a dancer, your parent was a gardener. For the business improvement districts, which have legal ramifications for not exhausting public comment, this is what your council is doing to you, public. Think better next time you have a vote at the on election day.
Thank you.
No
Caller ending in
DanielGust.substack.com.
1881. Please
Shout out to
press star
Daniel.
6 to unmute.
I was waiting for the drop. He didn't even get it off today. Shout out to Daniel Gust.
Caller, please press star 6 to unmute.
Substack.com.
Yes.
Go ahead.
24 and 25.
That's a.
Let's go ahead. You have 2
that's a
minutes for
goof
items
call.
24 and 25.
Yes, I'm in favor of all bids if people participate.
That's
if
50
the owners participate, the residents participate, and the lead
pander.
council person for that area participates. When you have a stage, a platform where you can improve your community, that's why it's so sad when some of
From the
these
hall.
callers come in and attack women, attack really good people like Candido, and they call him a criminal just because he's Latino and Native American. That's not improving the community. Community is improving the area streets, the working with the people. But when you insult and you make fun of Girl Scouts and call them equal to the girls on Figueroa, they've been trying to bid on Figueroa for years. And yet, here are these people who call in and are always the victim. They're always the victim because they think they're superior. But you're not going to win. You're not going to win. Thank you.
Located where?
Okay, next caller.
On Figueroa.
Yeah, shout out to Candido.
Caller ending in
AKA the Great
9519.
Panderer.
Please press star 6 to unmute.
I got the panderer mad calling him Bandito instead of Candido.
Yes, this is Jason, and I'm smoking some beer.
Oh,
Good afternoon.
there's 7.
So, are you here to speak about items 24 and 25, the bid items?
Somebody clap for Jason.
Good afternoon, group. Happy, Denim Day there. And yeah, all available items and general public comment there, brother.
So you have 2 minutes for items 24 and 25 only, and they are related to bid assessments.
What happened to the general comment there?
General comment has already been closed.
Oh, I was waiting on general public comment there, brother.
Okay, so because general public comments already been closed, we're going to move on to the other callers for items 24 and 25 only. Next caller.
Call in user 1. Please
They
press star
dunked
6 to
Jason.
unmute.
You see how they did it? You can only talk what we want to talk about.
I'm so happy
Stacey.
that I get to speak about business improvement districts. I'm so glad that I waited for this whole meeting between my limited break between work shifts to speak about 24 and 25 business improvement districts.
Go ahead.
So I think the biggest thing that would improve business would be if workers and families could afford to spend money on things besides rent and food. That would improve business, wouldn't it? I wonder what the funding and rationale behind how business improvement districts function really is. What would improve businesses would be if workers could live in the same neighborhood where they work, and then they wouldn't have a long commute, and it'd be easier for them to be on time. They could get a better night's rest, and then they'd be better employees to keep the gears moving in this capitalist wasteland that all you do is vote to uphold, even grifters like Nithya Raman and Hugo Soto Martinez and Eunice Hernandez. So we should be improving these districts for the sake of business, but I'm wondering why we're going about it in ways that don't put money in people's pockets so they can go support businesses, that don't support workers so they can support businesses, and just subsidize greedy developers who build shitty things and then charge up the ass for it. Shout out to Smoke and Scan, Richard Hopp, Brock Landers, my husband Christopher, who's my favorite, who I love the most.
So I'm going to need you to stick on topic for items 24 and 25.
Yep, that's what I'm talking about. All these people, they improve business by being good citizens. Unlike the council body, that grifts the public, that doesn't improve business. I don't understand how anything you do improves business when you waste the public's time for 2 hours on presentations and then give us like limited time to speak. You'd think that all the businesses around City Hall would have.
Caller, your time has expired. Next caller.
Shout out to Stacy.
Caller ending in
Scared Bollinger.
7117.
18
Please
time
press star
Grammy
6
Award
to
winner. They
unmute.
wouldn't allow her to sing.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. So you have.
That's her.
are you
That's
here
her
for items
husband.
24 and
Are
25?
they in the same car?
Yeah, those are the business improvement districts, correct?
Correct. So you have 2 minutes for the items. Please begin.
All right, cool. Thank you very much. It's nice to have you back.
Holding up my fist for him.
You know what would really improve business is if you just drew random circles on the map within the city's jurisdiction and just cut the rent for those businesses in half.
I know.
The main thing that is driving all these businesses out of business is that they can't afford their overhead. They can't afford to pay rent. They can't afford repairs on their businesses because they can't afford the rent. They can't afford to pay their employees because they can't afford the rent. So whatever these business improvement districts are, which pretty much involve getting people that they already know behind closed doors to have their businesses have first stake at whatever little cut of the pie they already claimed. It's all bullshit. We really need to be lowering rents for these businesses so that they can actually afford to lower the prices and they can pay the workers more. Instead, you're just turning every single neighborhood into a ghost town in random succession. And then the developers take advantage of that. And then you use metro corridors to justify building 7-story buildings in little neighborhoods where the rents are even too high for people that would need to live in an apartment can afford, and then they can't go to those businesses. So you guys are all fucking up everything.
It's true.
And there's clearly not a plan other than to just build for your buddies and all your capitalist war pigs. So, fuck yourselves, pay attention to the public, and I hope somebody, doesn't sneak in anything past the metal detectors like made of wood or anything and do anything upsetting to any of the council members. I hope no one does
So
that.
this is not on topic.
That's almost a threat.
24 and 25.
Or even like a bag of glitter and just dump it on Krikorian. No one do that.
Okay, so you've been warned. Next caller.
Wow. That's almost threatening, man.
Caller
You hope
ending in
nobody does that, dude.
9716. Please press star 6 to unmute.
I don't know if that was the good thing to do. They know who
Hi,
you are.
good afternoon. Let's do 24 and 25, like you said.
Okay, so you have 2 minutes.
Thank you. So I
Stacey
am going to
and
have
him
to
are
agree
pushing
with
the limits.
Previous caller that the way we can improve business district is by lowering the rent on city-owned properties. The biggest problem is the rent is too high. Property taxes are too high. And when you drive,
This is
when property tax,
not about a business improvement district.
what is it about?
We should go to the next
It's
caller.
like scanners. You're seeing them
Next caller.
in real
Caller
time
ending in
eat each other right now.
2616. Please press star 6 to unmute.
Thank you. It's Eric Previn, and I
Shout
will
out to
deliver a comment on.
Good afternoon.
I want a shout
Are
out
you here to
from
speak
Eric.
on items 24 and 25?
Yeah, the two business improvement
Okay,
districts.
so you have 2 minutes for the items. Please begin.
That's where we really made it, guys.
Okay, well, business improvement districts, we have one in Studio City. They're all over the place. They tend to be run by the businesses. They're very in cahoots with the Segway lobby. This is the guys riding around on weird bikes that, are armed. Now, they keep people away from the shops if they're being nasty. So that's what the business improvement districts do. But they don't really improve the community, improve the business district. So it's a little bit of a scam on the people. Instead of getting good services, we get screwed a little bit like that. But the Sportsman's Lodge has a very large stake in the business improvement district because they overloaded it with businesses and are going to do one of the most disgusting. By the way, I take note, without it disparaging any business improvement district, that you've got 2 items in Soto Martinez district that are coming up with no parking, no bikes, nothing, just taking down a house and putting up 25 units with nothing. So this is just going to ruin it. It's going to make it very hard for business, for everybody, because people are not going to be able to get around. It's not not really a great strategy, if truth be told. I also want to say that, Mr. Harris Dawson, you garroted the previous speaker who was talking about a business improvement district. And when he said, it's not about the business improvement district, what's it about? You just hung up on him. You ought to be ashamed of yourself, because this entire day has been the opposite of recognition for great heroes. It's been a shameful abdication of your professional responsibility to listen to people.
No
put
more
you in the
Valley
chair.
Who.
And I
Speaker,
can't
I need you to
believe
tie this to
you-
items 24 and 25, or we're going to move on to the next caller.
No, I'm getting back to the business improvement district, the assessments. Let me tell you something. This is a marriage between Katie Yaroslavsky and Hugo Sutter Martinez. It is a unholy alliance. We also have a marriage between Unisys Hernandez and Kevin De Leon. No further questions, Your Honor. I'm not done yet, Grote. That was a expression. But this today has been a great...
Caller, your time has expired.
No, they're shouting us
caller.
out all the time, how lucky. This has been going on. a
Caller
long time.
ending in 1191. Please
In
press
fact,
star 6 to
that was
unmute.
we had 8 shout outs already today.
Actually, I go along with the previous caller in that
Robit.
if you do not take care of the businesses, they cannot take care of their employees. Thereby,
Chain
the
effect.
employees won't have a place to live.
Warrior,
and
thank
please stop violating the Brown Act. I have been on the
So
phone
this is not
for
on
3
the
hours
agenda.
and 34
You need
minutes.
to speak to items
has been
24
on
and
for 3
25
hours,
only, or we're
44,
going to move on to the
30
next
That's
caller.
okay. I'm done. I spoke to
Okay.
his 20.
Okay, so next caller.
Oh, and they just dunked her.
Caller ending in 1403.
3 hours,
Please press
34
star 6
minutes
to
on the
unmute.
phone and dunked her. Spindler going like this with his phone.
Okay. I'm being told that is Mr. Spindler, who's on the phone. I also see that his arm or shoulder is moving furiously. So, Mr. Spindler, you have been warned not to disrupt this meeting already.
So, yes, please.
I'm dead.
We'll ask the sergeants to
I'm
escort
dead.
Mr. Spindler out of the chambers.
I'm dead. He got caught.
You continue to disrupt the meeting even after you've been asked to
Fool got
leave.
caught. He got caught,
Please
dude.
leave the chambers quietly. All right, that concludes.
Oh, man.
We have one more caller on items 24.
There,
Come on.
that's better.
You're leaving with Mr. Spindler, I presume.
Straight commies, homie.
Mr. Candido, this is your only
I
formal
called
warning.
it.
Do not disrupt this meeting.
There's Candido. Pissed.
All right, that's it. Pursuant to Rule 7, you're also expelled along with Mr. Spindler. Enjoy the rest of your Friday. Please leave silently and quickly.
I agree, Scorp.
And for the record, both Mr. Spindler and Mr. Candido are still disrupting this meeting, and we cannot move on to the last and final caller.
This is great. What a great.
All right.
I'm sorry.
Been a
Caller,
pretty good
is it-
meeting. Brock
Caller
Hall.
ending in 2988. Please press star 6 to unmute.
Caller, are you here for items 24 and 25?
Yes.
Okay, so go ahead. You have 2 minutes for the items.
My name is Susan Rocha. I
know
live
her.
in Cypress Park. I'm against any development in Highland Park. All the people that have moved in and changed the neighborhood does not improve conditions for the people that live there. The people that cannot afford to eat at their establishments, where there's drinking on the sidewalks, and it's changed the neighborhood. Is not appropriate. I'm against anything, any development, any further developments. And it's really cruel that I'm standing there for 2 hours waiting to be heard, and you never call my name in council chambers, and CD1 refuses to take my phone calls.
This is.
Refuses to meet.
So, caller, this is not on topic, so you couldn't stick to items 24 or 25.
No,
or we're
she's
going to have to
real,
move on.
Robo. We've seen her.
Okay, well, that's on the developments in Highland Park, right?
And it might be a
Yes,
man.
so you've exhausted your 1 minute
No,
on
I'm
the,
not
the
sure.
bid as far as Highland Park is concerned. You can speak to item 25, though.
And 25 was on what?
It's still a bid item. So if you're here to speak to item number 25, then you can continue. But you've already used your 1 minute on the Highland Park matter.
Okay, what was 25
It's a
on?
nice chair, Warrior.
Okay, so it doesn't appear as though you're here for
But I got the
25 or
same
that
one
you're
for
aware of what the item is. So
450, I think.
we're going to move on. Actually, we're going to move on to the next caller, or have we? So staff are signaling that there are no other callers, Mr. President.
All right, that concludes public comment, both in person and telephonically for this meeting. Mr. Clerk, can we take up item number
See what I mean, though?
2?
See how they just pick and
First,
choose who they
an
want,
item for which,
whether it's in
Mr.
person
Curran
or on the
Price
phone.
has an announcement.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'm going to recuse myself from item 2 because my wife's employer has worked with the applicants for
Of course you gotta
projects on
recuse
these
yourself.
items.
All right. Thank you
you.
so much. Mr. Curran Price is recusing himself.
Mr. President, for the record, item 2 is to adopt the item as amended by motion 2A, McCosker.
All right. That item is before us. Let's open the roll, close the roll, tabulate the vote.
9 ayes.
All right.
See, but that's what they get when they
Item
pack in
number
3
17
different
is called
presentations.
special by
They should
Mr.
never have
Soto
more than
Martinez for
2,
comments.
especially when one alone goes over an hour. Just fucking
Thank you
stupid.
so much, Council President. I also want to thank the members of the Public Safety Committee and Plum Committee for passing this unanimously. This motion is about stopping the unjust practice of arresting cannabis workers so we can focus on going after the owners and operators and actually shutting down illegal dispensaries. Just like we wouldn't hold a food service worker responsible for their companies lacking proper health permits, we shouldn't go after cannabis workers liable for their boss's unlicensed dispensary. We know that of the hundreds of arrests that have happened to folks, 80% of them are black and brown Angelenos working at these dispensaries. And that criminal charge is going to stay on their record, affect their ability to get a job, get housing in many times. And we've even heard of folks facing deportation because of this unjust practice. And so I know it's pretty easy to try to stay with the status quo, but I think we've seen that doing this way is just very unjust and ineffective. And so once this amended ordinance comes back from the city attorney's office, we'll be making an impact on lives of hundreds of Angelenos every single year, while also freeing up our city's resources to investigate the owners and operators that are actually responsible for these illegal dispensaries. So I hope that as a council, we can continue to look at our existing laws and correct some of our past mistakes so we can build a more just and equitable city. And I do want to give a shout out to the public defenders and their union for bringing forward this very important issue.
Shout out
because
to
they see it
Smoke
every
Scan.
single day in the courthouses. And I urge and I vote. Thank you so much, members.
Thank you so much, Mr. Soto Martinez, for your comments and for this motion. So this item is now before us. Let's open the roll,
Hi,
close
Katie.
the roll, tabulate the vote.
Houston cars?
10 ayes.
All right.
You mean like
What other
Rockets or
items
Astros? Or
are
who are you looking
available
for,
for us to vote on?
specifically, Katie?
Mr. President, for the record, item
Astros?
2
Yes,
will
I have
have
a
to be
ton of Astros
continued
stuff I have
to the next available date, which is
That's what you're looking
Tuesday, April 30th,
Maybe
2024,
Rockets,
so
maybe
that a
not so
quorum
much. Or
could be
Houston
present for
Texans.
that item.
I might have some. Definitely have
Thank
some
you.
Texans.
With Mr. Price's recusal, we dip below quorum, so we have to come back to that on another day. All right. So what's available for us to vote on?
The council may now vote on items 4, 24, 25, 26,
Wayne, you have a great
45,
day. I will
and
be on
48
tonight.
through 58.
All right. Those items are before us. Let's
Any
open
of
the
them?
roll.
Oh, he
Close
PCs
the
all
roll,
3.
Tabulate the vote.
Yes, Katie, I have quite a few. Do you
10 ayes.
follow me on my
For the
Instagram
record,
pages
the ordinances
or
for items
anything like that?
24, 25, and 53
Or on Twitter, maybe?
will be held
So I
over
can send
to
you a
Friday,
message.
May
I can
3rd,
shoot you.
2024
Here's
for
the
second
link to
consideration.
all those.
Mr. President, there is a
If you
request to
don't
send
follow me,
items
click
58
there.
forthwith.
Without objection. What's next?
I'm sure I have something in bag. Well, probably nothing all super
The council may
exciting,
now
but
vote
I
on
don't know.
item
I have to
23.
look. I have a ton of cards.
All right.
As amended by
Yes, please,
motion
DM me,
23A,
Katie.
Yaroslavsky, Rahman.
Okay,
And
let's
I'll
open the
send
roll
you
on that
a-
item. Close the roll. Tabulate the vote.
10 ayes.
All right. What's next?
No, we
The
had,
council may
I
now
think,
consider
11,
item
Donna, I
46,
think was
called
the
special
most.
by Councilmember Rodriguez for
It's up
comments.
there.
Councilmember
And that was
Rodriguez.
more
Thank you,
different people.
colleagues.
I mean,
Item
Brock got
46
4 in today.
is on the
of the
creation of a financial literacy program specifically offering assistance for the young people of Los Angeles. We know that so often young people are.
Why can't you send me a
not
direct
just young
message,
people.
Mark?
We see a lot of individuals that are unfamiliar with some of the basic fundamentals understanding with
Or hit
respect
it-
to financial
you know,
literacy.
tag me on a
We
post
know
and tell
that
me
they're
about it,
under
and then maybe I can
duress
send you one, maybe? Try
in
that.
terms of just
What's up,
because
Evog?
of decisions that
I mean,
they've
I don't
made,
have a
not
verified
knowing
account.
What, tools perhaps are predatory, and being able to make a differentiation between all of the different financial resources that are available. What is before us is an effort to help close that gap, particularly for the 800,000 youth who have disclosed their discomfort.
That's how long it's been. It's been 3 hours
financial
since I fed him
systems.
last.
And so,
You ready to eat?
school, you would get all of those lessons. But sadly, what we're actually seeing is more and more young people, after they've engaged in perhaps lending
Don't tell me.
practices and
Do
working
not
with
tell
help
me he
finance,
doesn't know the word
even their colleges
'Cause he absolutely
are finding
fucking
themselves
positively
riddled
knows
with
what it
debt.
means.
And we need to make sure that we have some of the preventative measures out there and available and accessible to them to teach them how to best navigate around that. So that because it's a lot cheaper to do the preventative work than to do the bailout. And so these are some of the tools that we are working in concert with the Youth Development Department to create and avail to the young people of Los Angeles. 51% of those surveyed have reported that they've never been offered financial literacy through their K through 12 education. This is a gaping hole in the services that need to be provided, and among one of the reasons why the Youth Development Department was created. Because we know that there is a failure for our young people to be able to navigate what's available to them. We need to be the producers and protectors for those young people to give them the tools and the instruction that they need to navigate these very complex financial systems. And so I'm very excited that this is something that we will be availing in the city of Los Angeles for young people, to give them those tools so that they can have better financial future, make better financial decisions that, again, put them in a position of power rather than in desperation looking for the support and resources to bail them out of circumstances on the back end. And so this is helping to course correct an environment that we see sadly happen to so many young people, because again, they are the ones that are targeted so often, particularly when they're going off to college. And so we need to try and help mitigate that by offering these resources. So I'm really proud that we're going to be doing that here in the city of Los Angeles, and I ask for your aye vote.
Thank you so much, Councilmember Rodriguez. That item is now before us. Let's open the roll, close the roll, tabulate the vote.
10 ayes.
All right, what's next?
Mr. President, council has motions for posting and referral.
They are posted and referred.
The desk is clear, Mr. President.
Excellent. All right, we'll begin with announcements. Councilmember Rodriguez has an announcement.
Yes, colleagues, I'd like to introduce you all to Felipe Basignana. Let's just bring him up. Felipe Basignana is the proud son of Paula Basignana on my staff, and was just selected and named. The Fire Foundation every year hosts the annual competition for the dog to be selected to represent the LA City Fire Department for 1 year. Felipe garnered the most votes. He was a first place vote getter in that competition amongst, I want to say it was about 15 to 20 other dogs that were in competition for this very impressive post. And while he garnered the greatest number of individual donors, the largest amount, he raised over $3,000. And I know that there were certain staff members that indicated that they had contributed. Sadly, he came in second place as runner-up in the final competition. However, what we know about second place is that should the first place individual not be able to serve out their term for whatever shenanigans they may engage in, he might then become the first place representative for the Fire Foundation. But we are nonetheless very proud of Felipe. He is, as you can see, a very charming pet, and we're very proud of him. And thanks to the Fire Foundation for doing this. It is in part of their effort to bring greater awareness and financial resources for the dogs that are part of our rescue efforts when it comes to major disasters. And so sometimes they don't always get it right. Number 2's okay. We'll take it. But number 1, we're watching you. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you, Ms. Rodriguez. Congratulations. Other announcements, members? Other announcements? Councilmember Padilla.
I believe there's a graphic for my announcement.
We need a whole graphic, you know.
So as I mentioned earlier, I just wanted to let everybody know that everybody is invited tomorrow to Sun Valley Rec Center. we're having our first
I'm gonna go hang
ever
out
in
with
the
her.
6th District Armenian Genocide Remembrance Day. It's going to. We're super excited because,
better
as I
show
had
up.
mentioned, I was always going to events for this remembrance.
I'm gonna go
very
get her
far
number
away
for
from
you.
my district, and I
Yeah.
never understood why when there's so many Armenians living in the district. So this is the first of many to come, and for
pregnant?
those of
I
you that
don't
are
know.
interested, you're invited.
Excellent. Congratulations. Thank you,
quite
Councilmember
possibly
Padilla.
could be. I
Any other
don't know.
announcements? All right. With that, I'll ask everyone in the chamber to rise for adjourning motions.
All right, we're finally fucking out of here. Almost. Look, Sean's still there.
Any adjourning motions to my right?
Fucking Sean's still chilling. He's like the
Councilmember
only one
Rodriguez.
left in there.
Thank
in
you. Colleagues, today I ask that we adjourn in the
I
memory
guess
of
Sean
a
probably doesn't have
remarkable
much to
mother
do, so
and
it's like a
grandmother,
whole thing for
Mirna
him, like a whole
Sosa
trip.
Auraz, who
Adventure.
passed away on Monday, April 22nd, 2024, following a violent attack
Yeah, Moxie,
on a
you had a great
metro
call
train that she rode every day to and from work. Mirna was 66 years old, born in Matagalpa, Nicaragua, where she lived until she had children and moved the family to Managua. She, like many others, who leave their homeland and move to Los Angeles. She moved to Los Angeles about 6 years ago to earn a living so that she could one day move back to Nicaragua to live and retire comfortably. She was 60 when she moved to our city, and I want you all to let that sink in, because she was only here 6 short years before her life was taken. She did this in the hopes of being able to return to her homeland. She worked every day for the last 3 years as a security guard at the original Tommy's Hamburgers in North Hills, which is located in Councilmember Lee's district, just adjacent to both
Tommy's,
Councilmember
man.
Padilla and my area.
I like
She
Tommy.
clocked in around 7 p.m. and worked until 3 or 4 a.m. As a reminder, doing some of the jobs that no one else is willing to do, but this woman did it for the hopes of being able to return to her homeland. Mirna was in the process of building a small house back in Nicaragua. The house was in Managua, where two of her 3 children live. It was halfway through construction.
Never heard
and
of
she
it,
was
Ryan.
hoping it would be ready within the year so that she could move home. Mirna went to college and studied ecology in Nicaragua. She loved insects and nature and had spent her childhood on her parents' small farm that grew beans that she then later inherited. She dreamt of being reunited with her children and her grandchildren, but was robbed of that future by a senseless attack. Mirna will be remembered for her love of family and her dedication to hard
Yes,
work
Bill.
to provide for herself, her children, and
War-torn
grandchildren.
country she came from.
May her legacy remind us all that on this council we have an obligation to support our city and advocate for those that are exposed in the most vulnerable situations, just trying to make a living, and whose jobs that require late hours and in some cases dangerous circumstances should not be met on a public transit system. We must do better, and for that, I will make sure that Mirna's loss will not be in vain. Mirna will not be forgotten, and I will be sure to do everything that I can as Chair of Public Safety, which is why I introduced a motion today calling on all of the public safety services that Metro has to report back to our council, because we cannot enable an environment that leaves the most vulnerable among us exposed to the dangerous conditions on our Metro system. And this council can demand better, and we will do better. May she rest in peace. Que en paz descanse. Thank you.
Thank you.
Rest in peace, Myrna.
Any adjourning motions to my left?
Yeah, it's
All
been
right,
getting
seeing
violent
none,
on
we are
those
adjourned.
trains,
Thank
man.
you so much, everybody.
People getting stabbed, beat up, robbed. You know, they don't have enough cops to put on every single train. And nor would they. They'll say rest in peace quick and not give really 2 fucks as you're now dead. You know. Shit, yeah, look at that beautiful view. Look at that. It's gonna be like City Walk. Yeah, that's City Walk. Universal Studios. where that tram crash happened. Yeah, man. Long show today, ladies and gentlemen. Long one. We're 7 minutes shy of 4 fucking hours. I mean, man, and they took the public comment at the same time. Could you imagine if they did all the people, which they should have done? And could you imagine if they split it the way they normally do? It would have been 7 hours deep. Fucking marathon show. And I got another one tonight. So, thank you guys for everything you do for me, man, and for each other. Thank you for all the likes, the love, the donations are huge today, and the thumbs ups. Thumbs ups are free, and they actually work. I appreciate the ones who took that time. Yeah, stretch, right there. And, we'll be live tonight, 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time for our normal Friday night fun. Should be good, just coming off the full moon, right? Get a little crazy since the full moon was the other day. So, yeah, I don't know. We'll see. So thank you for everything. I appreciate you guys. Have a fantastic Friday. Either way, whether you can join us or not. Be safe out there if you can't join us, and join us on the next one if you can. Always keep those notifications on and make sure they're set to all. Okay? Big difference. All. Please do that if you're on YouTube. Other than that, you guys have a fantastic day. I'll see you guys at 8 o'clock.
Hasta la vista, baby.
Bye, y'all.